It's skipping crazy. All right, my screen jumping, lagging, all type of stuff. I'm gonna play little automated music for the. What's going on with my computer, bro? I'm gonna play this little background music, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with the show today. RJ, what's good, bro? B Young, what's good, Brody? Andrew, what's good, Andrew? What's good again to everybody that's in here? Good morning. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. OJB, what's good, OJB? Yes, sir. NFL Talk today. Ranking the top 10 NFL wide receivers this season and more. Black, what's good, Black? What's good with you? What's good, everybody? Again, good morning to all. Good morning to all. Good morning to all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's fine. No, I always put this one on. Justin Achilles, Wagwan. Yes, sir, Rain. RJ, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Hold on 1 second, y'all. And again, appreciate everybody that's here on time, especially within the first 10 minutes. Make sure y'all take y'all shoes off at the door. Make sure y'all take y'all shoes off at the door. All right. Good morning to every single body that's in here. Welcome back to another daily Fact and Stat show. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Until the conversation stops or the topic stops or we get to everything that we got to get to for the most part during the show. I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up anybody else? And Shaggy, I see you. Am I breaking up anybody else? Or am I good? Oh, all right, cool. All right, cool. Where was that? Yeah, welcome back to another daily show, Fact and Stats. Welcome to the best show in the world. You see floating on the bottom of the screen. Make sure you all take your shoes off at the door. You all should know what that means by now for the one that's here early, for sure. First and foremost, make sure you all hit this like button on this video. That's pretty much helping the algorithm or the show get pushed to the algorithm for anybody that's randomly surfing on YouTube to come across the daily Fact and Stats show. Whether there's 20 people in here at a time, 25 people in here at a time, 30, 35, whatever the case may be, it can still help. So hit that thumbs up button. The wager was good. Hit that thumbs up button on this video. Also, feel free to comment anything throughout the show. I read every single comment for the most part, whether it's something that I said or whether it's something that somebody on the stage said. Feel free, and we'll dive into it from there. Next, if you can't share it out with one person, if you know anybody that loves talking about the NFL, even NBA or even WNBA, just let them know when Fact and Stats show goes live, what the things that we look forward to, things to look forward to. Let them know they can come on the stage and talk as well, or they can just type in the chat in regards to whatever the topics are. So next, last but not least, if you are not subscribed, make sure you all hit that subscribe button on this video. And I'm gonna go do rag today. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. If you are not subscribed, make sure you all hit the subscribe button on this video. Hit the subscribe button on this video. Hit the subscribe button on this video. We'll greatly appreciate that. Constantly trying to grow the YouTube and want to continue to put YouTube at the forefront of everything Fact and Stats related. Next, there's a couple of things you guys can do to extend your support for the platform. I'm pretty sure RJ was already a member, so I didn't react a certain way. So thank you for either way becoming a member again. My bad. Thank you for becoming a member again. As you see here floating on the screen, Boss RJ3 became a YouTube member. You can become a member too. What you got to do is click the link in the description on this video that says become a member. There's 3 different levels you can join as: level 1, level 2, and level 3. They all have different customized perks. All have the ability to send the emotes and things like that into the chat. And yeah, just also VIP priority when we watch games and playback as well, always. So make sure y'all become a member if you want to extend support for the platform. Also, feel free to send super chats and super stickers at any time throughout the show today. All extended support is greatly appreciated. Literally, all extended support is greatly appreciated. You got the Twitter, you got the Instagram, you got the TikTok. You got the Twitter, you got the Instagram, you got the TikTok. The Twitter is mainly when I'm posting clips to the show, or if it's a Twitter space for whatever reason, or whatever the case may be. I'll always tweet out what the topics are going to be on the show today as well on Twitter. And also if I'm canceling the show, like I had to do a couple of days last week. But you can see here we're going live at 11 a.m. Eastern time today on YouTube and Twitter. We're breaking down NFL teams expected to take a leap, NFL teams expected to drop, according to you or me, and then also top 10 wide receivers going to NFL season. We are starting our positional rankings this morning, and we are carrying it down probably for the next 2.5 weeks as we got to get through wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks, running backs, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, it'll be broken up to defensive tackles and edges, off-ball linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties, etc. So we had to get to all that. And then, at the end of that, we're also going to. He said, "Y'all hear that? Is something going on with my sound today?" Oh, dude. What did D Mac just do? Never mind. I think D Mac just shared something. My bad. Yeah. And also after we complete the positional rankings, we're gonna do top 15 players. I want to do top 15 players 25 and under going into next season as well. Lawrence, good morning. Good morning to everybody that's in here, by the way. That's what I want to do. Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. That's what that's important for. Make sure y'all follow Fact and Stats on all platforms as I'm distributing clips through those platforms and things of that nature. Yeah, he shared the streak of being a member. Shout out to D Mac. Shout out to D Mac. If you are not a member, you can become a member too. Link is in the description on this video. It ain't nothing to extend a little support to the platform, which I appreciate. Next, Fact and Stats Apparel. If you see here apparels behind me, if you do not have any Fact and Stats Apparel, please feel free to check out the website. That's factandstats.us. Shout out to D-Mac for blessing the room today. Shout out to D-Mac for blessing the room today. Shout out to D-Mac for blessing the room today with $5, man. That truly means a lot, D-Mac. Thank you so much, my brother. But website, factandstats.us, factandstats.us. If not today, I want to guarantee I'm definitely making a post office run tomorrow after having to deal with what I was dealing with. That's the Andrew, Josh, and a couple of other people as well. Shout out to Ari, shout out to Justin for sharing how long they've been members. Shout out to Ari, shout out to Justin for sharing how long they've been members and showing how long they've been rocking with the Fact and Stats membership on a YouTube side. I remember when I first put that on, when I hit 500 subscribers. Man, that was crazy. I remember when I first put that on when I hit 500 subscribers. But yeah, either way, I thank y'all so much for rocking with the platform. Truly. Thank y'all so much for rocking with the platform, truly. Justin, 5 members strong. 5 months strong. Ari, 7 months strong. Established 7 months strong. So shout out to y'all. But yeah, you see the Twitter here. Outside of the Twitter, telling y'all about the website. It's factandstats.us if you don't have any Fact and Stats apparel. Factandstats.us if you don't have any Fact and Stats apparel. And then next, Playback. Last but not least, playback.tv/Fact and Stats. Playback is where we watch live NBA games, WNBA games, or even MLB games. I watched a good portion of that game, but I fell asleep a little bit, man. I went to extra innings. I went to sleep. I'm not gonna lie. I would have to assume the Mets won though, because they went up like 4-2 or something. They went up like 2 runs or something like that. I don't even know if they won, but I have to assume they won. But either way, playback.tv/Facts and Stats. That is the next important platform for you all to tap into if you are not tapped into it already. It's an app you can download. It costs $0 to sign up and join the Fact and Stats playback room. It costs $0 to download the app. And again, it's 1,902 members on the road to 2,000. So if you want to come and watch these games with us on a day-to-day basis, please feel free to pull up. Also, sometimes after the show on the YouTube side of things, I take it to playback. There's no reason for me to take it to playback today. I'm telling y'all that now. So if y'all do want to talk about the NFL today, whether it's teams expected to leap or teams that expected to drop, or even ranking these top 10 wide receivers, please feel free to join the YouTube stage today. I do see the comment. The link to join the stage will be pinned. I have no reason to take it to playback today. If somebody wants to join or even hear the show today or be part of the show today, they would know to come to YouTube. I don't want people to just be just sitting around and waiting on my bad. Yeah, I want people sitting around waiting on that. Hold on, somebody. I see the booms in the chat. Shout out to Andrew. Andrew shared a membership. Andrew shared 1 membership to somebody. To Man Down. Shout out to Andrew for blessing the platform, man. Real shit. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Rav. Rav sitting at 7 months strong. 7 months strong. Established 7 months strong. That's a signal for when I first put the thing on. They became members off rip. So shout out to y'all. That's real. He said, damn, where this crown stuff come from? I think that's how much you type, gang. I think that's how much you type. All right, cool. So that's that, y'all. I think I told you about playback. I think I told you about the website. I think I told you about the membership. Please make sure y'all become a member if you are not a member. Make sure you check out the website for any Fact and Stats apparel if you are interested. If you want a certain color or anything like that, or you want something old, just reach out to me and I'll make it for you. And also make sure y'all sign up and join the Fact and Stats playback room. For all my folks that gamble, Anybody that gambled, the link to join the Factor Stats Gambling Discord is on this page. If it does not work, DM me and I will send you the direct link. You will have plays from BJ and many other people in the Discord on a day-to-day basis for the most part. You have plays from BJ and anybody else, and many more people, I'm sorry, on a day-to-day basis, including myself as well, for the most part. It's about to get a little shaky with the NBA season, about to be over with, but yeah, that's why I'm gonna start getting into baseball with BJ and things like that. So that's what everything I needed to tell you all today. We're gonna start the show off with the same way before we get into that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Miles. Appreciate that, gang. Even Miles, shout out to Miles for blessing the room today, man. Shout out to Miles for blessing the room today. $5 gift, and that's the lowest amount. All you need to become a member. So if you are not a member, all you need is $5. All you need is $5, and that's let me know you rock with me on a day-to-day basis, on a month-to-month basis. At that, you saw some 7 months in here, 6 months, 5 months, 4 months. Even if you had 2 months, thank you. And again, the link to become a membership is in the description on this video. It will literally say become a member. Miles and D-Mac, thank y'all. What I was about to say, I plan on it, Rain. I plan on tapping into baseball a little bit more often. Honestly, truly, I plan on tapping into a little more often. Fact and Stats Cookout. It's the last thing, y'all. Fact and Stats Cookout. I'm super duper excited for it. I can't wait for it. I've been talking about it pretty much damn near all year. This is the 3rd annual one. Probably going to be the biggest out of the 3 so far. But it's 3rd annual Fact and Stats Cookout, June 21st. Expected to start at 4 p.m. Going up to about 9 p.m. Up to 9 p.m. Not realistic for everybody to be out there till 9 p.m. But up to 9 p.m. People will have other things to do that night. It'll be in Fort Washington, Maryland. It'll be in Fort Washington, Maryland. Also PG County, Maryland. If you need a direct address right now, Augustus was good. If you RSVP and you need the address, just reach out to me and I'll send it to you. If you RSVP and you need the address, reach out to me and I'll send it to you. I am going to update the address on the app on Eventbrite in a few. But yeah, June 21st, 3rd annual Fact and Stats Cookout. If you can make it, that's great. If you can't make it, that's cool. If you want to give any donation or anything like that, you can do that on Eventbrite as well, or you can cash at me. And if you can't make it, if you ain't make it to year 1, 2, or 3, hopefully make it to year 4. Hopefully you make it to year 4. But I probably will lose some type of hope. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably lose some type of hope. No funny. Tyler Herro is expected to sign a 3-year, $149 million extension. Yeah, I don't agree with that. If the Miami Heat want to be a team that want to get back into contention, I don't think that is a realistic option right now as far as them getting back into contention at the moment. But if they want to, they would not give out a contract like that to Tyler Herro at the moment, personally. So that's my little mini thoughts on that. And I love Tyler Herro; he's a hell of a player. But if they want to get back into contention, I don't think they should do something like that. I think they should try to, not for that amount. I'll just put it like that. That's damn near $50 million a year. And Tyler Herro's not a $50 million a year player because he has no defensive value. He also can be guarded a certain way that can limit his game, but he's still a really good offensive player. So that's just my little thoughts. I'm sorry. The French Open has been happening. It's been a good tournament so far. I'm not saying anyone should watch it, but in case anyone wants a sport to watch, there's tennis. Okay. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Miles. Appreciate you. All right. So we're going to start the show. Did anybody gamble yesterday? Anybody gambled yesterday and got sold the same thing? Who sold your parlay? Start the show off the same way. Typically one off on a parlay or something like that. Please feel free to type it in the chat. Players of the days as well. Josiah said something crazy. Josiah said, I'm waiting to play back yesterday. Josiah said somebody had 3 home runs yesterday. Josiah said somebody had 3 home runs yesterday.
Kerry Carpenter, bro.
Yeah, okay. Kerry Carpenter. Josiah said dude had 3 home runs yesterday.
Oh, that nigga went dumb, bro.
Yeah, that's shout out to Kerry. Tigers. Yeah. Anybody got any other players of the days, or did anybody else get sold or anything yesterday? Anybody got any other players of the days?
The play of the day, or a player of the from yesterday?
No, players of the day. Oh, yeah, yesterday games.
That's about it. As the Tigers keep it rolling. One of the best teams in baseball. You know, they keep
First
it
to
rolling.
40
40
wins,
forty
right?
wins.
I didn't even see that. I'm just now seeing a tweet that Bobby Marks expects Tyler Herro to sign a 3-year. Oh man,
A 3-year what, brother? I didn't see the tweet.
$149 million extension. That money ain't going nowhere anyway. I guess whatever. Like I said, if they was looking, a team was looking like they headed towards something, cool. But we ain't headed toward nothing, bro. I'm not saying pay him just to pay him, but shit, what you gonna do? I don't know. Remind me here on we're about to be super mid unless somebody just randomly want to come to Miami. We got blessed with Jimmy Butler wanting to come, so I don't know what's going to happen now personally. So, uh, Tyler Herro, I love you. I'm a Miami Heat fan. I do not think you're worth $50 million. Shout out to you. You had a hell of a season. You took a big leap. I've been rocking with you from the ground up. Rookie season, 6th man of the year, averaging 23, 4 straight seasons, game winners, clutch plays, and now even fast forward to now, you an NBA All-Star. Can nobody take that away from you? You just averaged 24, 5 and 5, but to be getting paid $50 million and you offer no defensive value, and you can be guarded a certain way, pressed, smothered, basically, full court, picked up, and you can struggle due to your inability to beat one-on-one defenders in a one-on-one situation. Obviously, you excel in pick and roll situations and things of that nature, but hey, the Heat don't got nothing to do. We not looking forward to nothing. So I guess they're just saying let's just pay the All-Star and keep him and Bam in Miami for as long as possible. I guess that's what they're saying. So I don't know.
Ev, when would that 3 years begin though for the extension? Because I know he signed that other deal. When does that
It'll
deal technically end?
it will begin after not after next season, the season after that.
Okay, so he got 2 years left on his current extension.
Yeah, the one coming up in the year after this.
That's like what I was telling Shaggy and Jordan Wilson. Them idiots don't listen to me. They don't have a freaking choice. They have to pay him. They don't have a choice. Let him go for what? Now what do you have?
Yeah, I mean,
It's the reason why you owe everybody money.
yeah. Realistically,
Okay, bro, stop talking to me.
realistically, realistically, it does make sense to might as well, I guess, just give him not say just give him just to give it to him. Not saying he's not deserving. I'm not saying he didn't have a good season. That's worth getting paid. I just wouldn't start him at 50 million though. So, I mean,
I
that's
mean,
all I
if
got.
if it was my perspective, like from y'all side with the ownership, because you do like not want to just let him just leave, right? I would.
Yeah.
He probably wants 50. Why not do a 2-year 50?
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I guess him and Bam will
That
be
gives you the flex. That gives you the flexibility with that, like everybody's money, like to be up around the same time. Even Bam, if you potentially move him, and then actually rebuild it. Not try to be funny or nothing, but like actually have the opportunity to do it with money off the books.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Got the little mini Tyler Herro thoughts. Real quick. Another thing, just to highlight, the Suns are expected to limit their or reduce what they wanted originally for Kevin Durant. So it looks like they lowered the asking price. I'm sorry, they lowered the asking price. Phoenix in pursuit of a trading Kevin Durant and then also regaining full control of the draft capital. Thought it was number 10 and pick in next month's draft. So you will still see the same teams be rumored, or team really with the Rockets. You'll obviously see or probably hear about, continue to hear about the Sixers, trying to see what they can do around Paul George and pick 3. And then obviously the most latest one, I feel like, but the Knicks are getting involved, as we've seen last night with Sham saying that they're going to try to see what else they can land, or even Leon continuously being aggressive because in the last season and a half, he made 3 big moves. I mean, he got OG Anunoby, he got Mikal Bridges, and he got Cat. So they said they expect Leon to continue to be aggressive to see what they can do. And they also are fully behind the support of Tom Thibodeau, who pretty much, I think, in his 5-year tenure made the playoffs 4 out of 5 years. And then they won back-to-back 50 games these past 2 seasons, which they haven't done since the 90s. So shout out to Tom and the Knicks, and shout out to Brunson, and just seeing what they're going to do, continue going forward to try to better their chances of winning the championship ultimately, or getting to the finals ultimately in the Eastern Conference. So we'll see what happens with KD. You'll hear this. You'll hear the Knicks. You'll hear the Rockets. You'll hear the Sixers. I don't know what else you'll you'll probably hear Miami, but I don't think that's realistic. And then I'll probably stop right there at the moment. So
You think Denver get involved in any capacity?
basketball fan wise, I would like to see that happen. I don't know if they make it happen.
Because isn't the MPJ money kind of matched with filler?
MBJ might be one. It matters for like their second apron team and all that type of stuff, which I would have to assume they probably are. And then MBJ's at 38. KD's probably at like 57, something like that. I don't even know. And they are not a second apron team. Okay. But I don't know. As far as Denver, I wouldn't mind the move. I just don't think it's realistic for Phoenix to even look at anything with MPJ and what Zeke Naji, like MPJ, Zeke Naji, and who, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't really have a lot of contracts as far as that can meet acting prices or even match salaries. I would say because MPJ and Naji is going to go get you to 46, and I don't even see who else to even throw in there. I really don't, because KD's at what? Hold on,
54.
54. Okay, so they'll still be short. And that's where you have to look at like Christian Brown or Peyton Watson. And also, I think Christian Brown will be up for an extension this season. Christian Brown will be up for an extension this season. So I don't know. I don't think Denver's realistic personally. I think those three teams that I listed at the top will probably be one of his next destinations. And that's the Rockets, the Sixers, or the Knicks, in my opinion. Fredo, what's good, Brody? And yeah, I saw the Magic thing, y'all, but I didn't click it. I'm gonna try to find it right now.
It looks good. I like
I
the
saw the
remake.
Magic.
I like the new logo. The alternate jersey a little iffy, but I do like the home and away John. So I think it's a positive rebrand.
Okay, this right here. It's hard.
Yeah.
This is it. Okay. These are like some old school classic jerseys.
Yeah. Which I don't mind. I think that they kind of, little throwback blended for modern era and stuff, but I like
Yeah.
the original Magic era of Brandon and stuff, Shaq and Penny stuff. So I'm down for it. I like it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Look like them days. I like this black right here though for sure. This gonna look hard when they playing these. I ain't gonna lie. This gonna look hard.
I got to see it on the
Okay.
court. I'm a little iffy on it, but it reminds me of the old warm up. So I'll reserve judgment for now.
All right, I like the logo. But all right, shout out to the Magic, man. Shout out to the Magic. I think quick touch on Tyler Herro, quick touch on Kevin Durant, and outside of that, what else? I think that was it. Tyler Herro, Kevin Durant. Only thing I wanted to highlight real quick before we get into it. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump into everything NFL related for the next couple of days. So before we get into the list, I do want to ask the stage and also the chat. We saw a couple of teams take some leaps last season, bro. We saw the Broncos win 10 games last year, compared to what they did in 23. Let me fact check that so I don't before I even include the Broncos. Yeah, the Broncos won 8. So I guess they were way better than what they were 24 and then 23. The Commanders took a not even a mini leap. They took a big leap. The Vikings won 14 games. A couple of teams improved from what they did the previous season. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So I do want to ask y'all, just going off what we know last year, I'm going to show y'all last year records with some teams. And for me, a leap or a jump is not, so it doesn't have to be major. It can be small. I want to make that very clear. It doesn't have to be major. And that's even when we get to the NFL team expected to make a jump and also NFL teams expected to fall. This does not have to be major. This can be something small. I'm not saying like, hey, they got to go from 7 wins to 13 wins. They got to go from 10 wins to 15. Like they got to go from 4 wins to 9. You know what I'm saying? Going from 4 to 8 or 4 to 7 relative to who they are is still a jump at the end of the day. So I do want to ask y'all before we get into the list, what NFL team do y'all expect to make a jump this season? Whether it was things they did in the offseason, whether it was how they drafted, whether it was trades they made, whatever the case, coaches changes, whatever the case may be. Just looking at some records from last year. What are some things? Well, y'all probably would say the Patriots. Yeah, I'll probably say that's the one team that I would say off the top of my head because they went 4-13. They went 4-13 last year. Fantasy football fans, I do expect Diggs to be a really good fantasy football option. If I had to guess, you're going to get him super duper late. He will be there around 5, 6, more than likely. 5 is probably a stretch, probably 6, 7. Somewhere in that ballpark. And I think he's going to have upside to perform like a round 3, round 4 wide receiver, in my opinion. They went 4-13 last year. Drake May will be the starter for the whole entire season. They still expect to Ramondre to be included into the offense. They added Travion from Ohio State, and everything else that they did free agency wise or far acquisition, and then their schedule. They got one of the easiest schedules in the league. So that 4-13 very much so can turn to 8-9, in my opinion. That 4-13 can probably turn to 9-8, and at worst 7-10, because they should win 7 games at minimum next season, in my opinion. So I expect the Patriots to make a jump next year. Do anybody else want to shout out any teams? Miles, appreciate that game.
I was gonna say the Colts have, because like I think they have, to me, a real complete roster. I just think AR is that shitty that the difference to me dead ass could be Daniel Jones. And the fact that I do think niggas like Shane Steichen and that whole regiment's jobs are up, I feel like them niggas gonna get to 10 wins. I don't know if that's a crazy jump going from 8 wins last year. Or was it 9 last year? I can't, I'm driving, so I'm not looking at the screen. But to 10, and I think they saved their jobs with Daniel Jones. I think that's they'll have an improvement. I think it was 8 the year before or 2 years ago, the 9 last year, and I think they're in the hot seat. I think AR is truly on the hot seat. I think if he's shitty, I do think Daniel Jones will take over, and I think their offense has a great. I think they have a good roster. Just period. I do think they have a decent roster, so I think they can take a step. And when niggas' jobs on the line, niggas like to coach better.
The Colts 8-9 last year. When you say take a step, what would you expect them to be next season?
Like 10 games.
Like 10 wins.
Yeah, like 10 wins.
Okay. So you think that's putting them in contention to win the division potentially, or you think the Texans even?
I still think it's to the Texans division to lose, per se. But that puts them in contention. Getting 10 wins in that division puts you in contention to win that bullshit ass division. Like, no disrespect to the Texan fans who fuck with facts and stats.
I agree.
But yeah.
All right, we got the Patriots so far. We got the Colts so far. Anybody else got any other teams in the chat? I see the Giants in the chat from Augustus. What do you say? I think the Giants will make a jump, but not a huge one. What did they last year? They went 3-14.
Ain't nowhere to go but up, baby.
Okay, okay.
I think the Bears.
The Bears? Yeah, that's a good shot too.
But I'm with the Giants. I like Giants 7 wins, man.
I feel like it's a bad team to say because I feel like people think they'll have that return, but Bengals are also right there. Oh, my fault, brother.
I want to hear his reason on the Bears first, and then we can see you saying different teams.
I think Caleb gonna be better, even though he was pretty shitty his first year. And I like their defense. I think their defense will be a little better, and their O-line. So yeah, I think the Bulls will be better. And I think Ben Johnson make that offense a lot better too. So yeah.
I think that O-line better, but that nigga Jonah Jackson's ass.
Yeah, he is. Go ahead.
So we got the Patriots, we got the Colts, we got the Bears, and go ahead and get back on that.
I'm about to say I went with the Giants.
I was gonna piggyback on the Bears, but you could.
I like Giants.
Whoever you want. You can piggyback and add.
Yeah, no, I do like what the Bears have done. The idea behind bringing in Ben Johnson, their offensive system just was non-existent last year. So even if we don't think that Ben Johnson is a wonder kid, the fact that he is going to be better than what they had last year, point blank period, is going to put him in a much better spot. Tooney is going to be a major upgrade for them as far as the interior offensive line. Same thing for Drew Dahlman as far as a competent center. And Jonah Jackson at right guard is certainly not a plus player, but if he's going to be your worst offensive lineman, which is kind of where it projects as of right now, then I think you're in a solid spot. I think Caleb's going to benefit greatly from being in Ben Johnson's system. And I do believe in his ability to kind of mold things accordingly. He's dealt with different quarterbacks and kind of been able to change it. So I feel pretty confident in the way that he's going to be able to mold it around Williams. And the weapons, in my opinion, whereas last year I think they got a little bit gas. I wasn't a huge Keenan Allen guy. I thought Cole Kmet was just a serviceable tight end. But you're looking at the weapon set now, being able to use the top 2 guys, Rome and DJ Moore, in the proper ways, specifically as it pertains to Ben Johnson's offense, because that was a major downside for how they were using the wide receivers last year, and then adding in Luther to kind of just be a guy that can be a Z, or just that guy that can also take the top off of the defense if you so choose, and then adding what Colson Loveland can bring for you as a matchup, nightmare at the tight end position, because I do believe he is a man-beaten tight end from day one. So I like where the offense is at. I believe in the defensive talent. The question mark is going to be, hey, they're moving on. It's a different defensive coordinator than what they had before. I think that adding Grady Jarrett, adding a Dio to increase that defensive line depth, and then I really like the draft pick of Jamar Turner too. I like the defensive line rotation. Second level is really good. I think that secondary is really good and really young too. So I think they're in a really good spot. I think that they'll be over 500. Ultimately, will they compete for the division? That may be a little bit out of their reach. But we'll see necessarily as far as where the Lions end up landing, because I still think that they should be rightful favorites in the division. I think the Packers will be really good too. But I think that they're in position certainly to be a wild card team, a 10-win, type of, team this year.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Oh, go ahead, my
Good
bad. Go ahead.
fucking
Whoever that
luck.
is. Well,
Good fucking luck.
oh. Nah, yeah, man. This division, boy, oh boy, oh boy. This division right here, because I'm even seeing again, it's OTA. I don't really care too much about OTA. But
You
even
talking about
Shaggy,
that JJ McCarthy shit?
even Shaggy said to me, like, yo, like, watch out for JJ this year coming up. And he looking really good in OTAs right now, like the way he delivering the balls. That's what I care about, like how you delivering the balls and like the placements and things of that nature, how accurate you are. So I'm seeing that out of JJ early on, right? Obviously, seeing what he's doing a couple of drives in preseason, and then when it's all said and done in the actual NFL regular season, going to matter the most. But this division right here, man, is going to is gearing up to have really all four teams win 10 or more games. If you ask me, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you ask me, all four teams winning 10 or more games.
Yeah, it's gonna
So
be
I
it's gonna be
bet
the
you.
best
I bet
division in
you.
football again.
Somebody gonna be the out man out.
somebody gonna win 9 or 8 or injury or whatever happened. But
Right.
yeah, I would think that if I had to just going into the season, it'd be so damn even. Like it'd be what we saw before with the AFC North. Like I think it'd be so damn close with like a bunch of 11-6s or 10-7s, or maybe even a 12-5, and then everybody a couple of teams under 11-6 and 10-7, so forth, so forth. So I don't know. I think that's how the division goes, because I don't think the Lions win 15 games again. I think the Vikings win 14. So it's going to go into what I'm basically saying.
Yeah, I think
That
Personally.
shit
that's
going.
gonna
That
be
shit
the.
gonna
I
end up
think
like
that's.
last year at the end of football, where niggas is dead playing each other divisional opponents, and that shit gonna make or break if niggas go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be where you see a regression from both of those teams, and I think that even though JJ McCarthy was not my favorite of the quarterbacks picked in that class, what you're talking about is a great offensive environment that he's walking into. The ability to sit for a year is going to help him a lot as well, and I do think that he has some level of talent to be an NFL quarterback too. So I think the Vikings, even though their win total is going to be there for some regression, and I do feel the same about the Lions. I think that JJ McCarthy is still going to be serviceable enough for them to be a good team again, because I believe in Brian Flores, and I certainly believe in their offensive environment. They get Christian Darrisaw back at some point in the season too, which was a big loss for them and really sunk the left side of their offensive line too. So yeah, I think that this is going to be once again the best division in football. They have a heck of a 4 team to go after that.
Is it crazy to say the Vikings have the least amount of question marks?
No. What I was
No,
about to
because the quarterback has to be a big question
Eh,
mark
but
because
but
we haven't seen it yet.
and I think that's their only question mark, though, in a sense.
The interior offensive line still has some concerns.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
True.
yeah, and I would say the secondary talent, because they lost Bynum as well, who's really good for them. But it's kind of one of those things where you just trust that Brian Flores is going to be able to get it done.
The Vikings
They,
have the same issues, have the same concerns you had about them last year.
they also lost Gilmore as well in free agency, but he can
Yeah.
always come back. We don't know.
I do want to say, established to your comment, is it mathematically possible? It is, but it has to happen how I said though. One team got to be like 12-5 or 13-4, and the rest got to be somewhere in that bunch. It got close to happening, I think, 2 seasons ago in the AFC North, where the Bengals went 9-8. But you see here 13-4, 11-6, 10-7, 9-8. So it is possible. I just don't know if it happens. Has it ever happened where it's 4 teams won 10 games in the same division? Anybody know?
I don't think that
Won
you've
10
ever seen that.
games?
Yeah, I don't think you've
Yeah.
ever seen that
Oh.
before. Is it mathematically possible? Yes, but I don't think you've ever seen that
Well, we
before.
definitely ain't seen it when it was a 16-game season, but I think 17 makes it more realistic for potentially to happen. I'll put it like
Yeah,
that.
for sure. Yeah.
A little bit more.
I don't know. Like, I feel like this might be a bad shout, Ev, because I feel like people think that team's good, but I think the Bengals get like 10 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins, and that's better than what they did last year. And that's an improvement.
duh, that's the
Yeah,
bar.
yeah.
That's the
No,
floor,
they
nigga.
went 9-8 last year. That ain't no jump
Oh,
for
they
them though.
did win 9 games. You were. I
Yeah,
forgot they won
they
9.
went on that.
They
They
was
went
just
on that.
ass.
they went on that little win streak at the end, being up on the team that I expected them to beat. At the level of play that they were playing at, I think on the best team that they played in that stretch was the Broncos and Steelers. Everybody else, like I expected them to beat them. But it's no knock to them. But I don't think that's a team to shout for like jump purposes, unless you got them going 12-5 or
Are
back to
you
that.
just
You know what
doing
I'm saying?
teams that are gonna jump, Ev? I'm sorry. I can't.
Nah, it's both. It's both. That's the. But anybody, we got the Patriots. We got the. Oh, let me throw out one. Hold on, wait. Before I throw it out, ask Patriots. We got the Colts. We got the Giants. We got the Bears. Anybody want to throw out any other team?
Are
I
those
had one
teams that
more
people think they're
AFC.
gonna jump or fall?
Jump.
I had one more for the jump category, and this would be an AFC team. Maybe I'm setting myself up to look dumb again, but it is what it is. I do think that if we are buying the ability for
Don't say that,
Travis
J
Hunter,
team.
yeah,
Don't say that,
I'm
J
sorry, I'm
team.
gonna have to say it. I'm gonna have to say
Okay,
it.
that's
If
the
Don't
we're
team I gotta.
buying the
That's what
do
I'm
ability,
about to bring
it.
up. That's what
I'm
I'm about to
sorry,
bring up.
I gotta say it. I gotta say it.
What are
If
we
we are buying
classifying as a jump,
I,
dude?
I, well, no, but I'm saying if because they won, I think it was what 35 games last year. You can correct me on what it is specifically, but I think that they could be around 500 in that weak division.
Okay,
If you're,
can I say one thing? I was thinking of the Jets.
Go
Are you thinking of the
ahead.
Jets?
No, you
I
talking
was
about the
thinking of the Jets.
Jaguars.
He was talking
Jaguars.
Jaguars,
He's talking
and
Oh,
I
okay,
Jags.
okay,
and I
okay, okay,
actually thought
okay.
about that name as well when I said Colts. Like I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, you
Yes,
said the
so,
Colts T?
Yeah,
yeah,
because
he said
bro, I
Colts.
think AR is super shitty. So I think Daniel Jones is an improvement, and niggas is about to get fired. So I think the niggas get 10 wins.
You think they
Um,
get 10 wins?
That they don't have a hard schedule, and that division is fucking food, Ari.
Oh, did
They
y'all
won
go through
9
their
last
schedule?
year.
Did you look at their
They,
schedule?
I had did this in Twitter space the other day, but
Oh,
Ari, they won
yeah,
9
you
last
probably
year
did. Yeah.
with AR being literally one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league.
Well, he didn't start most of the time. They had, Flacco.
Uh, I think DJ is still better than Flacco too. That's just me though.
do you? Well, oh Lord Jesus. I'll just finish us up
It's a
real
mid
quick.
off DMAC. That's why you
Go
thought about
ahead.
it.
Go ahead,
The-
D-Mac. I'm
I,
sorry.
I think that the Jaguars, for what Travis Hunter can provide them, the way in which their wide receiver core kind of looks, I think it can make sense for them to have a jump. And this is what I've seen Liam Cohen do for the Buccaneers the last 3 years. And again, it's always an offensive
What's good?
coordinator
Heaven
to
said I
head
miss you.
coach. That's always offensive coordinator, head coach jump, and that's going to be difficult. But I really do believe he's a really good offensive mind. I think that he can get a lot out of those two players specifically. I think Trevor can be better. Offensive line is going to be a question mark, and that is something that they're going to have some young guys that they're going to be relying on for development purposes. But the defense plays hard. I could see them being around 500, especially for that week of a schedule. Miles is incredulous. Yes, I think the Cardinals can make that jump. I'm just still
What is the
going through
jump
a
for the
few things with them.
Cardinals?
I I
That's
have a
No
what
troll.
I'm
couple
What
trying to
what is the
figure
jump for the
out.
Cardinals?
I assume
um
around 500 again, but they've
Yeah,
invested a lot for
The Cardinals
veterans.
could be slightly be better.
I think the jump for the Cards is 10 wins.
But is that a jump,
All right.
though?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. 10
I'm not
wins.
going to
Fuck
say
no.
10 wins.
Them niggas not getting 10
I'm
Oh,
wins. They
saying
not
no, but
better
I'm,
than
I'm saying
Seattle.
jump like if
I was
I
about
everybody
to
I
if
say
think
every
I
team gets to them
Seattle.
I
niggas, I
guess
think they
I
can
guess
win
it'll
10
be a
games.
hot take, but I
They're
do think
not
that
better
they're
than
better than
Seattle.
Seattle. I think they
Oh,
are better than
okay.
Really?
I have it. Wait, Ev, I have a team. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, yeah, I have one too. That no one
It's
said
going to
yet.
be a little
Go ahead.
crazy.
I do.
Don't, especially because
I,
I just
I
talked about the Jags.
I do
It
want to say
better
one more
not
thing
be the
before you say
fucking
that team.
Raiders.
I
What'd you
want to
say,
say one
Ev?
more. I want to say one more thing before you say that team.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Have it said. I'm about to text you the address. Yes, sir. I'm gonna say one more thing. The jump. I said this in the beginning. I know Ari, Alfredo, anybody who probably came in on the back end. The jump, it can be mini. It don't got to be a big jump. It can be a mini jump. Like it can be in a 2 to 3 win improvement. Like I'm surprised nobody said the Panthers, but we'll get to that in a second. It can be a mini jump, and also when we get to the fall, it can be a
A
mini
mini
fall
jump
or
is a
even a
hop.
big.
Ever
Okay,
since
yeah,
like yeah, I
yeah.
mean
So either or, but
Okay.
go ahead. All right.
nice and
My
skip.
team, my team, and especially because if I just reacted to the Jags,
the
Mhm.
Raiders.
um, yeah, it's gonna be the
Yeah,
Raiders.
that's who I was gonna say too.
This
I
is
fucking
gonna
knew
be
it.
the
For real?
Raiders, man.
Y'all like the Raiders? What they do?
I like
Four and
their
Okay,
13.
think about it. Think about it this way, Ev. Okay, Geno Smith, is he a world beater at quarterback? No, but is he better than Gardner Minshew and Aiden
Yeah.
O'Connell?
By a country mile.
Fuck yes, right?
By a
You
mile.
now have they already have Brock Bowers, who, despite the terrible quarterback play, showed that like get him somebody that can like get him the ball and like it's gonna be something nice. So they already have they have Brock Bowers. You add Jainty, Ashton Jainty to that offense. You have Geno Smith, who, especially with Pete Carroll and the kind of offense and the kind of system or like team that I think Pete Carroll's gonna, or the kind of like ball that Pete Carroll's gonna want to play, he's not gonna be throwing the ball a lot, right? Especially not when you draft Ashton Jeanty. There are some definitely still some concerns for them when it comes to like can they protect him, because we know Gino gets a little antsy. Though he is more mobile, he can get a little bit antsy, especially when pressure's coming to him, and when it's a quick decision he can be a little dumb. So if the O-line can buy him a little bit of time, you have James, if they can run block really well, um allow him to get the ball to Brock Bowers. I think they still have Jacoby Myers on that team, which like
Yeah,
he's
Jacoby's
become
day one right now.
he's become a solid guy for them. Obviously not a one. I don't think anybody's gonna be saying him on their list today, but I think he's a reliable guy. Him, Jane T, Brock Bowers, I think is good for a quarterback like Gino, who ultimately can game manage you to wins.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Their D line, I think, I can't remember what they did, what they really added on defense in the draft personally, but their defense isn't necessarily terrible.
Mhm.
And obviously with Pete Carroll coming in there, he's gonna go in. I'm trying to look up to see who their new offensive coordinator is.
Isn't it
I
Chip?
can't
Isn't it
Yep.
remember.
Chip?
It's Chip Kelly. Yep.
Yeah, it's
It's
Chip.
Chip.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
brought
he the
Chip
one who
from
made Genty
from
change his
OSU.
stance.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Chip
yeah,
Kelly.
yeah.
Yes,
Yes, it
Chip.
is. It
Yeah,
is.
Chip.
I
Nigga,
Chip.
peeped
what?
that. I
Yeah,
peeped that
Chip
too.
parlayed that natty to a offensive coordinator job
That
this
Sure
year.
is
did.
crazy.
But
Okay, well, yeah.
that's also why I like Gino for in
I
that
was about to say
scheme.
also, I was just about to say that I like Gino then for
Yeah,
that situation.
like especially because in Ohio State, yeah, you had JJ, you had Emeka, and you had Carnell, but they did run the ball a good amount. Like they were a ball control, explosive play team. I think Chip just leans more into the running and two tight end sets because Michael Mayer, I still think he's solid. I still think he's a NFL level tight end,
Yeah,
and you
he's
add
still got a
that
lot of
with
talent.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you add that with someone like Brock, who was one of the best tight ends we've ever seen as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And they also they tried to get more speed. Like they got Dante Thornton from Tennessee. Jack Betch is a solid
Beck, yeah, I think that's a
yeah,
solid
he's a
ad.
solid receiver.
Yeah.
Jacoby, people don't talk, but Jacoby didn't have a single drop all last season. Like he's a reliable target. I
Absolutely.
think I think as long as you
Mm.
run the ball consistently, that offense can be at least like a 15 to like 18. And as long as the defense isn't terrible, granted, it counts if Christian can come back from his foot. But you
Yeah,
still
that's
Yeah.
have Max. You
They have
got Darius
Max and
Porter.
they have Jeremy Chin,
Yeah, Chin Porter.
Porter,
Um,
Landon Roberts.
yeah, that
Malcolm
that
Kuntz is going to be coming off of an injury.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
as he's healthy, like the defense is solid. So I think that
What they O line
with
hitting on? I didn't
I,
hear y'all. What they O
I
line
yeah,
hitting
they
so
have
on?
a solid O line.
that's where I think that
Yeah.
this is there's two fundamental issues for me. One, I think that the defense still has significant holes at the second and third levels. I think
I was
the
about to say their
secondary
secondary, I'm
their
concerned.
secondary is still bad, and their second level is still really bad. And Max Crosby and Wilkins inside with a little bit of Malcolm Kuntz, like the D line can be good to maybe solid, but that's Wilkins has to be healthy, and that's not going to be a guarantee either. The second part is the offensive line, and by extension, the run game, because I think that everything that Ari said as far as Gino and the quarterback, and then you're building the passing game off of Brock Bowers as the number one, Myers is number two, putting in a little bit of Besh, and then Trey Tucker and Thornton as kind of deep threats you can build off of. I think that makes sense. And Gino has been dealing with some really bad offensive lines in Seattle, so that's not necessarily going to be the biggest difference for him. I think that Colton
Mm-hmm.
Miller is better than any tackle he's had, for that matter. But I don't think that this run game is going to look immediately like some people think, because the right tackle is still a massive question mark. The right guard is still, both guards are still a massive question mark. I like Jackson Powers Johnson as a center. Colton is a good left tackle as well, but I think that people are expecting kind of a great Ashton Genty year, and I'm not necessarily getting there with what the run game is going to look like. Now, ultimately, that could be proven wrong. So we'll see from that
D-Mac,
standpoint.
I'll
But
say this. I don't think they're a team weeks 1 through 5 that people are like, oh my gosh, look at the Raiders. No. I think it's definitely going to take some time to get it together. I think they'll be a team, because how many games did they win last year?
three, I think, three or two.
Three. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they won like 6 or maybe 7 games this season, which I
Yeah.
think for them is an improvement.
That's a
Obviously,
big
with the
Oh
jump.
yeah,
holes
for
they
sure.
have.
Yeah, that'd be a big
Yeah,
jump.
I think I completely agree with that. I think ultimately that's where I land. Like I wouldn't necessarily say that 500 maybe is realistic for them, but
Hmm
6 or 7 wins, them being a middle of the pack offense, I think is that aspect. It's just, do you have the ceiling to carry what I think is going to end up being a bad defense? I'm not sure is right, but 6, 7 wins, I think is definitely within the cards for them.
Yeah.
I like that.
Uh, I was going to shout
Who's
one
it?
more team, Ev. I was just
Go
going to
ahead,
say,
son.
I think they can flip complete records damn near from what they had last year. I fucking can't stand these niggas, and I hope B Young not in here because I'm giving these bum ass
Oh
niggas credit.
shit,
But I
you gonna
think,
play them?
yeah, I think they can get 10 wins, gang.
Yo,
Is that a jump?
shout out to them. Shout out to them boys.
I
Shout out to them
mean,
boys,
because
man.
they probably would have won
You
10
a
if Dak
fucking
was
What they
playing.
do
hater,
last
nigga.
year? They had to like 6 or 7 last year, right?
Damn, I'm a hater. They had 7. I'm a hater down B
Yeah,
Young
if
because I
Dak
gave
was
y'all
healthy, they
credit.
probably win 10.
I'm
Like,
Yeah,
playing. I'm
I think
probably
they
gonna
get
win
It's
within
10.
not
that too.
necessarily a. I mean, I feel like it's not a jump because that's what they've been doing outside of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
not a
To
fair.
me,
jump.
that's a
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's a
returning to
real
form.
question. But
But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
but compared to last year, that's a jump, I guess technically.
I mean,
So
I guess
yeah,
technically,
I
because
agree
I
with what
mean,
you said to Ari because they were winning 10 games every year and losing
like they
15.
were
So
winning
you're
like
right. They could go right
11,
back.
10,
Yeah.
11, 12 games every year. Like for
and it,
me, it's a return. That is a returning to
But you
the
know,
Cowboys
but
that we
Ari, you know
know.
what? You know why I also throw it in there though? Because like I keep hearing the fact that like people are just like penciling in, oh, the Commanders are just guaranteed to be have a better regular season record. So to me, like,
That
I think they
that's gonna
still
be my
good.
step back. That's gonna be my step back once he gets to that.
oh, the
Nigga, they
Commanders,
will, and I will bet anybody on that. They will, and I will bet
Hey,
anybody
now,
on that.
Do
now
they have a better
we
they
record?
won what
we can
11
bet
games
right
last year.
now, nigga.
Yeah, yeah, 12, I
We
think.
can we can
Let me
bet
see.
right now. How much you
Yeah,
trying to
bet.
bet?
I bet 100 the Commanders have a better
How
record than the
much?
Cowboys.
Wait, we can lock that.
Commanders
Lock it
won
right now.
12.
What's
We can
Cowboys
lock
won
You
that.
said lock.
7.
eh,
what's
eh,
they
eh,
Okay,
odds?
long,
Ev,
Odds
long.
right
Okay,
now.
long. Jaden Daniels and Dak has to play at least 14 or more games. Cool.
For sure.
Okay, put it in my notes.
For
$100.
sure.
Ev, and it's not even
That's a
that I
bet.
don't think the Commanders could be the second seed. I do think the Eagles would be right, even though it hasn't happened since 2007.
Miles,
I
how
know, I
about
know,
you come up here and say your team,
but
nigga?
Ev, I just don't
Mhm.
think they're stamped to just be better than the Cowboys in the regular
No,
season.
no,
Now,
I
do I trust
respect
them
that. No,
niggas
I
more in the
respect that.
playoffs? I
Yeah,
do.
stamp no, but I would probably just lean into Jaden being more of a
Yeah.
his
Exactly.
impact might be more than Dak.
hmm
I think Pickens over there means a lot though that CD has another receiver, bro.
I do
Yeah.
agree. I think, and I think there's still some offensive line question marks as far as that's concerned. I think you can still have question marks as far as the running back situation is concerned too. I think that they get Bland back healthy, they get Diggs back healthy. Secondary doesn't look as
These
deep
niggas
as it
really
did
didn't
last
add
year.
another fucking wide receiver. Oh, they added Debo.
I think
Still.
Oh yeah, well
I think
yeah.
that they get Overshown back as well. Like if they get healthy seasons out of those guys, defensive line is a question mark too. But I don't know. I think the Cowboys could be in that 10-win mix for sure. Now I think that there's
D-Mac.
going to be some regression for the Commanders too. I don't think that they upgraded their roster as much as maybe other people would look at it that way. I think Tunsil will be an upgrade.
Mhm.
Debo, and I still think there's real question marks on the defense. But all that being said, the Commanders probably will have a better regular season record. But if it's the other way, it wouldn't surprise me at
They
all.
didn't make nearly as many
I,
moves as I thought they did this offseason.
they
I'm
They'll
looking at their
be,
depth
bro.
chart.
They'll be
It
second
was
in the
very
division
splashy
again,
the
bro.
things that they did, so it feels like they did
Yeah.
more than they did.
yeah,
But I still
like the
got
Tunsil
question
And then
trade,
they
like the
only
big
had
trade,
what,
and
1, 2, 3, 4.
Debo.
They only had 5 draft
We
picks.
Yeah, because they
we can
traded a
bet
lot of
that
their
too,
capital to
DJ.
get Debo and
We can bet
Tunsil.
Okay,
that
okay,
too,
but
DJ.
okay.
I
Listen,
mean, and
listen,
they
though. Listen,
traded
listen,
some to
listen.
they traded us their third for
Oh yeah,
We
for
can
Marshawn.
bet
Marshawn
that.
Lattimore too.
They
Yeah,
they they
yeah,
addressed it. They addressed the offensive line by grabbing Tunsil. They fixed the wide
They
receiver
drafted
by getting Debo.
Cornerly. They
They
drafted
fixed it.
Cornerly
They
too.
fixed the DB room by drafting Trey Amos.
Hey,
Bringing in
but
one
They
player
got
is
three in their
addressing the
needs.
offensive line.
I
That's
don't
crazy.
think it's addressing
I
here's
ain't
it
know
the
that,
thing.
though.
DJ. I
I
ain't know
think
bringing in one
Connerly.
player was
I think
addressing the whole
What
offensive
the
yeah.
line.
what the
Like
Cowboys
one
do,
player,
Shaggy? What
well,
the
one
Cowboys
here's the
do?
thing about
interior
the
isn't that
Commanders'
good
offensive
either
line.
though.
I think Connerly will be useful to them. I think that Coleman moving over will also improve their line. I think Tunsil will help a lot as far as that is concerned too. For me, the bigger issue is the defensive line because I don't know if
Yeah.
you're going to
Yeah,
be
Like
they
able.
didn't fix
edge,
that.
they
They
didn't
didn't
pick a
fix
solid
that.
No, they
edge
didn't.
up, man.
And I
Man,
like Trey Lewis a lot
if
too.
they was
So
to if they was to have Austin Eckler come in there last year and be effective, Debo will come in there this season coming up and be effective
I mean,
in
you
the
hope.
short game and the screen game, and also coming out of the backfield as well. I
Debo gotta
promise
come
you,
and
bro.
You
save
would
us.
think. You would
I
think
think
so.
Debo can be effective
all
for
right,
them. Will
all
he
right.
be a Pro Bowler? Will he be healthy? Both of those are really
I mean,
They
they
don't
significant.
need
drafted
it. They don't
Jalen.
need
They
it.
drafted Jalen Lane, so
I didn't like that pick though. I didn't
I
like that pick.
guess that's
What do
not what
you?
I would have
Why
expected them
don't
to
you like?
do.
He got another playmaker. What are you talking about?
It was, if I'm not mistaken, like Buddy from I think Kyle and the dude from Utah was still on the board when he got drafted. Like
They're not playmakers. Jalen Lane is a playmaker.
Kyle Williams is in the playmaker.
Jalen Lane got the speed. He got the speed that the Commanders are looking for. They needed a deep threat. They got one.
All right. I ain't watch enough of Virginia Tech, so I can't talk too much to it. But from what I've
For
seen, I
Jalen Lane about
wouldn't
to
have took him
cook.
over Kyle.
Debo, and Terry. He got three playmakers. With
Yeah.
Eckler,
I mean,
with
I
side
think
of
Good, bro.
Eckler, like
I
bro, they're
think
fine.
Wayne is
Javonte Williams
Hold
sucks.
on.
Who is that?
but I wouldn't go as far as to say that he's.
All right.
Yeah, I
I don't
see
know if
established
Jalen
for
Lane's
sure,
even
right?
better than
What
Diamond
up, though?
You
Right
said what,
on.
D-Man?
I don't know if Jalen Lane's even better than De'Ami Brown, who they had last year. So I think
Oh,
they
come on,
Yummy
bro.
gone and shit
Yeah,
too.
Come
Damn.
can I
on,
kick off the
bro.
negativity?
I think that was a little bit of
Back,
a little bit
Come
of an
on, bro.
exaggeration.
Can I kick off the negativity?
crying.
Where you
So
going?
we
Where
up
you
here
going
being
with
a little
this?
too positive. We being too optimistic. Niggas that's taking a downfall this year, Green Bay. They not making the offs this year.
Oh
Oh
shit!
wow.
Oh shit!
Oh wow.
You know, let's get negative a little bit, man.
Not making the offs that's a take.
No offs, bro.
Think that.
Was this all the was this before we circle right there real quick? Was this everybody that I can't? Did we miss a team?
And
Falcons.
Did we miss?
Let's
Oh,
see.
somebody said
The
I
Jaguars.
have
Okay,
one
okay.
team I want to shout before.
That's not a
Jags.
jump. The Falcons.
Fuck you
Nigga,
mean
the
that's not a
Falcons
jump?
not
Who said
Okay.
the
All
Falcons?
right.
I don't think no one
What
said
you
the
got them
Falcons.
doing?
Who did you think, Ari?
Shaggy, what you got them
You
doing?
know, it's BJ.
No, Shaggy said
Shag.
Falcons.
Shaggy,
Yeah,
what you got them doing? I said,
Oh,
what you got them doing as far as jump purposes? Like, what you got
Why the
them?
hell will I say the
playoffs.
Falcons?
Playoffs.
nigga, I don't fucking
Oh, you
know.
think they're gonna make the offs?
We're gonna win
As
the
a
division.
wild
How the fuck
card
is
or
that not a
I mean,
jump?
they
Win the
what they
division.
go
Okay.
last year,
hold
8-9,
on, hold on,
9
hold
and
on.
8.
Let's hear
Eight
everybody
nine,
else.
They
eight
won
nine
8
last
games
year.
last year. How the fuck you gonna say no to
Miles,
the
you
Falcons
gotta
got the
stop,
coach?
bro. It's okay for niggas not to say the Cardinals. I said the Cardinals in the chat, but still, bro,
Why are
it's
y'all
okay.
entertaining Miles?
I
He's
told
fucking
him,
wrong.
bro, to get a mic and come say his
All right,
team.
I
I'm
said
doing all that
Falcons.
whining
Why
in
are
the
y'all
chat.
Who else did we hear today?
It's
Did
grinding my
we hear?
gears.
Y'all said so. Add the Cowboys or no? Because y'all said that's like returning to form. Or should we add them? Because technically it's a jump.
Yes,
I don't know.
Adam,
Yeah,
bro. Yes.
I
I
would
mean,
add the
somebody said him,
Cowboys.
so go ahead.
Yeah, was anybody else? Cowboys, and I think that's yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. All right.
I was trying to make an argument for the Titans, but I can't really think of one, so
No,
it's cool.
no, they got to
They
crawl.
still got way too many question marks.
I
Oh,
think
if they would have got an
said,
edge,
you guys had I don't know if somebody was saying the Jets and I cut them off, but somebody said the other J team. I'm
F
not.
was saying the Jets.
you
No,
saying
I
the
thought
Jets?
you was.
Ed?
I thought you was about to say. No, I thought he was about to say the Jets. I was going to ask you how y'all felt about the Jets.
Oh, you
Yeah, I
did say
wouldn't.
J team. Okay, no, I went instantly to Jazz because it made more sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I ain't even think it.
I'm rooting for Justin Fields though.
I think Justin would be better than Rodgers in that system, just his legs and everything. But I don't think
Bills
it'll
FC,
amount to
let's
anything.
go.
All right, so damn, what the hell? Why is this other line? Oh, the other line thing on through. I didn't even know that. All right, so NFL teams expected to make a fall. Ryan kicking it off with the Packers, saying they are not making the playoffs this year. Any reasoning behind that?
Matt LaFleur is a great offensive minded guy, but cannot lead guys in the locker room. That team culture is soft. They're crying a lot. That defense is going to take a step back.
Sorry, keep going.
This is a fall. That defense is food. I just don't. I mean, you still got Jair might get potentially traded. You just don't know that team yet. And then they have the third place scheduling. I see how our schedule is. We got the AFC North and the NFC East this year. So got to play playoff teams almost every week. And last year, that Green Bay team did not look good versus actual competitive teams. I don't think they won not one game versus a playoff team last year.
They beat us, didn't they?
They didn't.
I don't think. Go look. I don't
Let
think
me.
they.
I can
They
pull
had
it
a-
up.
I'm pretty sure Green Bay beat us early in the year.
Schedule. Give me. I'm pulling it up.
So do you want to count that, T? Because y'all was like limping around.
We was ass in the first like 8
They
games.
beat.
Yeah.
They beat the Vikings.
They beat the
They
Rams.
beat
They beat the
the Rams.
They beat the Texans.
They beat y'all.
Okay, never
No,
mind.
I read
No,
that
they
wrong.
didn't. The Eagles.
Yeah, they beat the Rams, the Texans.
Yeah,
I thought the Vikings swept them though.
Yeah, the Vikings
the
swept them.
Vikings
Vikings
did
swept
sweep
them.
them. I was looking at it wrong.
And they
Yeah,
beat Seattle. They beat Seattle too.
Yeah,
So
no playoff.
Seattle.
Seattle wasn't in the playoffs.
Seattle didn't make the
Nah,
whole
Yeah, they
playoffs.
weren't in the playoffs.
Oh, they wasn't in the playoffs. Fuck, my bad.
Mm-mm.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
so, just the Vikings or just the Rams and Texans.
And the
So
Texans.
a beat up Rams team, and that Texans team was. I give them that. Texas team.
Doo-doo garbage.
Hey, if we get negative, right? Let's get negative all the way. I don't think the fucking Detroit Lions are winning 14 games ever fucking again. They lost 8
15. They won
coaches.
15 last year. But go ahead.
They did
Niggas been saying that. I don't think
15,
nobody.
15.
Yeah,
Them niggas lost
I
8
don't
I
think
don't
no
think
one
coaches.
Is that
nobody in the
negative?
fan base thinks we
bro.
winning
I,
15 games again. Like we all
I'm,
know.
I
Oh.
think I think you niggas would be right at 12 wins. That's just me
I
personally.
think that's
I think
that's
niggas
But
are
with
under.
their
accurate.
schedule, that's actually kind of
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty accurate.
Yes, but
Nobody.
that would be. I don't know how Evans is maybe.
Yeah, that is technically the
That
fall.
would be.
That's a step
Yeah,
back, my
That's an
nigga.
easy one
yeah,
though.
that's
Like the Vikings
I
and
mean,
the
that's
So
Lions.
I
my thing,
mean,
hold up.
Are they
So hold
expected
up.
to win
Wait,
15 games
I need
again?
to
Go
figure. I
ahead.
need to figure this out because it's a step back if the Lions win 12 games instead of 15 this year, but they could still win their division. They could still have one of the best records in the NFC, but it's a step back just because they lost 3 games.
Yes, they're
It could be
going
more.
from
It could be more than
potentially
3.
they're going from being the 1 seed in the conference to potentially not being the 1 seed.
Okay, and they were barely the 1 seed.
what
Now
that
that
mean?
can't be the standard though.
No, like
Wait, what
that's
you
what
mean,
I'm
love?
sorry.
I mean, they
I'm
were
sorry.
playing.
That's not
Bro,
a
going
fall.
from
15
bro,
games is
bro, bro,
not the
That's
bro.
not
Are
a
y'all
standard,
fall.
bro. That's
serious?
not the standard for
Are
nobody.
y'all serious?
That's
Going from
not a
15
fall.
and 2. Going
Look,
from 15 and 2 to 12 and 5 is a fucking drop off.
as
Yeah,
much as
With
that's a
the
their
drop.
team is taking
schedule,
a
That's
not
a
small
drop.
leap.
really.
This is the
I mean,
same
but
That's
you
not
exact
still
their
win your
fault.
schedule.
What the schedule
division,
got to do
like
with it? What the schedule got to
That's
do
a
with it?
drop off. 15 to 2 to 12 and 5 is a
Okay.
drop
Well,
off.
then the Eagles gonna win 11 games. Let's put them down for negativity and say they're gonna fall
If
off
you
too.
feel like that, what you're reading, yeah, that'll be a mini drop. But again,
Y'all do this
NFL teams
fucking
expected to
literal
drop. It can
shit.
be a big drop or a small drop. I said that already, y'all. Like that's like the Ravens going
I
15
get
and 2,
what
then we end up going 10
But
and 7 or 11 and
realistically,
6.
will it
I get
matter?
what you're saying, Ed, but 15 and 2 isn't like that's not something that
that's
should
not
be a
repeatable. Like
standard.
that's
Like that's
not
not
So
shit
if
that
they
just
I
don't
think
happens
do
every
15
nobody's
and
year.
2
standard.
again, if they do 14 and 3, then
Nigga,
it's a
that's why
fall
I
off
say drop
because they
off,
won
low.
one less
What
game.
the fuck?
Yeah, so
Are y'all
problem them
slow?
for going
Yeah, y'all
15 and 2
dumb.
and saying it's not their
Yeah,
standard
okay.
and then
Nigga
Whoever
saying
just
else, the
told me the
Lions.
Raiders
All
win
right.
3 more
Next
games.
team.
Nigga just told me the
Bro,
Raiders
them
win 3
niggas were
more games.
locked in at
Next
one the
team.
So
majority of
they
the
because
year
they
in the
lose 2
NFC. I
more
don't
games,
think they'll be that.
We can do
mean they're
next
not that
team.
good.
like what the
Guys
fuck?
just told us the Raiders going 6 and 11 was a leap. Like, what are we doing?
I mean,
Well,
from six
Shaggy, we were
wins,
doing small
From a
leagues too.
three
We were
Yes,
win.
doing small
in
leagues,
12 and
big
5 from
leagues.
15 to 2 to drop off, my nigga. That's a drop.
Yeah, that's what I said. I agree with you.
Can't
I
hold the
said
BPS. That's
that's
cool.
3 wins and
Next.
3
a
losses,
little
Ari. Same
decline.
logic.
It's all dumb. That's what the
I
fuck it
Yeah,
mean,
is.
decline.
yeah, that's fine.
Because 3 wins for the Raiders, they don't get Ashton Jeanty this year. 3 losses for the Lions, they could still be the fucking top of their division. They could be the
Yeah,
second
but
seed in the
they're not going to be
NFC.
the top of the conference
They're
though,
not going
which
to be
they
the
were
top
this
of the
year.
conference home field advantage.
Okay, so 1 to 2.
So
Got it.
honestly though, like
They
here's the
could be
Got
question.
3.
it.
Just like Ari
Got
said
it.
though, like who gonna really be top of the conference this year?
Niggas
Like
sound fucking stupid.
all the best teams got to play each other. Like every,
I think Philly wins the
Nigga,
NFC.
I got the easy schedule. Y'all keep playing with my
I
team.
don't
Okay,
know.
so
Philly
and
got
gang,
But
got
your
that was
team's not winning
only
15 games.
and that was only T
Nah.
logic, nigga. Everybody else think y'all gonna take a drop no matter what anyway. So y'all getting on the list.
The second list title needs a not in front of expected NFL team. Okay, thank you,
As
Justin.
I say, MC gonna be a dogfight this year. It
It is going to be alive.
ain't nobody just
Wait,
walking
what?
in this year to number 1 seed.
I
Wait,
mean,
what?
but the
Nigga,
fucking
what?
the
Bro
Niners
said
got
NFC gonna
such
be
an
a
easy
dogfight
schedule.
in
And the
No
November.
second
fucking
list
dogfight,
It
nigga.
will.
The
title
Niners
needs a
suck,
not in
dude.
front
It's
of
not gonna be a
expected.
dogfight.
That schedule is so sweet though, man. Like
The
Bro,
best
the
division
Eagles
in
are
the
gonna
Nah,
walk
NFC
Justin
into
is
has
the
to
right.
one.
play each
Justin is
other.
right. Justin, am I tripping? Is right.
What?
NFL teams expected to make a draft. Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah, he said if the second list needed not in front of expected, that wouldn't make sense. NFL team not expected to make a drop. Yeah, that wouldn't make. That's not
No,
the
no, no,
activity.
no,
Yeah,
no. That's a
that's a
double
double
negative.
negative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the. Yeah.
I'm
But
just wondering what
again,
English
yeah, I
classes
could
some of the guys went to, man.
Ari, Lowe, and whoever else is on that side.
Niggas be trying to be
I
too
think
smart, man.
Fredo too. I
Yeah, no,
understand
Right,
both
no,
sides,
let's
but
like
move on. Let's
that's
move
the
on to that part.
activity was if it's a big drop or if it's a small drop, going from 15 to 2. No
I
matter
would bring up what happened yesterday, but I'm not gonna do that because it's the same logic, by the way. But we're
what
gonna
happened
leave
yesterday?
What happened
yesterday.
yesterday?
Because when you
Also, Ari,
say
why are they stamped to win their
when you
division?
say one of the best, D-Mac's argument was, well, when I think of one of the best, it's top 5. It's the meaning of the word.
Yeah,
But you said
that's
no.
cool. That's
It
cool.
just
But
means in general.
but
That's because
going into this
it's
activity,
hinged
I
off
explained what it
context.
is though. I literally explained how we doing the activity though. They're going into
Okay.
the
I
activity.
forget y'all like to use the words the way y'all like to use them. We can move on next team.
But to the point with the Lions, I don't also think they're just stamped to win their division as well. I don't think they're just
We've been
stamped, my
through this
nigga.
Who's
every year.
gonna
I don't
beat them?
I don't
understand
feel
No,
why
no,
you
no,
like
no,
say
no,
this,
no,
T,
no, no,
because
no, no,
you
no, no.
called
Let
all the
them do
other
it. Let them
teams
do
in
it.
their
Let them do it.
division
They do this
ass.
every year.
So who
They
else is
all
gonna
ass,
They
win?
nigga.
do this every year. They do this every year. Let them have it. They do this every year.
Y'all niggas love to
Yeah.
talk out both sides of your fucking mouth
They
when
do
it
this every year with us,
depends.
bro. So
See, I
go
don't see
ahead.
how
I
you
mean,
gonna
nigga,
say
y'all
that
only
and
won it
then
for
Pick
2
Green
years.
Bay.
What you
Go
mean
for it.
every year? Fuck the fuck? Fuck you mean
How you
every
gonna
year?
know
Like
funny?
T will
Them
tell you
niggas
that
They
he
only
do
been.
this
doesn't think the
every
like
year,
the,
bro.
that he doesn't think the Vikings
Pick
are
Green
good.
Bay.
He's gonna tell you that
Pick
he don't
I
think
Minnesota.
Green
know,
Bay is all that.
but
He
Pick
but
gonna tell you
Ari,
he
Washington.
do
I'll
trust
raise
the
you this.
Bears, but he gonna say, "Oh, but the Lions not gonna win."
But I don't think the Lions are that good either. So now what are you saying to me? I said that shit
You make
last
no
year when them niggas
sense.
won four,
Make sure
when
I
them
like the
niggas won
You
video.
make
Make
no
sure
14
I like the
games.
sense.
video.
When
So
them
if the
niggas won
whole
You the
15
team, if
same
the
games,
one
I
whole
said
did
them
division
niggas
last
is
was
year.
not
We
stamped
gonna
the
got
be
whole
beat.
fucking
good,
last.
why are they
ass.
not stamped to win the
They
division?
won
If the
15
whole
games
division
and
isn't
Why
gonna
why
be
are they
good,
stamped?
majority
Why
of
I
their
asked the
somebody has
seasons
to
question,
be
with
the
Ari.
best of
Lions
the
though.
bad
Like
teams, correct?
Why are they stamped? Why can't the Vikings
Why
win more
aren't they
games than them?
stamped? Why? You tell
I
me.
asked you a question first.
You
Why
tell
can't you
me.
answer my
because the
question?
Vikings are coming
You
on
tell
a
me.
rookie quarterback.
Because this is based
Even
off
as
of
much as
your
I
They do
logic.
believe
this
You
that
tell
every
that's a
me
year, bro.
rookie
They do this
why
quarterback
they
every
can't.
year, gang.
trying
They
to
find
take the one
somebody
seed from
literally
the
said
team that's
Bears
won
last
that
year,
bitch the
bro.
last two
Like
seasons.
Miles, no funny. You did trolling. Please get a mic, bro. You've been itching for niggas to respond to you with this Cardinal shit and your little trolls. Please get a mic, gang.
wait,
He gonna tell you you
why
got a
throwing
job, bro.
Miles head top though?
This nigga's been
Uh,
screaming about the Cardinals in the
Yo,
chat for
Low.
an
all right. Let me
hour.
throw a
Yo,
team.
what's
Let me
up,
throw a
Hold
bro?
up,
team.
Ed.
Oh,
Hold
go
up,
ahead.
Ed.
Go ahead.
Hold up, Ed. Yo,
Go
Low.
ahead. Go ahead.
What's up, bro?
The Eagles 2022 was 14-3. The next year they was 11-6. You telling me they didn't take a drop?
Oh, my head is hard to say.
Makes sense. Yeah, you just, bro. That's not. Look, you said,
Oh,
wait,
it's
you
the
said
same
2
shit.
years
It's
ago
the same
they
shit.
won 14
It's
games, and
the
last
same
year they
shit.
won 11.
When they made the Super
You
Bowl
know,
that first
flip
year, it
that.
was 14-3. Then we went 11-6 the next year. It's the same shit, my nigga. They took a drop.
Yeah, that's a drop.
They were
We can say
still
that.
a good team.
I mean, either way, they're still a good team, though. But I mean, I see
Yeah,
if your
yeah,
logic
but
is just
like,
that they
bro,
won
another
less games
example.
the next year, then yeah,
A-
that's a
Sugar.
drop.
Another example. The Bengals won 12 games in 2022. The next season they won 9. That's a drop. Like it's
Like,
literally
so what are
But
we
my
doing?
thing
it's
is,
a
why are
drop.
we
They were
acting like
still
why
they
are
were
we
still
why
a
are
good
we
Nah,
saying
team.
those
because
things? No.
yeah,
Why are
y'all
you
are missing
saying
the
those
point out of
things
all this.
without
So yeah,
context?
What does it matter? It happened.
We consider it first off, 12-9 is very different than 15-12.
yeah.
Let's not be dense, dumb, or stupid. One.
How does that make anybody dense,
Let's
dumb,
not
or
try and act like
stupid?
those are the
Can you
same
talk without
things.
name calling? How
That
does that
we
make anybody
know.
dense, dumb, or stupid?
Uh,
How does that make anybody dense, dumb, or stupid?
can
Literally.
hold on. Can we circle back to like T was like the second person? Like T, can you tell us why the Lions will have a drop off? I don't think you ever was able to give it. You was just like
I
cut off.
no, I did. I think losing 8 coaches, losing the offensive coordinator, 8 coaches in your system. I think that
Mm-hmm.
matters. The fact
Okay.
that the Vikings were, a win or two from taking the division last year. I
Uh-huh.
don't. Do you think Sam Darnold's uber talented, way more than JJ McCarthy?
You asking an Ohio State fan about JJ McCarthy?
Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. Because
Yeah.
yeah, okay, it was going to get
Yeah.
negative, but but I just don't think y'all are stamped. And to me, if y'all do get
Mm-hmm.
to 12 wins, my thing is I don't see why the Vikings can't be at 11, or if y'all are at 11, why the Vikings can't be at 10 and potentially still fight for that division. I don't
So
think
can
y'all are just
They swept
leagues
them
abounds
last
better
year.
than everybody.
all right. So hold on. Can I ask you a question about it's a similar team. I don't think they lost 8 coaches, but I think they're still going through like the coaching
Or Dallas.
adjustments as like Philly with their coordinators. Is that logic being applied to them as
They
well?
lost just one, I think. It was just Kellen.
It was just Kellen Moore, wasn't it?
Kellen and the QB coach. Kellen didn't take a
Okay.
lot from
I get what you're saying about the OC, like element of just losing coaches, but I do think losing 8 coaches is insane. And then telling me you're going to
Yeah.
replicate that season,
Yeah.
like
I
I do,
mean,
and I do think with your losing some of your offensive talent, I think your all pro center and Frank retiring matters.
Think it's funny.
But
Tate
T, also
I
to
don't
that point, they
Ratledge.
defense died last season and they still won them games. Them niggas are
it
coming
just.
back with acquisitions on
Wilfredo,
defense
what
and
context
healthy
was
But
that
but do
receivers.
though,
you even with that though, is Hutch just stamped to be fully healthy by the start of the season and look like he was
He
prior to
should be.
injury?
Even
He
if
should
Hutch
be.
isn't fully healthy, their secondary was gone, bro. Like they actually they have bodies of secondary and linebacker now.
Make
Like
sure I
that's
like this
gonna
video,
matter.
y'all. Make sure I like the video.
just to give context, like last year we played arguably 2 of the worst divisions last year. We had a beat up NFC West, West and I mean the AFC South had like 3 teams drafted in like the top 10 of the draft.
5.
AFC West? AFC
AFC,
South, I meant.
AFC
South.
South.
Yeah.
One and 5.
They had like 3 in the top 5, I think.
No, the Colts was in
Oh no,
top
the
3 or top
Jags traded
15.
up.
It
Never
was
mind.
top
Yeah, that's
15.
what I said. That's what I
The
said.
Colts was at
Like we
15.
played arguably like the worst one of the worst divisions last year. So we had an easy schedule. That's why I said when we did schedule previewing like a couple weeks ago, I said 11-6 because this is a competitive year. This is a really competitive schedule.
But so to my point, right? If you think you're going from like 15-2 to 11-6, you don't classify that as a drop.
I mean, it's gonna be. I mean,
No, Rod said they dropped. I
yeah, I already said it's gonna be
Oh,
a
okay.
drop.
Okay, I didn't hear you say that. I thought you
I
were
agree
arguing the
with you
other
though.
side.
I like winning 15 games is that's a like damn okay bet. And it's like okay, if you win 15 games this year with this schedule, it's like you should be damn near
Yeah, to
in the
me, you're a
fucking
better
bowl.
team.
Yeah.
Like it's not even the same 15.
But I mean, that's like I'm pretty not like I got us like divisional round at best this year. Like I think we'll make it to the division round, but
it's just this simple. When you think of
Right.
jump or you think of drop,
yeah.
do you think the Lions will be as good as they were last season? Anybody?
I think they can be.
No.
Record-wise,
I think they could be. Yeah, but
Record-wise, no, but in
are we
terms of
basing all
like
that
play
on
on the
record?
field, yeah.
Yeah, like play on because I do
Hey,
think
well,
I don't think people don't
can you
give
answer
Ben
that? Is
Johnson.
all that
Not
based
Ben
on the
Johnson.
record?
Bro, y'all don't.
It
I ain't
is.
gonna lie, y'all don't
Are we
deserve
just talking
to
about when they
y'all
play
don't-
football?
But and if y'all do think this, that's cool. But I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. Like, and whether it's a small, that's okay. Like, but mainly that a lot of that have to do with record for me personally. To answer your question, yes, a
Going
lot of that
off
has to
his
do with
record's
record to
fine.
me.
Yeah,
it
I
won't be
agree
that
with
many
that.
blowouts as we had last
Going
year.
off
I'll say
record,
that.
cool. So long as we know that's what
And
we're
that
doing.
matter
Top
too,
of
right? And that matter too,
Yeah,
right?
we're
Like
not
for
gonna have that many blowout
another team,
games.
for example, this team is still going to be one of probably the best. Probably, I'm not saying because I don't think it, but probably for the sake of the room, one of the best teams in their respective conference. But they should easily make this list, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not winning 15 games next year. They're expected to make a drop. Yeah, like that's an easy
man,
call.
we
Like
say that every year, and them niggas still be
I think
doing
that's
it.
fair. And the thing about it is we've gone through this on a consistent basis. You go up, you win 15, you get the fortunate side, go down, you get 12 games, 13 games, whatever. So it depends on how you did it. At the beginning of this, Ev said it was a 2 to 3 game difference as far as how was he defining it. I think the Lions are in line for that. I also have my question marks as far as the Lions are the team, but that's a different conversation. As far as this, if you want to say that 2 or 3 games is enough to make the list, yeah, I think the Lions deserve to be on there.
Yeah, and I'm there. And again, just because you make a small or a big drop, don't mean you're not going to be one of the best teams in your conference. Like, I'll make that clear.
What was the Bills' record last year?
They went 13-4.
Okay, they dropped me.
That's fair.
No, I disagree with that because I think the
But
Bills are
you
pretty
can't
much.
disagree. It's my opinion.
Well, what's your reasoning behind it then?
Because I think they are.
I asked everybody the same question. How many games you think what do you think they're going to do? How many games you think they win?
No, he won
11.
13-4, right? Yeah.
You think they win 11? Do you think they win 11 games in their conference, in the division? I meant in the division.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
Huh?
Ari. They schedule is weak as hell.
In their division or they conference?
Their division. Their division. You think they win 11 games in their division?
I think they win most of their games in their division.
And also on top of them having a weak schedule.
I mean, it's my opinion. We got to argue that.
Bro, she trolling.
Yeah, I know she's trolling, bro.
She trolling.
So yeah, y'all understand it. My Chiefs standpoint. Do anybody else got any other? We have the Packers, the Lions, and the Chiefs so far.
But no, Rod explained the Packers shit. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Out the playoffs that's interesting.
I don't agree with the
Lions
Packers
and
shit.
Chiefs, what they doing? That's
Well, Ev, how do you
dropping.
how do you feel about a team that won 10 games going to 7? Is that a drop off?
Yes,
Like
that's a
losing
drop.
everybody?
It's 2 or 3 games, T.
Yes, T.
Okay, so Seahawks is right there. Them niggas not winning 10 games again. I would bet my fucking life savings.
I agree with Seahawks.
Can we get negative? Y'all
agree with
The thing about it is, the one thing I'll say is this: there's different ways to obviously do this list. You said 2 to 3 games, which I'm not trying to change, but I'm just saying if you wanted to define it as, hey, who was a team that was out of the playoffs that we think is going to be flirting with the playoffs next year, who a team that would be on the midline of the playoffs that all of a sudden is going to be one of the best in the conference, or one of the teams that was one of the best in the conference that we think is going to fall out of the playoffs. Like there would be different ways to define it outside of just who we think is going to lose 2 to 3 games from that standpoint.
But okay, so that's my fault.
No, it's not.
No. I'm about to further explain. When I thought of that this morning, I thought all of that making sense and going into it. Like that's the reason why y'all got the Raiders and Bears up there. Realistically, like
I don't know about the Bears.
That's more so the Bears than the Raiders, if anything.
No, I said I don't know because I wasn't here to hear.
Okay.
Like the reasoning. Yeah.
But that's why y'all got the Raiders and the Bears and even the Patriots up there. Like these are teams that were on the outside that can flirt with wild card or even potentially probably make the playoffs. All three
Well,
of
not
those.
the
Well, not the
Raiders.
Raiders. Not
The
the Raiders.
Raiders
Not the
are
Raiders.
just
Yeah,
Raiders
probably not the
ball was
Raiders.
off of pure.
I was like,
But
not
the
the
Patriots
Raiders.
and the Bears.
No,
The
no, no.
Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots
The
and the
Patriots
Bears.
and Bears.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't for me just solely 2-3 jump or 2-3 fall. Okay, you made a jump, you made a fall. It's everything in one. Like how they're going to. Do you think they're playing better throughout the regular season? Do you think they make the playoffs? Do you think they fall out of the playoffs? Things of that nature. But I should have further explained that. But it just came down to for me the record thing for me. But for everybody else, y'all can include everything in one way. I think of teams expect to make a fall or expect to make a jump. Like if y'all don't think the Commanders are going to go 12-5, they're going to go to the NFC Championship. And you say they're gonna go 10-7 or 9-5 or 9 damn
No,
8.
you're taking.
Sorry.
Damn. 8 and
Explain
9.
your 9-8. Explain
Who
your
said 8 and
reasoning.
9?
Explain
Yo,
your
Ev,
reasoning behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
But
Like for me,
Ev, oh my fault. I didn't mean to.
not
Go
like
ahead,
for
brother.
me, I think teams realistically, I think a team or two will flirt with the AFC West as far as the Chiefs winning it all. I don't think the Chiefs can go 15-2 again, and then I don't think me personally, and I don't think the Chiefs make the Super Bowl again. So for me, they will make a small or a big drop this season coming up. So that's all.
Are we doing
a Ravens Chiefs AFC winner bet, brother?
If we see each other, yes, we can bet. And I told you that last year.
Why is it an
I'm saying,
about?
I'm asking a question.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing that. No.
Okay. All right.
You sound
Ev,
scary.
I do think the Seahawks being
You're
like
a little
a
scared.
fringe playoff team where it came down to like the last weeks of football. I don't think them niggas are going to be in that position again. And I do think losing quarterbacks, taking a step back, Jalen Milroe probably ends up starting. Them niggas not winning 7 games.
You
Like
think
that
Milroe gonna
top.
start?
No, Sam Darnold starting. Sam Darnold
I
starting.
think Milroe
But that
eventually
shit going
starts.
he gonna end up starting in that team, bro. That's all I'm
What
telling
I
y'all.
think he
assume
eventually
is getting
starts.
at is he thinks that
I don't
Sam
think he
Darnold
starts
will
this
be
season.
starting the majority of the season. Then they will realize they're out of the playoff hunt, and Jalen Milroe will get.
Yep.
can we do a group
I don't even
activity?
think that. He starts.
If
Yo,
can we do a group activity for my Packers point? Can we go to their schedule?
Bro, this is real divisional hate right here, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, I knew
no,
this
you
was
already explained it.
coming.
You said they play the AFC North and NFC East, right?
I know.
I think he
mean,
wants to count
people-
games.
Let's just count the games.
No, this is definitely real
Where
division.
we go? I'm
hate,
saying
man.
I'm providing context. Let's look at it.
Yeah, they might beat y'all
And I
the
want
first
the
week of the
stage to tell
season.
me the wins. I want the stage to go through every game and tell me the wins and the losses.
I think wait with y'all. So
Cleveland, I see 1 win so far.
I would say 1-1. I think they split. Didn't y'all sweep them? Did y'all sweep them last year?
We swept every nigga in that bitch.
Eh.
4,
That's
5,
crazy. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. That's not gonna happen again for sure.
7.
I don't know if they sweep everybody, but
I don't think they sweep the
I don't know what their record is looking at this schedule. Hold up.
it's tough.
Hold up.
I got
Hold
them
up.
around 9. I got them around 9-10 wins based
So
on.
do you
the
think
schedule.
that 9
But
wins
I
is
haven't
enough to
picked-
get
I
in
haven't
with
picked the
Commanders
actual
looming in that wild card spot?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
You're gonna have Commanders looming in that wild card spot. You're gonna have potentially, if we're saying the Panthers gonna make this jump or Atlanta's gonna make this jump, because Buccaneers are getting in.
The Bucks make the
are winning the
playoffs.
division.
Bucks are getting in. Like I'm not entertaining that.
Yeah,
division.
the
I
Bucks
think
are
that
making
they'll
the
be in the
playoffs.
fight for the division.
Bucks are
for
getting
the wild card
I ain't
spot.
gonna lie. I hate these niggas, but the Niners gonna be right there too.
Yeah,
So
they
we
will.
both got
Yeah.
about
That's
the
a
schedule.
wild card spot. They
Because
still
Niners have, like, a
Theoretically,
third
right? Yeah,
place
based
schedule?
off of math. Like I think the NFC West gets 2 teams. I think the NFC East gets at least 2 teams. They could get 3. I think they get at least 2
Mhm.
teams. So that's 2 wild card spots already gone.
So that's
And then
5 and 6 now.
I think I'll say this: if the Bucks are the division winner, I think their last wild card spot.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy to say that the Packers could miss out on the playoffs. I do think that they'll be in a dogfight for a wild card spot for sure.
Wait, or you said the AFC? I mean, the
Hey,
NFC
D-Mac,
East is
niggas gonna
get
start
teams
doing math on
potentially.
how the teams they got to
I
lose
I
to make the
hold on
playoffs
a
and shit.
second,
Ravens
Fredo.
week 17.
Hey, wait, look, see, I
What you
always
had
factor
said?
that in whenever I picked all my
No,
schedules.
I
to make
said
sure the playoff
you
teams
said
are
that
right.
NFC East potentially gets 3 teams in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You
It's
got
like
I
they
don't
Ravens
having the
well,
week
same
the Packers
12
gotta take
teams
17.
over
making the
Cowboys.
playoffs from year after year, and
I
that's just
think
not
it's.
right.
I think
Cowboys.
it. I'll say this. I think it's one of these divisions, either the NFC North and the NFC East. I think one of them gets 3 teams.
The East, 3 teams.
Think about it.
fully
Think
healthy
about
Dak,
it. Think
the
about
niggas
it.
would have
What
been
we
in
just
the
talked
wild
about.
card
What we just
spot.
talked about with Dallas, right? Dallas goes back to being the Dallas that we're used to. Let's say 11, 12 games, right? Say the Commanders. Say the Commanders aren't as good. Or let's say
Oh,
they
you're
both have the
tripping.
same
I
record.
was thinking
Fuck
of
it.
the wrong. All right, I was thinking of the
Yeah.
wrong division. No, I'm following you now.
Yeah,
Commanders,
yeah. I
Cowboys,
think they
Eagles. That's very
I think they
possible.
theoretically could, personally. And I also wouldn't be surprised if the NFC I wouldn't be surprised if there's only one NFC South and one NFC West team in there. I think let me say this. I think it'll be competitive between the NFC South and not the NFC South, fuck. NFC West, NFC North, and NFC East to get multiple teams from their division in the
I think the
playoffs.
Niners get that wild card spot. I hate them niggas, and I hate that I'm keeping. I think we get
It's
2
just
teams in the
their
playoffs.
schedule's too easy.
I
T.
say they
They
got
Now
a
always
that
third
play
place
all
tough.
three
schedule.
could get two, right? All three of them could get two, and it could just be a competitive NFC where like you have teams with like 10 wins because the tiebreakers don't get in and shit like that. It could just be a competitive NFC outside of the NFC South. That's very well possible.
Yeah.
I think the Giants are going to get a couple wins they're not supposed to get too. Or some of these NFC teams. That defense real.
Because
That's
It
like
all I'm gonna
think
is.
say.
about
That
it,
It
defense is
is.
real.
Ev, you
think
on mute? You talking?
yeah.
No, I'm not talking. I'm waiting for y'all.
Okay.
I'm talking.
Continue, Ari,
I
though.
think
My
it's
fault.
I was gonna say if we think, let's say we think the Commanders, Cowboys, and Eagles are going to be competitive, and
Hmm.
theoretically you would say you could expect at least the Lions and the Vikings, maybe one of the other, or maybe both the Packers and the Bears are
Hmm.
relatively competitive, right? And then you have, I for sure think the Rams and the Niners are going to be competitive. The y'all NFC West teams, like y'all like to the other two like to start
To
off really
beat
really
each
good and
other
then
up and
end
shit.
bad.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, if we
Um,
expect the Niners to
it's
be
the
competitive,
inverse.
why aren't they making the jump then? Why are we not expecting them to make the jump?
but I don't.
Whoever this is,
Yeah.
we kind of went over the jump area section, so we now just focusing on the negative parts.
Okay,
and
okay,
make a
okay.
downfall.
Yeah. Who
What
They
is
was
can
his
make a
that?
question
jump.
though? What was his question though? What was his question?
Why weren't the Niners in
The
the taking a
Niners.
step forward?
Oh.
The Niners. I thought somebody said the Niners up here.
I was thinking it,
I
but
wouldn't. I was
I
thinking
don't
them.
know if
I'm never going
people.
to say them for no
I
list
don't
though.
know if people
yeah,
thought about them because the reason they were bad last year was because they were just injured.
everyone
So it was
Yeah.
kind
died.
of like, can
Yeah.
you be healthy?
No, but the Cowboys were too
But
though. So how the Cowboys up there
yeah,
but not the Niners?
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
mean,
I don't.
I thought
I
the
don't
Niners
put the
said that.
Cowboys
I
on
thought
being
about the
bad because of
Cowboys more
injuries. I
than the
thought they were
Niners.
just bad.
They got third place schedule this
I,
year.
I
I thought
mean,
they
I
too
mean,
The
just.
Ari,
Niners are like top place.
Ari, but I will say, like, let's say you run the season kind of similar with like, CMC gets hurt because I genuinely don't think that nigga's gonna play like long term football no more.
He's not gonna play. He's gonna always be a little iffy.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna say, like, I do think that them having the schedule, which is our whole division has a schedule of the South and NFC South, they both Souths.
Hmm.
They could still win those games last year that they lost when it was just Brock Purdy out there and Jawan. They can win more of those games with the type of schedule they have this year.
Miles made a point that they were bad before they were injured last year. I think he's
They
talking about
also
the
had we
Niners.
also played a yeah, but we also played a harder schedule
I
last
will
year
also
in
say the
respective to
Cowboys were also bad. I think they're very similar teams, which is
And
remember I didn't
and
necessarily have
and
the Cowboys as
honestly,
a jump. I thought that it was a return, and I think it's the same for the Niners. That's just
and
I
even
think
Miles can't really say that because
them.
they was injured all season. Like McCaffrey and Ayuk both missed the start of the season and then got
yeah.
hurt
Yeah,
later in the season, so they was never really healthy.
yeah.
And then the thing is, like Miles, and I feel you because I'm with you with the Niner hate, brother. But it's like respective. You two niggas like the Seahawks and the Cardinals, y'all are going to be at the bottom.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I like the Cardinals defense. I just think Kyler just got to be more consistent. That's
Have
all
you
it is.
seen Kyler after bye weeks?
It's so
Any
I know
times you think
I'm a
they
Kyler
any
fan.
teams y'all think
That
gonna
nigga
drop?
stinks after buys, but damn.
Hey, I know Swipa's not gonna like to hear this, but I'm telling you, the Denver Broncos, this might just be because I'm a Chiefs fan, but the Broncos are not as guaranteed to get the
Who is
same
this
season. You
person?
know what I mean? They could drop off. No,
The
it's the Chiefs fan
Broncos.
who rates Lamar, the dude with the GOAT profile picture. That's who's talking right now. I'm saying
Oh, okay.
I think the Broncos might drop off. I'm telling you. I'm not seeing it with them. I think Bo Nix is gonna have a second season regression. I think they're overhyped. I think their defense signings is getting a little overhyped, and they don't have wide receivers still. So I
Can I
think the
raise you a
Broncos.
counter to that, brother? Oh,
Yeah.
good. Continue your point. Continue your point.
No,
I'll
no, no.
hold
I
it.
think that
Continue your
was all
point.
I really had to say about the Broncos. And then my other really this one's like a much more hot take. I see no chance the Eagles repeat next season. There is no chance.
No
So
chance.
there
No
Oh
is
chance.
no
shit.
chance. I'm
No
telling this shit
chance.
right now. It takes
Are
a
you just
certain
talking
kind of
about like
team.
the
It takes a
the
certain kind of
thing?
team to have heritage to repeat. Only the Chiefs can do that shit right now.
Oh,
Eagles are
Oh
not about that
wow.
life. I'm
oh,
telling
you
you right
mean
now.
like repeat as champions?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is no
Super
chance.
Bowl. I don't think
Oh,
it's
I
talking
thought
about
you were talking about
division.
their division. I was about to say.
No.
I mean, to be fair, Ari, nobody has repeated since like 05 or some shit like that in
But
that
that's what I thought
division.
he was
The
talking about.
teams
That's
this
why I was like,
repeat
oh, are
are
you
with the
talking
The Chiefs.
The
about?
Chiefs did, yeah, but we're different.
No,
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
talking
No,
about
the
repeating
NFC
No,
in
in
the
the
NFC
NFC
East.
East.
Yeah,
Oh,
The division winner. They've not had back-to-back winners since like 2006.
yeah, that
But
is some weird shit.
to the Bo Nix point, I see how people think he's just gonna have a sophomore slump, but I do think them niggas actually having like a serviceable running back that's not Javonte Williams, who is like 3.5 yards
It's
per carry with
yeah,
no like yardage after contact. I think that shit will matter.
yeah.
Like I think actually having a young
Hey
quarterback having a fucking running back matters.
listening to Mina Com's pod. Like they did a stat where like the offensive line, like how much of that shit like benefits the running back. Like the Broncos O line, like they made good holes. That nigga Javonte could not do shit though. Like there was like if
Yeah,
any other
he's been
back was
ass
in
since
that
injury, bro.
backfield, them
Since he
niggas
came
would have
back
a
from
top
Ever
injury.
10
since
running
he
Yeah.
got
defense.
back, yeah.
I mean, they still don't got wide receivers like that. So that's all I'm saying. And their schedule is difficult too. The AFC West has gotten better as well.
I do
So
wish
like,
they got another receiver. I think Pat Bryant's okay. I think you're expecting too much of an
are we
open foot
expecting
with him
Pat
now.
Bryant to be like freaking what's his name,
No,
Brad McConkey and stuff?
no, but they had a lot of drops. So I expect Pat to not drop easy catches.
Pat's nice. But if we're gonna put all of our Broncos wide receiver hopes on Pat Bryant, that just
No,
tells you the
but
state
it's
of the
not
wide
just
receiver
Pat.
room.
It's not just Pat. It's another year inside Sean Payton's system. It's year 2 of Troy Franklin because like them niggas started to actually hit towards the end of the year. It's hoping Evan Ingram is healthy because that nigga's
Ingram is
when
a
he's
big one.
healthy,
I'll give
he's
you that.
solid. Like all of that with a run game should be enough for the offense
But
to
you're
be
gassing
solid.
Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, and now you're saying Ingram's going to be their best player on offense. That tells me an
I
offense.
said a culmination of them. I don't think
It's the running back.
individually they're all like
I
amazing.
still think how many games did them niggas win last year? Just for context, I do be forgetting.
10,
Like,
I think
They won
they
10
won.
To
games.
10, they won 10 games.
bro, that defense was insane, and
It's
they
still
did
going to
not
be
have a
insane.
running.
That's
But
not
no,
gonna,
but listen to my point, brother. Like having a defense like that and not having a running back, you cannot even play positional football.
And the defense got better
Their
though.
best
But can
runner
someone
was
pull up
Bo
the
The
Nix,
Broncos
bro.
defense
schedule? It's
is
actually
Like
is
Bo
10
Nix
times
was their
better.
run game at
The
that point.
Broncos schedule.
yeah.
Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then to that, they also didn't have another like a cornerback too opposite of Pat, and I think Jade Barron will be really good in that position.
I
I
forgot
agree.
they got Jade.
Yeah,
They had a lot of guys.
Yep,
that's
and
going
they
to
got
be really
Hampton,
valuable.
right? No,
Yeah,
they don't have Hampton.
No,
Yeah,
Hampton is
Hampton's
Chargers.
no, that's Chargers.
Chargers.
RJ Harvey.
That's
They
the
got a
Chargers.
running back, didn't
Harvey. They
they?
got
RJ
RJ
Harvey is their
Harvey.
best
They
player.
drafted RJ Harvey,
Harvey.
who is,
And also,
in my
but
opinion,
and like
Still
Audrey
rejected.
bust.
Estime is a good back. They just didn't run him enough. I like Audrey Estime. I think as
Yeah,
a
which
power
is
back,
smart.
he'd
They
be
got a
good.
guy that they can get. I mean, he's still good. It's not like
Didn't
I
didn't they
don't like
have free
Harvey's a good
agent
running back in this
last year?
class.
They had defensive free agents. They got
A defensive free agent signing
Yeah,
didn't
they
they?
Greenlaw
got
and
Greenlaw. That's he's nice.
Hufanga.
Greenlaw.
Yeah,
Okay.
Talanoa and Greenlaw was their big
Talano.
additions.
Oh yeah,
And
their
also,
defense is gonna
like
be
they
good, man.
didn't lose DJ Jones. Like that's a big like because
But
he
their
wasn't
defense
he
was
wasn't
good
even
last year.
projected to
That was
stay
not the
there.
problem. It was the offense. It was the
Yeah,
offense.
but with a defense as good as that one, and you
All
just
I'm
But
saying
made
is
Yeah,
they
if
them
better.
you
need to
niggas
if
start
you
off
defense
if
strong
you
strong.
as
They
say
shit.
don't
if
go
you
to
say if you say the
consistently.
offense was a
Oh,
problem and they
they
had one
got
of the
Ingram.
worst rushing attacks in the league, how do you feel about like them just being better? Because at least you can play possession football where
Mm-hmm.
we
No.
try to.
I get you, T. But
You
I'm
don't
looking
think
at the
that
schedule right
makes
now.
that
They need
offense better?
Yeah, I get you, T. But I'm looking at the schedule right now. They need to start off strong. Otherwise, they will be in deep trouble.
I
They
mean,
have
I
to go
see they can start off.
three
I
on
mean,
They
they
can
can
just
easily
start off
start off
2-0.
3-0. Not even kidding.
I was about to say, yeah, they could.
They can go
And I'm be
They
for real,
need
they
to,
could.
but they
I'm
need
gonna
to.
be
They
for
don't.
real.
They're gonna
I'm
drop
be
off.
for
They
real.
need
They
to.
could start off because we know how the Bengals are
Early
before
season
Nah,
October.
Bengals.
Bengals.
That'll be the game they
Game
figure it out.
four?
They're
I think
just
game four
first
is
two games.
relatively late compared to game one. I don't know.
No, the Bengals' first month of the season they suck. It happens every year.
Nah,
So
they'll
they're
figure it
gonna
out.
win one of them. They're gonna win one of those tough. I think it's gonna be Denver. I think Denver's gonna beat Denver.
I was about to say I also could see that being. But here's the thing: it wouldn't be bad for them to be 3-2. Most likely to being 3-4 after week 5 because they're most likely going to lose to Philly.
But how many like
But
clear
then
wins do
after
you see in
that,
that schedule?
Clear
but then
wins. I
after
see 2 to
that,
start, 3 with the Giants, 4 with the Raiders.
I see
They're
4.
gonna
I
they're gonna
see.
I
split.
don't think the Raiders
You
is a clear
skipping over
win.
the Jets?
I ain't see the
Jets
Jets.
is
Yeah. That's
Jets,
5 right there
Yeah.
because they'll split
but
with
I
the
don't think
Jets
the Raiders
with the
will win.
Raiders.
They
That's
could beat they will beat the shit out of Jacksonville as
I
well.
think they split with KC. I don't think KC sweeps them.
Yeah, I
nah.
think they can
KC.
split with
When
KC.
I remember that shit.
I
That
think
shit
they
pissed
beat
me
the
off.
Jags.
That's
I think
fluky
they beat
Green
them
basketball.
Bay
beat
will
them
be
the
an
Packers game.
interesting
Yeah.
game. Green Bay
Yeah,
will
I
be
think
an
their
interesting
defense can beat the
game.
Packers.
I don't think they beat the Commanders. I mean, they could. That
Look at
defense.
that last part of that season though. After the bye week, Commanders at Raiders, home to Green Bay, home to Jacksonville, at the Chiefs,
I
and then
mean,
home to
saying
Los
like
Angeles.
home to
It's really
Jacksonville
not
some
that bad.
crazy game. Like, I mean,
Nah,
I
that's
mean,
not
hey,
easy, man. That's not
who
easy.
are the Raiders?
I don't really
And
think
the
it's that bad. I'm gonna be honest.
also the Charger shit is probably a split as
it's a
well. So I
split.
don't know
They
why
Yeah,
you said
could
it
have split with
like
the
yeah.
Chargers.
yeah,
No,
but
this ain't that bad of a schedule, to be honest.
I see
they can
11
win
wins
10
right there. I
games
ain't gonna lie,
again.
but
And
I
it's
I
wouldn't
don't
say
see
that, Z
11
Farm. I
wins.
say like
Absolutely
11.
not. I definitely don't see 11 wins,
I,
but
I,
That
I,
I
I
can
defense is
maybe
going
see
understand.
to keep
10.
I
them
I
say
can
in.
maybe
That
see 10.
is going
That's
to
why the,
keep
the
them in
debates with Drama
games
is
that they shouldn't be in. Well, let me not say that they shouldn't be in. That defense is going to make playing certain teams a lot more difficult than it would be if you did not have that kind of defense. Like,
Mhm.
Sean Payton gets a running back for his quarterback as
I
well.
definitely think they could make shit interesting with Washington with that defense, especially if it's
I
the
think,
same kind of offense that we saw with Washington last year.
yeah.
I think
listen.
I think it could be interesting. Do I think they win? I don't know.
I think having another cornerback just makes that defense even scarier because they didn't
Even
have a
scary.
cornerback too, and they have better safety play as long as Talanoa is healthy. I know that's a long shot and everything, but if the nigga's healthy, like that's just better safety, better cornerback play on a defense that was
Y'all keep
already
saying they
top in the
don't have the
league.
easy schedule like they did last year. Let me look at their schedule last year.
Oh, Ev, you
All
could
right, so
also add
Last year's
They
schedule
had
was
a
easy.
harder schedule last year. They played the AFC
No, they
North.
didn't. Let's pull that up. Actually, I'm
they
pretty
played
sure.
the North
I'm
last year,
looking
right?
at it.
It was the AFC North, right?
They
Yeah,
played the
they played the
AFC. I
North
mean,
last
they
year.
played the NFC South. Okay, that's like damn near like playing the AFC South, which is what they play this year.
We don't gotta get stuck on the Broncos.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, brother, you can add a
we'll move past that real quick. I want to remind everybody after this, we are ranking top 10 wide receivers going into the next season, and then everybody's gonna have their own individual list, and then we're going to try to do one as a collective for me to be able to post on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Try to do one as a collective. T, who do you want to add?
Rams. We win the 13 games, bro. Look at the schedule.
Bro, that's not what.
Anybody want to add any other more teams for drop?
For
T want to drop,
drops.
gang.
Oh,
I mean,
that was
like I said,
dropped.
there's 0% chance the Eagles are winning the Super Bowl, so that's why I think they're dropping. But listen, it
A
is
0% chance is crazy.
0%
Yeah, I'm not gonna
chance
say.
is
I'm not
wild.
gonna. That's your beliefs, gang. I'm not gonna say 0%, bro.
Do you think any other teams drop?
Let me see.
Wow.
We have the
I think
Packers,
I got
Lions,
one.
Chiefs, Vikings.
I got the Steelers. The Steelers
Yeah,
dropped
Bro,
it.
you
They won 10 games
Ari,
last year.
They won 10.
so
They
they're gonna
won
go to
10
9
games
and 8,
last year.
Ari?
Yeah,
No.
They're
Steelers
gonna go
don't even
9
know
to
their
8.
QB yet.
No,
That's
I think they have. I think.
Tomlin finally gonna get a losing season?
First losing season?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at their schedule, you look at and I said this. There was a space shot to Shaggy in the space he hosted a couple days ago. I said they were not going to make the playoffs this year. It doesn't matter who they sign. Doesn't matter
No,
who they
they're not
get.
making the playoffs.
If they don't get a wide receiver too that will benefit them, they're going to be screwed this year.
It's
They need a
sad
fucking
because
quarterback.
Quarterback. Like
it's sad because they're looking at freaking.
The quarterback does not matter.
What you
If they bring
saying?
in Aaron Rodgers,
They about to fire my nigga Tomlin, man.
I said
What
it's
you
sad
saying?
because they looking at freaking Gabe Davis. So I mean,
yeah,
I know. I saw that.
They play the NFC North. They play the AFC North 2 times a year. I don't see them winning more than 9 games. I think they're 8,
It's
9.
gonna be kind of hard.
So that's a drop.
And then
2
who
wins
do
out of
y'all
playoffs.
play? Who do y'all play in
I like
NFC?
I like saying the Steelers, but I've said this shit for like 3 years and been wrong because
Yeah,
niggas
but
always
this
end
is
up winning
different.
9
Well, let me
games,
say
bro.
this. Let me
This is
say
really
this.
different.
T.
If you pay attention to the team,
I
it's
don't
really
believe
different.
that they make the playoffs. I don't believe that they make
That
the
rinse and
playoffs.
repeat shit, they're not
And
rinsing.
I think their best record will be 8-8. I think they will be right at 500 at best.
8, 9.
You 8-9 because 17 games already.
Yeah.
try again.
I'm still
Sosa.
sticking into that.
Be
Yeah.
Young, you ain't say nothing in a minute. Be Young, request back up whenever you. Let me know when you try to come back up. Be Young. Sosa, try again.
Yeah, they'll beat the teams they should, but the teams that they can't beat, we'll sweep them this year. I guarantee that we'll sweep them this year. The Bengals should sweep them too.
Did y'all sweep them last year, G Farm, from memory?
They lost.
No, we lost.
Yeah, they
The
lost
first
that
game.
first
We beat them last 2
matchup.
times.
How about the year prior to that?
No.
No.
I don't think they swept them. When's the last
So
time
you niggas ain't
Where the fuck is the
never
Vikings and
swept them, so I'm supposed to believe y'all are? Okay.
And
Yeah, it's
this
like,
is
when the
a
last
different.
time
Like
you
I said,
niggas
this is
swept
a
the
completely
Steelers?
different season. The Steelers are not good this year. I don't care what. This is not a team that's like, oh well, they have someone on defense. They lost Cam Hayward.
Hey,
TJ Watt's
Hendricks,
really their
that's the
only
day
guy
they
on
said, "Oh
defensive line.
Huh? What you mean they lost Cam Hayward?
He's not. He retired, right?
No, nigga, he's still
no,
Oh, he
playing.
retired in my mind. Cool. Okay, they're still winning 8 games.
I'm
oh,
So
like, they
Bro,
still got
what?
Cam. They
that's
still got.
crazy."
They got Derek Harmon. Their defense is gonna be fine.
they
It's
got
just
Derek Carmen. Who's Derek Carmen?
a
The rookie.
dog, nigga.
The rookie,
What?
What's his
right?
NFL highlights? Exactly. We don't know who he is. Okay, we can say it for a lot of guys right now. I'm not
I say
clueless.
Steelers.
They ain't got no dog.
That's my pick.
Yeah, no, that's hate right there. That's
When they lose 8 games,
Anybody got
they'll
another
probably,
team they want to add?
to drop.
In the chat,
Sounds like
Hendricks said the
Sosa has an
Did
opinion
Bills.
about the
somebody say
No,
Eagles.
Buffalo
Sosa.
technically
Sosa. How
put
do
the
you
record?
feel like the Eagles take a drop, Sosa, next year? And Hendricks in the chat, I think they should be good, but the offense is chuck full of question marks. Losing Davis and Diggs could be a lot
Y'all
bigger
hear
than
me?
people are considering.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go talk.
A different team has won that division for 20 years straight. Why would that change this year? Why would that change?
What do you think their record would be this
I mean,
season?
also listen, bro. Like people are acting like what they lost in free agency was nothing. Like I like Blankenship and all that, but like CJ Gardner-Johnson is a playmaker everywhere he's been, and they won a fucking Super Bowl, right? They let him go. They let go of a bunch of defensive talent, and I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but I know Zach Baum had an amazing season last year and got paid, and kudos to him. Is that a replicable thing? Because it could just be one outlier season that got him paid, and then they find ways to attack him a little bit better based on the personnel that they see on the field.
Didn't they draft a backer as well, though?
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Jahad Campbell. I think, but again, there's no guarantee that he's going to immediately correlate to being a high end off ball linebacker. Now, obviously, that could all be negated by Jalen Carter taking another step and such. But I'm just like I said, I think that across that division, I think the talent has been upped. I think people are accustomed to kind of doubting the Cowboys. The Cowboys still won a bunch of games with their backup quarterback, right? They were right there in the mix as far as like competing in games with a backup. So, I think obviously Washington's made wholesale changes and added a lot, right? And then offensively, with you add Debo and all that, I think that, and also even the Giants, bro, the Giants from a talent standpoint are good. There's just question marks around the quarterback position.
I think.
I mean, huge question mark, but yeah.
Defense though.
Is that O line good in New York? New York?
It's not.
It's not. It's ass.
That O-line is always hurt. That's been the biggest problem because they've been investing in guys that have continuously gotten hurt.
It's not even being. It's also like that tackle that moved to guard. I'm like, that nigga just stinks.
Also, there's two things I heard you guys talking about Jacksonville earlier, right? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if they're better. I mean, the last time Trevor Lawrence switched coaches and got a different offensive philosophy in front of him, they immediately won the division. So, like the expectancy of year to year is in variance in football is crazy.
Still hoping on that white guy.
Their defense also isn't that
always
nothing crazy though.
Hey, that was crazy.
That was crazy. So how do you feel about the Colts? Because I had threw them up there as a team that could make a jump. And not a significant jump, like not fucking 13, 12 wins, but I think they can take a jump.
I think that by week 5, they will be told to say Arch on 3, pause, in the huddle.
Damn.
I think they're in the Arch Manning Olympics, buddy.
But I thought Arch wasn't even gonna come.
You don't think if they're in the Arch Manning Olympics, Shane Steichen's job is cooked? Like you don't think these niggas about to fight for their job?
Well, listen, they let
Arch isn't coming out this year.
Yeah, like,
hold on, listen. This is why you can't defend Steichen. This is why nobody can defend Steichen. Okay, they let him choose Anthony Richardson. He handpicked that nigga, brother. If you handpick your quarterback, you get a couple years of grace. They don't do nothing this year. He's gone. What the fuck?
I agree.
So what if DJ ended up being a starter by like week 5 and they win like 10 games?
Listen, both them coaches that left the Eagles that are head coaches right now are on the hot seat. Steichen and Gannon are both on the hot seat, in my opinion.
Gannon ain't on no hot seat.
What? Yes,
why would Gannon be on the hot seat? They were a team with that was bereft of talent. They just now got talent.
Okay,
listen. Gannon job safe.
They're not going to listen. They give you this is the 3rd year for both of them, right?
But they also had one of the worst talent rosters in football for like
They both did.
his first season.
His
first season, they were one of the worst talent rosters in football.
Right.
The second season, like yes, Collar's play fell off, but that defense played solid without no defensive talent. This is the first year they actually had talent.
This is Gannon's third year.
No, but I'm saying this is the
I'm
first year
reading
he
the
had
chat.
talent on defense to
I'm
actually
reading
run
the
his
chat.
shit.
Aren't you a fan of the team?
No, I'm
talking about. I see Miles in the chat.
Oh, you're talking about Miles. Okay.
Yeah, I see him yapping.
But I don't think Gannon goes anywhere. I think Kyler goes before Gannon.
I don't count when Kyler was hurt.
I don't think Kyler going anywhere.
But anyway, I want to go back to
who the fuck would take his contract.
We're gonna circle back, bro.
Evie, I want to mention. No, sorry, Eve, I didn't want to cut you off, but I want to mention why again the Eagles one makes sense to me because I don't agree.
You explained that numerous times, gang. I ain't gonna lie. What you want to say about the Eagles now? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say them losing Kellen Moore actually could hurt them. People don't understand that switching OCs isn't always that easy of a transition. And also, the last time the Eagles drafted some really good ballers in the first round, Jalen Carter, people got hyped about them too, and they fell off because of bad coaching. So we could see the same shit. People gas the Eagles up all the time to win the Super Bowl every year, and sometimes they don't do it. They did it last year. They proved everybody wrong with that.
Hold on, you said they fell off because of coaching?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Brian Johnson and them, man. What do you mean?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
What head coach has won the most games in their first 5 years as a head coach in the modern era of football?
Sirianni, fair enough. Okay. But I'm not talking about your OC and your DC. You had to replace your OC and your DC. It wasn't until
how many games
What are you talking about?
How many games do you think the Eagles win this year?
11.
The Eagles are a top what roster to you, gang?
Top 5.
It's tough. It's tough to call that on the defensive side, bro. I'm not gonna lie. We don't know right now. Like if they have the talent in place, but it's like I don't know if we can call it. I don't know if we can call it the now the offensive.
Kobe Dean's gonna be gone for a while.
They're fucking on the offensive side of the ball, they're fucking loaded.
Barry, to respond to you, Barry, I know you came in on the back end. This was just teams expected to make a jump. It can be a small or a big jump, and also teams to make a drop. It can be a small or a big drop. Myself, and I think many others do not expect the Chiefs and or Lions to replicate 15-2, which I think they both went. So therefore, it will probably be a small drop. Does not mean either one of those teams will not be the best team or one of the best teams as far as top 2, top 3, whatever, in their respective conference. If you ask, so that's all it was, Barry. Pretty much a summary.
Ev, I have a question because people keep doing that, right? With that, is that not like showing that like you were a step ahead, like you're a 1 seed for majority of the year versus being just in the mix with everybody, like the other contenders? Isn't that a difference of like you falling back, or am I crazy to think that?
Still a small drop. I hear you, but it's still a small drop. It's going right into that tier though.
Right back into the tier because you separated yourself where you was down. Well, I guess the Chiefs shit's a little different, but the Lions at a point where dominating football.
To respond to BJ, and the Chiefs made the Super Bowl, how did it drop? Guys, this is regular season.
Okay,
based.
So this is my question.
They can go 11-6, 12-5, and still go to the Super Bowl. Like that's not nothing to do with the regular season,
bro. So like they just for reference, right? Just for reference, last year they lost wide receiver 1, running back 1, had multitude of injuries, and what's his name looked like he took a step back athletically, and they won 15 games, right? You could say they got better everywhere that they needed to get better at on the football team surrounding Mahomes, right? I don't know about like what are we talking, like 13 wins instead of 15?
That's what he's saying, and that's still a drop off. So I get what Evie is saying with that, which is why my point about the Eagles is I think they'll drop off too. I don't think they're winning 14 games either. I think people are
not at all.
I think he calling that man EV.
My fault.
You fine. You can call me that, bro.
Evie.
Oh, you just let anything slide these days. Okay, I see what's going on.
Yeah, I know
somebody calling
some people literally call me. Some people literally call me EV, bro.
Okay, EVE.
That's an actual thing. Nobody calls me EVE.
But, yeah, you just don't. Yeah, Jesus Lord, I wasn't trying to call you.
But do anybody agree with the Eagles ad?
I don't like the Chiefs ad, just me personally, but I'll let y'all. I feel like I was.
I don't like the Colts ad. If you want to go tit for tat,
You
Oh
don't
shit.
explain it for me, brother. What don't you like about it? You don't think they have a good roster?
No, I think their quarterback play will be super mid, and I think that quarterback determines everything for our teams and how many games they win. I do not see the
Okay,
coach
I agree.
no funny. How about going from like one of the worst quarterbacks to being mid? That could still get you to wins. Like,
But Dave Jones
2 more
sucks.
wins.
Like, what do you mean he sucks? He's
but
not
they're-
nothing.
He's a lot better than Anthony Richardson, bro.
But
Stop
like,
that, bro.
we're comparing
I don't agree
ass
with
to
that. I don't
ass.
agree with that.
Do not
Yeah,
pass
I ain't gonna
Dave
lie.
judgment.
We
Jones
throwing the
sucks.
word a
Do
lot
not
better
pass
around
judgment.
way too
Like
loosely
that's
right now.
not that big of a jump.
But
Do not
you're
pass
going
judgment
from
on him yet, bro. Do
bottom.
not
I mean,
pass a judgment.
regardless, it's bottom 10 quarterback play. I don't care what they're not going to
Yeah,
jump.
like it's
Yeah, they're
not.
going to suck.
They're
But
going
you
to be
said them. I
bottom 10
threw them up
quarterback
there,
play.
but they're not going to have no good quarterback play. So I don't think they're winning 10 games.
Yeah,
I think they win 10 games with mid quarterback play.
Are they going to win
Listen,
7?
before, but I saw somebody in the chat say something about the Vikings. Listen, before the draft, I said that JJ McCarthy was basically the D1A version of Trey Lance. I'm telling you right now, everybody buying his stock. We seen the same story play out. A quarterback you give up on the reliable option for the young quarterback, and he ends up not being ready for the games. I'm telling you, bro, JJ is going to go out there and look like dog shit. I promise you.
You just call him
That's certainly a
D1A.
bold prediction.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you're saying that he's playing the D1.
I'm talking about
No,
like
that's what I'm saying.
listen,
That shit
right?
crazy.
Because Trey Lance played at FCS or at an FCS school. So
Yes.
so like if you look at their career paths, like Trey played 7 games. He went like 7-0 and got drafted at the age of 19, 20, right?
Yeah,
JJ,
super young. Super young.
Same thing for JJ. Only thing is that JJ got hurt after his the beginning of his rookie year where there was no expectation for him to even start. So that might be the only thing that saves him. Remember, Trey Lance got hurt his second year, not his first year. So
yep.
So like that's all I'm saying. Like he didn't get a lot of playing time in college. He was never asked to win games in college. And he was very reliant on a scheme. And well, now if you look at the team he won a championship with, they have 16 NFL players out of the 22 that were starting, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just I just don't know if it's like plug and play, because it always sounds good when you say, oh, the system's plug and play, and then you realize just because the system and the players are there, it does not mean that the quarterback can fulfill the role to an elite level. People just like to believe that. So that's my only thing in regards to them. Their Vikings are fucking loaded though. They are loaded on both sides of the ball.
I think it's a fair question to have. I just do think that JJ is in a position in which he probably should have success, and I'm not necessarily in a position to bet against it. But I can't say any of the logic is not sound, because it's their biggest question mark coming into this, in addition to some other things, as far as the rest of their roster is concerned.
I mean, you look at Minnesota, bro. The one thing I give them credit for is offensive line depth. They knew they had a problem there, and they went and got about 8 niggas that could play. Who they know, like, hey, if somebody goes down, the backup is decent enough to fulfill the role. That's the one thing
they can move Jackson if Darrisaw's not ready week 1. They can have Jackson at left tackle and move him inside when Darrisaw gets back. They got Justin as well. Ryan Kelly, be able to solve a little bit of their center problem. They had a significant interior offensive line problem in addition to what they lost at left tackle when Darrisaw went down and had to replace him with Cam Robinson. They definitely addressed that heavily. So that's something that they certainly took care of. Their offense, the question mark starts and ends with JJ McCarthy, as far as that's concerned for me. And then you talk about maybe some secondary issues as far as the cornerback position for their defense.
But we know the quarterback play for them is going to be predicated on how they blitz. Like there's going to be downs. There's going to be certain games where some guys just get burnt because he forces his corners to play on an island so often. So that's part of it.
They had lost Gilmore, who was a guy that they relied upon heavily to do a lot of that stuff too. So how are you going to replace that? Obviously, they didn't really draft a guy. I don't think Jeff Okudah is going to help them. So we'll see.
Is Gilmore still in the league? Is he playing somewhere?
Yeah, he's a free agent. He's a free agent right now.
Yeah, he hasn't signed anywhere.
Okay. Boss RJ Zero Salvo.
I want us to bring Gilmore back.
Zero Salvo said the Packers, and he just
nice
wow. So you can look at his reasoning right there. You think they got any other teams to add to teams expected to make a drop for 25-26 season?
Oh, I gotta go back. Can you pull up the no, I was about to say, yeah. Can you pull up the records? I need to see the teams.
Carlton and Gonzo, Oh my Lord, bro.
That might be it.
Sosa, you know some. You
That
know
shit is
some.
going to
That
straight.
might, yeah.
We bringing back no fun.
Wait, scroll.
Unless
Colton
somebody would have
Davis
say the
and
Commanders or the
Emmanuel's gonna be fun.
Eagles. Other than
We
that,
bring it.
I
not really.
think
Throw
wait,
that
scroll
ball
back
on us
down.
if you want to. See
12
see
wins
you
is
December
kind of crazy,
21st,
bro.
Lamar Jackson.
Listen, New England is
Looking
about
at their
to,
division,
that
12 wins
defense
do kind of look crazy.
that New England defense is going to be
They're
on some
not going to be a 9.
Scroll
Ravens
down.
on
probably
some
expect to go
Belichick
12
shit,
again.
bro. That defense for New England, it's all as long as
Back
Barmore is
down.
good. As long as Barmore is good to
Barmore
go,
got to stay healthy. Yeah.
he's got to
Yeah,
be
he
healthy.
does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If he's healthy, their pass rush rotation should be sick.
Yeah, I already said the Seahawks. Right? We said the Seahawks.
Their linebackers are good. Like
Yeah, I said the Seahawks.
Patriots defense should be legit.
In terms
The
of
one
job, I
thing,
think
the
that's
one
what
thing
it
I'll
is.
say this while
That's
Ari's
probably
going
it.
through this, I this is probably
Yeah, I
my
think that's
my
it.
hot take for right now, and I know Ev, we talked about this guy to start off.
Oh, it's your
I
hot
think.
takes. They're gonna be a segment.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait then.
Wait, that's
I'll hold
that's a
off.
today's segment, or are you saying in general?
That's something I'm
Oh,
sending you
okay.
in the note. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll hold off then.
And also, you don't want the NFC South.
It's gonna be
Everybody,
trash.
listen. At Tampa Bay, I know people. Listen, they kind of been they've owned the division.
They have for
They
3
now
years.
they
And
now
they
own
gonna
the
do it
division.
again.
4 years.
They're
They're
gonna
gonna do it again.
They're gonna do it again because they got the best pro-ready receiver to replace Godwin until he's
Bro,
That's a fact.
them
That's a fact.
drafting him.
Yeah.
That was a good ass.
Yo, y'all move.
It's a difference between being the number one guy and the most pro-ready. He is Emeka Ibuka. It could, as far as what you want from a pro, that shit gonna be crazy, bro.
And he will do that right next to
I'm
Mike
a,
Evans perfectly.
I'm a circle is right back. I don't think anybody has any other teams to add to the list. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave this here and I'm gonna just start something down. Where again, I hope everybody was taking some time.
I said the Seahawks, brother.
I hope everybody was. I add them. I hope everybody was taking some time, or still taking time to get the top 10 wide receivers list ready. Again, after everybody gives their list, we're going to try to do one as a collective, so I can distribute that to the social media platforms as far as fact and stats relations, and also make sure I let people know we did it as a collective. And again, if anybody wants to come to the stage, I do have a spot or two for anybody to come to the stage and be able to share their list. And if you're in the chat and you want to come up and the stage might be full, just let me know. Say, hey, stage 4, I want to share my list and why. And I'll definitely make a room for you to come to the stage as well. So we're gonna go top 10 wide receivers. NFL. I said NFL. Heaven sent, man. Top 10 wide receivers going into the 2025-26 season. Bro, when you give your list, have your own criteria. Me personally, I'm going off how I'm feeling going into the season. To think what I've seen out of wide receivers the past season. And that holds the most weight for me last season, past as far as last.
So
but
last
also
season,
what you done for me, that's just for me. For what I seen last season, that holds the most weight. But who you've been throughout your career, that also holds weight as well. But if you obviously been elite or top 5, top 3 early on stages in your career, but now you being 34, 33, 32, you're not that no more. I'm gonna, I'm gonna go off more. So I'm gonna lean to the last season thing. So I just want to make that very clear for y'all. And everybody, y'all can feel free to give y'all own reasoning when y'all do y'all list. I did not complete my year. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to do it while I'm trying to talk to y'all, but I'm also talking to y'all at the same time. So I'm not done. I'm on like 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. But if anybody, whenever y'all ready, feel free to step up to the plate like, yo, I'm good to go. Show your criteria.
I'll go first.
Okay, top 10 wide receivers going to 25-26 season. Hold on, Shaggy. Let me set up.
I may be low because I got my earphones on. But...
Nah, you good. Just let me set up real quick, everybody. Again, everybody that's in here, thank y'all for supporting the platform. Thank y'all for rocking with Fact and Stats on YouTube today. Again, we're not shifting the playback. I want to continue to try to put YouTube at the forefront. So if you are in here, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and also make sure you hit the thumbs up button on this video. Fact and Stats is a daily sports show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I make it my job to give people the opportunity to speak their mind in regards to whatever the sport topic is. So you can always feel comfortable and come up and talk. Like Chiefs fans came up today and everybody else that came up today and speaking their mind in regards to what we've been talking about today.
We had a Chiefs fan come up?
Yeah, his name's a Chiefs fan who messaged. I don't know what the rest of it says, but
my bad.
No, he's right there. He's literally right there. He's up here. Yeah, say Chiefs. You don't see that name right there?
Yeah. It's me.
Yeah,
right. My bad. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. My
he
apologies.
said,
Okay.
"Is that a Chiefs fan who messes with Lamar?"
Yes, sir.
Nah, that's nasty work. Keep
No,
doing your thing
Mahomes
now.
is better, yeah, but I rate Lamar. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
he's
You
not. But okay.
Josh Allen
No, he's
comes.
literally no, he's not.
Who was better last year, bro?
He is better.
Let me
I
see where
wouldn't
your head
necessarily
really
name
at. Let me see
myself
where
that
your
Okay,
head
it's a
really at.
debate. I'm not gonna get too mad at it. You know what I'm
Who
saying? But
was last year?
let's move on. Let's move on. You guys go.
Oh, he don't
Patrick
want to answer
Mahomes
that
was.
question.
Patrick
You know what?
Mahomes
Answer
was.
that question. You know what that means.
Patrick Mahomes is better, by the way.
No, he wasn't. That's literally a
That's the
lie. That's
question.
That's the
literally a
truth.
lie.
It's the truth.
But saying Mahomes is better than Lamar last year is literally like
He
insanity.
was.
You
You
know
It's the
he's
literally,
truth.
trolling, bro.
It is
but
true.
yeah,
I'm not
you literally
trolling.
said
I'm not
Mahomes was
trolling.
the 5th best quarterback this last season.
In the regular season, yes.
Man, you got it, bro. You got it.
What? Again, if we're not
Nah,
counting
D-Mac is
playoffs,
really slick
absolutely
with
no
this shit,
problem.
though.
Again, if you're not counting playoffs, 5th. You are.
Is it top 10 performance for next season? You can't. It's top 10 wide receivers basically going off last season, or for me, last season or throughout their career going into next season. You can't really predict performances, sort of, kind of, but not really. Nobody predicted Jamar Chase a triple crown this season coming up. Having sense, so it's sort of
Somebody
kind
could
of
have
like that.
predicted that.
Yeah,
Triple
probably,
Crown, not even a winning record.
but probably not. I don't know. Triple crown is insane. I ain't gonna lie. But
Triple Crown. Triple Crown is crazy. Yeah.
So you say you after Shaggy. Well, I see your message after Shaggy. Shaggy, go ahead. We ready. What's your criteria? And we'll go on down.
Keys, that was not his fault, by the way. Just
I'm going based off
sorry.
of last season, and I'm projecting going into the season.
Okay.
1, Jamar Chase. I forgot you got that shit so small. I can't see that.
Oh,
2,
for real?
Jettis.
This is small. I don't want to make it a little bigger. Pause. All right, good.
3, give me see you on him.
Lamb look ugly.
4, AJ Brown. 5, Malik Neighbors.
Okay, Malik Neighbors cracked the top 5.
6, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'm gonna call him St. Brown for today.
What am I on, 7?
Yeah.
Who the fuck I'm missing? What's the nigga name? 7. Damn, I just
Are you looking for the rookie, Thomas Jr., or are you looking for somebody else?
Yeah, BTJ.
I figured he about to say BTJ.
I figured if Neighbors was there.
I'm at 8. Give me Puka. 9, give me I think I'm missing somebody important, bro. Who am I missing important?
Nico.
Terry.
Nico's
Oh
good?
yeah,
Nico, Mike Evans.
I'm cool.
Yeah, the first team All Pro.
I could do
Drake London.
You're
Is Drake
cool
on
on who?
I know you're a Drake London guy.
I can't hear him. Are you
You mean
cool
you're
on
cool on
him?
Nico?
Hold on, you guys are talking over. We can't hear him.
Well,
Shaggy,
Nico
speak a little
Remember
bit
that shit I said the other
Wait, let
day,
him
Ed? Yo,
finish.
acting like I
Damn,
was
we can't
crazy.
hear him.
Yo, T, please.
Niggas was all talking. Don't ever do that, bro. Like, there's no way niggas.
All right, gang.
We
All
literally
right,
said one down,
all right.
yo.
Shaggy, you on 9? Go ahead. What's up?
I'm on 9, give me Garrett Wilson.
Bruh, stop this fake love, bruh. Like, you throwing me off, bruh. All right, what's up, bruh? Who 10, bruh?
Give me Rasheed Rice.
Okay, so Shaggy criteria. I need to add criteria up here, but I don't want to type it. Well, let me just put.
Just put
Yeah,
it
let me
in
just put
parentheses by their
criteria.
name. Just put it in
Yeah.
parentheses by their
Yeah.
name. You can just type projections going towards next season.
Okay. Projection. So people can't. I don't want people popping in here like, what the hell?
Yes.
Is she right? Projections. I mean, bold that too.
Hold up.
All right.
What the hell for 10? Okay.
No. I don't want people to pop in here and be like, Malik Neighbors is at 5 or Rasheed Rice top 10 and there's no Nico Collins. Like, that's insane to me. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's your list. Shaggy did his list off based on what he saw last year. Last year, we saw 2 wide receivers coming to the league from the same college and immediately produce on some insane type stuff. And that's Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. in Jacksonville. Puka's obviously a guy that took a big leap as well 2 years ago, and followed up again last season with his performance. And then Garrett Wilson, he's not. I don't know why he's top 10 up here. Why is he top 10? Because he's not going to have a top 10 season, though, in my opinion. So why is he top 10? Like, what makes Garrett Wilson to you going to have a better season than Drake London, and who you're high on with the Falcons, and or Nico Collins. I just don't understand that one right there. Oh, he's coming back up.
You
Yeah,
hear
I
me?
need.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't understand. I
Bro,
want to
Drake London
understand.
could have been, bro. 8 through 10 could have been any three. You know, the guys I rock with. I was just showing Fuka some respect. I really don't like that guy, but I was just showing him some respect.
Okay. All right. Sosa said he next. Appreciate you for kicking it off too. By the way, Birdie. Sosa, what's your criteria, bro?
One, I feel like we jump ahead of a lot of players because of 1 year of production. I don't think any of these players on my list only go off of 1 year of production. I think value from year to year is important. I love BTJ. All his yards and touchdowns came with a backup when they were throwing the ball 100 fucking times a game. I don't know how great I think he really is until I see him with Trevor Lawrence. Same goes for another rookie last year, Malik Neighbors. Like when you get like that number of targets based on a deprived roster, I don't know what your real value is because I don't know what it is. That's just me. That's, you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. No disrespect, and the talent's there, but I don't know. Right? The top 10 for me: Chase easily, Triple Crown. Jettas. Third is AJ. Fourth is CD. Fifth is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Seventh, then this is projection. I think Drake London is going to be a top 6 receiver this year going in. I think that he gets a full year with Penix. He clearly is like a number one guy, right? He's clearly the number one target with Penix in that offense, playing indoors. I think that entering the season, it's huge for them. Next, I'm going to go McLaurin, an all-pro, super consistent, even when his quarterbacks were ass. That's 7. 8, I have Puka Nacua. I mean, you can't lie about his production. You know what I mean? His production on the field when he's good to go is right there with anyone. Then I'm going to go to Nico Collins. I mean, his production and presence as a number one guy has been proven. Obviously, he's missed games every year of his career. But when he was healthy last year, I mean, there was an argument for him having the best season until he got hurt. He was killing shit. And also, he's the without question number one option in Houston. Like, it's not even close as to being the number one guy. What am I at right there?
I think you're on 10 now. Yeah, that's 10. You're on 10.
Yeah, and 10, I'm going to have to stick with Devontae Adams. I know I listed 2 guys on the Rams, but for Devontae Adams to still have 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns last year, given the bullshit that was around him, you cannot touch the consistency. He's also in the 100 touchdown club. Those are just things that I think are major as far as like having them on a list if we're going to go off of like year to year success. And then obviously honorable mention every year for the top 10 would be Mike Evans because he's Mike fucking Evans. So
how you gonna make a targets point and then bring up Puka?
What did you say?
How you gonna make a targets point and then bring up Puka?
I can't hear you.
How you gonna make a target point but bring up Puka Nacua?
The fact that he's the unquestioned number one guy, even though Devontae will be there, I think what you'll see is like
I was saying it in reference to the Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. shit.
Oh, because his production equated to being winning football, and it wasn't just 1 year. He hasn't just been good one season. Like BTJ, the
Rams was good his rookie year.
Puka?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! What you mean?
Yeah, they won 10 games his rookie year,
and he was hooping.
Remember, Cooper Kupp got hurt.
Yeah, he went and listen, even when Puka was when Cooper Kupp was in the lineup,
he was clear one.
Crazy.
He was low key clear one since OTAs.
Yeah, bro.
People paid attention, bro.
Yeah, bro. There's nothing like I don't know. Obviously, maybe it's because we think of him as a sneaky athlete, but dog, that motherfucker's cold. He's really good. Like, and then also the rapport he has, bro. No Cooper Kupp. He knows he's the guy. Devontae got paid. And Devontae, they got him at a discount because they know they got to pay Puka. Puka's got to get paid.
And you get off Devontae's money after this year if you want to.
You don't get a 5th-year option with you don't get a 5th-year option with Puka, so you have to pay him.
So you went from targets to winning football. Okay.
I mean,
he also said the 2 years of production part of it too.
Listen, bro. It's one. Listen,
based off of winning Winning games. Okay.
Listen, I think, and I'll be completely honest. Out of the second year receivers, I love Marvin Harrison Jr., right? We can easily say entering this season, if we're going to compare BTJ and Malik, like if we're just going to go off performance and numbers, you would say both those guys are above him, right? You might not believe.
I thought that before the draft. So
right, but then you can also say that motherfucking little white boy from Lad. Lad, you know what I mean, is another guy. It's like how are we gonna do that? How are we addressing it? You think Lad is better than?
Yeah, he thinks all those guys are better than Marv.
Than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, he thinks so.
Oh yeah, you'll eat those words. I mean, I don't know what really to say. Marvin is a fucking problem. And again, I think people the numbers went crazy. I mean, if he got the same number of targets as them two niggas, he would easily have been the number one.
If he got open, he probably would have got the targets.
Yeah, you didn't listen. I'm not finna do that with you, bro. Like I'm not. Listen. Judge him. The player. The statistics are there to be judged. You're right. I'm not. Listen. I'm not even caping for him. I told you.
Damn, you got crazy, Rain.
I didn't even cape for him, bro. I said if we're going off production, we're there. The general public and the media is going to say that Marv was probably the fourth best receiver, maybe fifth if we're counting Bowers, right?
I wasn't high on him before the draft.
So, but like I said, I'm just a believer that when you look at the tape, he had the most uncatchable targets thrown to him in the entire NFL. But he could throw the ball to him too. He could probably throw the ball to himself too. So,
I want to say this: if you are on the stage and you feel like you are ready, just type it in a private chat, and then I will call you up when it's your time. Also, I think we have a spot. Yeah, we have a spot. One more spot on the stage. If anybody wants to come up and get her list, feel free to come up and get her list as well. It's an open platform to speak your mind. Shout out to Sosa and Shaggy for the conversation they just had, and also for them two kicking off the list. I am going to try to put in a parentheses what the easiest thing to explain your criteria. So next we got T. That's ready. What's your criteria, brother?
It's respect to former production, projections and production, but it also gives respect to me, like who I think those guys are. Like if you're in a bad situation, but you've been this level of receiver. Even prior to the tape last year, you being hurt last year, I still give respect to those guys with this list.
So you can you repeat that one more time for me, please?
So to make it simple, just be like what I believe are the top receivers.
Yeah, I might have just say
regardless of production per se.
Yeah, it's basically just come down to what you think. What he thinks. It's really just what you think, pretty much. And that's fine. All right. So what T thinks is the top 10 wide receiver, regardless of production or regardless of the situation or whatever happened. This is just who he thinks is the top 10 wide receivers going into the next season.
If there's no line, Eb, I'll go after T.
It's one more person in front, and then you can go after that person. All right.
I got Jettas at 1.
Bruh, this nigga Mike is so funny, bruh. This nigga, appreciate you tapping. Bruh, appreciate you tapping in, Mike. No funny. Jettas, go ahead. What's up?
Jamar.
Chase. Talk to me.
CD, AJ. Reek.
Oh, Tyreek. Damn. Tyreek ain't getting no love today. Okay, Tyreek.
Bro, I was sitting here asking y'all who
I definitely had Tyreek. I definitely got Tyreek.
Amaron.
ASB. I'm calling St. Brown ASB for now, y'all. You see St. Brown on Shaggy.
How many am I at?
You at 7.
Wait, I'm tripping. Puka than Amaron. I'm tripping.
I know you're on Oracle Puka for
Nico.
Shout out to Nico. I was about to say Harrison. What the hell? Collins.
Mike
Evans cracks the top 10 list. Shout out to Mike Evans. Let me put Mike Evans so people can know. Shout out to Mike Evans. And you're on 10 now.
I'm on 10. Who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody.
You say you had your list.
My 10. Who's my 10th? Did I have everybody but 10? Oh, Terry. I'm missing Terry. My fault.
All right, Terry. Mike Evans cracked the first top 10 list. This man is a guy that stepped into the league and got 1,000 receiving yards every single season. It looked like he wasn't going to get it last season, but he came close and clutched up toward the end of the year. So shout out to Mike Evans.
They
I actually like,
force fed the shit out of him
yeah,
to make sure he got it.
clutched the hell up. And I like it. Shout out to Baker for doing that too. I like your list, T. Personally, it's a really solid list. Yeah, it's a really solid list. I like Sosa still giving Devontae Adams some love. It's crazy. We was having a Devontae Adams conversation in here like a month ago or something like that. So I like Devontae Adams still getting some love. Rasheed Rice is a guy, man. If you want a wide receiver one in fantasy football, nigga, you better target that nigga. I'm telling you, Rasheed Rice is going to have a big season. And I had him 2 years ago, and then I tried to get him last year, but West would not give me him last year. So I am prioritizing Rasheed Rice coming up. D-Mac, I'm still going to try to get you to I'm definitely going to try to add you to that fact that's fantasy football league too as well. And I forget.
Yes, sir.
And we'll proceed there. Chiefs fan who messes with Lamar, you are up.
Yeah, so actually mine is pretty similar to T. It's basically the eye test or who I think is the best right now, who's the best skilled wide receivers, ignoring projections and stuff. So what I think basically.
What do you want me to call you right here though? What do you want me to put for your name?
Lamar Brady. Let's go with that. Because I mess with Jaden Daniels.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Let's just move on.
Yeah,
Move on.
someone in the chat mentioned this is
Move
Spurs.
on.
This is actually Spurs, yeah, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But
okay, so you're Spurs. So why not just put Spurs? Yeah, with Lamar Brady, what the hell is that about? Like, I'm just go Spurs.
And then
this Spurs.
And then
big up T, big up T.
Lamar Brady he said he liked Jaden Daniels. Like that, like where's
I
the
do like
correlation?
Jaden
Because I think
Daniels.
somebody said that
Yeah.
Jaden would be like Lamar and Tom had a child. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ev, it was
saying
Ev, it was so crazy seeing Rico nobody list though to me. That like was so crazy to me.
But anyways, yeah, I'll start the list because I know people gotta move on.
I was about to say it's only two
with
lists.
Chase.
Yeah. Would you say you should Chase? Okay.
Chase and then Jettas. And then you don't gotta put it, but it's all okay, it's fine. And then AJ Brown, CD, Tyreek, Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, Nico Collins, Puka. And then the last one I was a little less sure about, but I guess it's because I'm a homer. I'll go with Rasheed Rice. It was between him and Drake London, but I'll go with Rasheed Rice.
So y'all gotta let Mike Evans go, bro.
I'll let Mike Evans go the season he don't get 1,000 yards.
Exactly. Give that man his damn respect, bro. He's a Super Bowl winner, bro. What are you saying?
Hello, what's your criteria, gang? Spurs, appreciate you.
I just did it based off basically same as T, honestly. Whoever I think is better, honestly. I used production for it, but I also didn't penalize guys for getting hurt. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I went Jettas and Chase 1 and 2. They're both interchangeable. I'm gonna put Chase at 1 because it's like he just got the triple crown, bro. I gotta give him to him right now. I give it to him. So I'll go Chase at 1, Jettas at 2. I went CD at 3. Then I went AJ Brown. Then I went Tyreek Hill. And then right here I'll go Nico Collins, then Puka, then Terry. And then Amon-Ra. And I want to go. Honestly, I was because this the last one, right?
It looks
On
like
my 8.
You had 9. No, you had 10. This is the last one.
Yeah, it's the last one. So right here, I'm be real. I didn't know if I wanted to go Mike or go Neighbors, but I'm going Neighbors. I ain't gonna hold you, Neighbors. Neighbors. It is only 1 year, but that 1 year wasn't the last
Can I ask
season
a
was
question?
insane, and he missed some time as well. Yeah,
Can I
what's
ask
up,
a
Ryan?
question? And not just to you though. This is to people. I would say outside of Shaggy, because he's the only one that have both of them on there. Are y'all just not ranking Neighbors in? I know Lo just put him at 10, but like, are y'all just not ranking Neighbors in BTJ because it's just only 1 year?
That's me at least. Yeah.
For me, the BTJ thing was more
That's
so
what Sosa
with
said as
what
well.
Sosa said. I kind of agree with Sosa. BTJ was cooking up, but it was more so. I watched a lot of Mac Jones. Like they're losing, they don't really care anymore. Like they just like BTJ was just getting it in, like which it is no slight to
What does
him. He
that
still
mean?
had to
They're
go. He
playing
still had to go out
football.
there and do it. He
But
played
my thing
football.
is like you
That would
could
apply to
say that
neighbors too,
same thing
though.
to neighbors too. Like his team wasn't leading shit. His team was
Yeah,
on
They
her
but
they they
ass.
was, they was just throwing the ball up for shit.
that's a fair point.
Defense
Yeah.
too.
That's a fair point.
Like, and then the only reason why I asked that
What
is
did y'all
because,
niggas
like,
think about D Hop in Houston before Deshaun? Like, what the hell?
Say that again.
What did y'all
Well,
think about D Hop in
we
Houston
had
when they was
we
when he
had
was adding
years
decent
of
enough numbers?
DeAndre Hopkins production before that, and we also had years where the Texans were in the playoff race as well before that as well. So it's not like we had seen them on a winning team, even if they weren't necessarily good.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I
I'm
just,
still
I
giving them credit. I would just with BTJ specifically, I do kind of want to see us another year of it. Malik Neighbors, I'm gonna be real with you, Neighbors. He's just different. He's
okay,
really
but
just
why is he
different.
10 then?
I kind of want to give some more respect to the guys who've been doing it longer. That's all that
that's
was.
fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably the same.
that's fair.
Like when it came down, like even at 10, I told you I was contemplating between him and Mike. I really wanted to get like last season. Realistically, the no brainer is Neighbors, but it's just I was thinking Mike because Mike literally has the longevity. He's been doing it for year after year after year, like hurt or not. He was hurt also last year too, which took a couple games off of him.
Yeah, he's been doing it. It don't mean he's been top 10 while doing it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what. But
I just, I mean,
Neighbors is
I
definitely
maybe
different.
I know everybody isn't as like super high on BTJ as I am, but like neighbors, it's clear. I think for a lot more people, it's just like clearer that he's gonna be that guy. I also think like despite I guess what people may be talking about when it comes to BTJ of like, oh, it was a lot of garbage time and it was a lot of whatever, whatever. Like if you watch that dude play wide receiver, he will be this despite injury. Like outside of injury, he's going to, and I think he will be better um than even what he was last year. Like, but that's me. So I get it. I don't think it's as I think you have some rookie wide receivers who have good years and like you're a rookie and then like that next year you see a little bit of a decline and they kind of like level out or whatever. Like I don't think that happens with BTJ
All right,
personally.
this man was third in the league as a rookie in receiving yards and
Yeah.
double-digit touchdowns, and guys is up here talking about garbage time. I can't take this shit serious, bro. I can't. Niggas is talking about garbage time, third in the league
Yeah.
as a rookie. Come on, bro. Garbage time though. Okay.
Hey,
I
Ari,
don't think it was.
for
It
me
Mhm.
wasn't a
personally,
garbage time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Garbage time.
I was just gonna say I don't rank guys unless you're on my team and I want to just show support. But 1 year don't have me rank guys in top tens in position
No,
groups.
and the thing is, T, that's fair. If you're just like I just don't do the 1 year thing, then that's cool because that's how I am most of the time. I think a lot of the fucking time for the most part. That's how I am because like when you give a player more than 1 year in football, it's not like basketball. Where like off of 1 year you can know like a nigga gonna be like that or not. Like I think it is a lot harder in football. So like to me that's fair. It's just like if that's not your thinking, you just rank these people. I personally think BTJ is a lot better than some of these niggas on some people's lists, but it's your list, not mine. So
So how about you go and give us your
Call
list
him
then?
out.
And
What do you
that
think he
and
better than?
neighbors
He's
and
okay.
the
neighbors is
same.
that
Okay, I'll
neighbors
tell
is
you
that
because
nigga
I
by
can
the
I
way.
can give
That
my
had CJ
list.
Stroud.
I
All
can
right,
give
he's the
a
same
list.
guy that had CJ Stroud. He's the same guy who had Jaden Ness when they top 10 quarterback. Let's trust. I already know
So
it. Trust. I
yeah.
already know it.
It's
Yeah, I was
it's
about
gonna
to
be
say.
it's gonna
I
be
was about
crazy
to
when he not on
say,
mine. The niggas gonna be
I
mad
already
about
know
that.
it.
uh-huh. It's a little crazy, but okay.
Oh, we.
Hey Shaggy, it's the same people that have Washington going. Never mind, let me stop. I'm gonna put a pin in it and like move along. I
Lamar
can do my
Brady.
list if nobody's up.
Yeah, if you're good to go, and I'm almost done my damn self. I'm on 10. So
Okay,
whatever you think about, want to do.
mine is a mix of both things. It's like projections, but also like what I like or like who I think is good. Um, so that's me. First, I have. Let me know when you're ready.
Hold on.
Okay.
So yeah, it's who you like, who you think is good. So your feelings, your projections,
Yeah.
your feelings. All right, go ahead. I'm ready.
Just Jamar.
Chase first. You said. Oh, you said Jetta's Jamar.
Just Jamar. To me, these next two are really interchangeable, but I had CD, then AJ. I got Malik here. I have Puka. I have BTJ, which they're a little interchangeable, but Puka, BTJ, Amon-Ra, Nico, and fuck, I didn't even really know. I have like a lot of names here.
Bro, say Terry, bro.
I mean, it could be Terry, Mike, it could be fucking Tyreek. But I'm gonna go Tariq. Just because like I don't think I could put a list without him on it. Hill. Tyreek Hill. Cheetah.
Uh,
Not to be confused with Tyreek Evans.
Yeah, period.
How old is Tyreek? Tyreek, what, 31, 32, you Matt?
31, I believe. 2015, 31, yeah.
so I told y'all mine was going to be conducted or based on last season going into this season for the most part. So I'll just leave it at that. But also who they've been throughout their career. But like I said, if you're an older guy, you probably won't crack it. Not saying you still cannot or you still won't produce, but you know it's a young nigga world. Simple put. Let me pull up my notes. I had put on the screen. I got Chase at 1, obvious reasons. Last season, it's hard to deny what he did. You know, we don't really see too many guys come in and go triple crown. We saw Cooper do it. Did MT do it when he did that? When he just got the reception record?
Yeah, just reception.
Yeah, I think it was just
Just
reception.
reception.
He ain't get triple crown.
Last
They
triple
gave
Yeah,
crown
so
was a white boy.
Steve Smith.
yeah, so
Shout out Cooper Cup, nigga.
Yeah,
Cooper and
Cooper
freaking
Cup was
Chase. I can't deny who Jamar Chase is and who he's been for that Bengals team since he's been into step into the league. What pick 5? I want to say it was.
Yeah,
I think pick
fucking
was
Falcons
4.
passed on that nigga for a
Yeah.
tight.
Don't get me wrong, though, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm so serious, bro. What year did Jamar Chase get drafted? Like 5 years ago.
2019, I think, or
19 years ago.
2020. 19.
Bro,
No, it had to be because he sat out COVID year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2020.
it was 29.
Bro,
2020.
I'm
Yeah.
so serious, bro. When I used to, this was around the time when I used to actually just turn my TV on and just have ESPN on in the background. Bro, Kyle Pitts made a highlight damn near every single weekend. Like they were showing him love every single weekend. So I don't know, but he was a hell of a player in Florida.
Dang, I'm happy he could do that in college.
I
I can't
will.
deny who he was in Florida. He was
I will say.
a walking
I will
highlight.
say really. I will say really quickly. Kyle Pitts does have a foot injury of some kind that's holding him out of workouts right now. But yeah, I mean,
It ain't like he gonna do shit anyway, D-Mac. Cool.
I watched Jamar Chase, man, and that motherfucker just a monster as far as college is concerned. So I
Yeah.
was like, y'all are crazy taking a tight end because the tight end is a very fickle position of being able to develop them in general, and then on top of it, use them effectively. Wide receiver is so much more plug and play, but
So
it is what
like,
it is.
cause at worst, you could throw a wide receiver screen way easier than trying to scheme some tight end shit up.
Yeah, I should go look at who else they passed on.
Oh, it's a who's who list. Penei Sewell, all the cornerbacks, bruh. Obviously, who's the other wide receiver that was in the Chase draft?
Yes, 2021. They passed on Wilder. They passed on PS2. They passed on Smitty. They passed on Micah.
Tristan Wirfs shit too. What works in that draft too?
Well, Mike only fell because of the
Because of the shit. But yeah, them niggas could have used them. Glad they didn't draft them though.
All right, so I got Chase at 1 because of the triple crown, obviously. Deuce, I see your list, Deuce, in the chat. Let me read you real quick. Appreciate somebody new. Is your first time typing in the chat? Hold on, let me check. Or this is not your first time typing in the chat. Okay, cool. But either way, you joined 1 month ago. I'll put a pit stop on what I'm doing for yours. Chase, Jettas, AJ, ASB, Tyreek Hill, Puka, CD, Mike Evans, Terry, and Nico. Criteria production going into next year. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, big up like Spurs.
It seems like everybody has the same consensus top 4. You know,
yeah,
order.
Yeah, there's still like a little different order.
Yeah,
that CD and AJ
the second
combo
two are
gotta happen one
interchangeable.
day.
It's
I went
tough,
Jettas.
man.
I went Jettas at 2. 3, I went CD. 3, I went CD. 4, I went AJ. I like both of them equally. Who I like more is AJ though personally, but I'll probably lean CD. 5, I went Tyreek Hill. Still want to pay respect to that guy because he can he still can outproduce any of these wide receivers on his list. If you ask me, I still think he can.
No, he can't.
Yes, I think he can. I think he can. Only difference is he's playing with Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, so it's like that's the biggest difference.
So
You just seen Triple Crown, nigga.
Tua, whatever his name is, Tua. I'm gonna say Tua.
Tagovailoa.
Tua turn the ball over, baby.
But yeah, next I got Saint Brown at 6. I really almost put him above Tyreek Hill personally. 7, I'm gonna go with Nico. Think he will replicate his start to what he was doing about to be on last year. Obviously the injury happened where he missed 4 weeks, but I think he will start strong and finish strong this year. 8, I went with Puka. I really almost flipped him and 9. 9 is neighbors for me. This is a guy that I truly think is unguardable. And to be able to work with Daniel Jones and company like you did last year and be able to produce force fed or not. I seen them throw him the ball 10 plus times. And the problem is defenses know he getting the ball and they still can't do shit about it because he can run any route. And he got good hands and he got the speed. So it doesn't really matter. Neighbors for me at 9. And then 10, crazy because one of my men been a fan of him like 5 years ago and I wasn't even too hip. I'm starting to respect him more and more now. So for this season, I'm gonna go with Drake London. I'm gonna go with Drake at 10.
Oh yeah.
You ain't need to respect that nigga. You
Drake
crazy.
I'm giving Drake some respect.
You gonna sit here and disappoint. You should have just put Nico Collins.
You know
I got
what
Nico
college
there.
Drake
I got
London went
Nico.
to?
Yeah, you could have put him
right?
twice.
USC, right?
You could have put him twice.
Yeah, he went to USC, played
Yeah,
tight
he
I'm
went
end.
to
around that.
USC.
Ev, I'm around that better than Puka, but we gonna show y'all niggas this year.
I got my list.
You say he played tight end?
Yeah.
What you got, Fred? What's your criteria, Gabe?
So my criteria was is they play last season and then just projections going into next year. Going into next season. So I got Jamar at 1. That triple crown, I gotta respect it. I can't. I prefer Jettis, but I gotta respect the triple crown winner.
All
I
right,
don't understand that reasoning, but
Wait, what did he say?
Wait, you prefer? Okay.
Because my
it's your list.
criteria
If
is
you
what they did
prefer, you
last
should press
season.
it.
Maybe he had Cup at 1 when Cup won.
That's his criteria. That's fair.
He just said it's a
No,
respect.
I didn't hear what he said. What he said?
No, I said like my criteria was what how they played last season and then my projections going into next year. So I have Chase at 1. I said I gotta respect the triple
Okay,
crown.
well then that
That's
makes
it.
sense because the triple crown. Yeah.
No, but he just said he preferred him. That's all I was.
Yeah.
Was like,
I mean,
Oh, okay.
if I'm gonna do a pure bias list, then yeah, like I'm gonna put Jettis on him.
I don't think it has to be pure bias, but I mean, if you prefer a guy, you
No,
list him over.
yeah.
Look,
It's
Fredo,
just,
I prefer Jettis. I love them both. I prefer
yeah.
Jettis. That's why he
1
was
and
one for
2 is
me.
interchangeable if like based on what you want. But I'm gonna just give Chase more credit for the triple crown. I got Jettis at 2. I got AJ Brown at 3.
AJ.
Yeah, I got CD at 4. Because I think Nico gonna have a crazy season. I got Nico at 5.
Facts. Where I put him at?
Puka at 6. I got that nigga in New York. Neighbors at 7. Then I'm gonna go Amon-Ra at 8.
Hold on. What time? Hold on. I
That's
gotta put
super
a
low. I
pause.
ain't gonna lie, that's super low.
I gotta put a quick pause. My list don't make sense.
Your list don't make sense.
It don't. I'm so happy you looked at it.
Hold on. It don't make sense. I gotta fix that. Hold on, just real quick. My bad.
Stand on what you put.
No, Tyreek Hill don't make sense there. It literally doesn't make sense. It's last season
No,
projection.
that's why you said it. I was like, okay,
him to
cool.
be. Yeah, I'm not projecting him to be
I mean,
better
if you
than.
projecting him to go back to old Tyreek, then sure.
I'm not though. That's the thing because of the quarterback situation. I'm gonna just throw him
Yeah,
at
you
10.
don't think you will.
Yeah, that didn't make
why
sense.
he was 10 at the back for me too.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
He
My
can
bad.
produce the whole list, though.
Yeah, with the right quarterback play, which he's not going to have this season. So that doesn't make sense. I literally.
Why you put Drake on there? You think he gonna have a good season?
Yeah, and Drake on my
They
list.
love that Michael Penix nigga.
I'm
That's
be
why.
for real. I would put if you're talking about projections and it's slightly hater shit, but also real logic. Justin Fields gets Garrett Wilson back. He theoretically should have a better season than Drake London.
No, that's not easy to say. You can say it, but I'm not saying you can stamp it.
Why
you
say
can say
that?
Yeah, I wouldn't stamp that, but it's an arguable.
I
I won't
mean,
get there easily.
they have a connection already.
I get what you're
He's
saying.
going to get him. He's going to get him the ball. There's no Devontae Adams of it all anymore. Obviously, they're going to be pass. He's going to run the ball. And they're probably still going to use Brees, but they're going to be passing the ball. He is now back to being the bona fide number 1 receiver in their offense. Like I personally think, I think the Falcons, if they're smart, they run the ball a lot more than they have Michael Penix pass it, at least right now. Not saying he can't ever. I think if they're smart, you let that offense be led by Bijan, and I don't think that will be the case for the Jets. I think that offense will feature a lot of fucking Garrett Wilson, more than I think it will feature a Drake London, personally. So I think if you're looking at projections, if you're looking at not looking at what kind of seasons their teams have, but what kind of seasons they have individually as wide receivers, I think Garrett Wilson has a better chance of having a better wide receiver better season than Drake London, and I think he probably will.
Yeah,
okay. I mean, I like Garrett Wilson. I personally like Garrett Wilson. Niggas that know Niggas that know me know that, but nah, I hear you. Not a problem. Fredo, my bad. I had to put a push stop. I'm looking at my list, and I'm like, what I just said didn't make sense. So I wanted to fix that. You are at 7.
Yeah, I got neighbors at 7.
Shout out to Malik.
Yeah, I'm all right at 8. Got Brian Thomas Jr. at 9, and then I got Drake London at 10.
I like your list, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I like this list. But why did your Drake go down to the back end? But mine, why does yours go down here?
I do think that.
No, I'm saying, why is your
Because his name is longer than your name, so it's not taking up enough
Oh,
space.
If you want,
Go
you
ahead.
can
So,
highlight.
just
You
go,
can highlight
You
the whole thing and
could
make it
space.
10 or
go
9.
ahead and no. Go
If
ahead.
I want, I can do
Make,
what?
Also,
you can make all the letters smaller, or you could just put Emerald, and y'all both Drakes will go
Yeah.
there.
also, Ev, you're
I didn't
missing a
think, I didn't
parentheses
think, I
before
didn't think
last
of that.
season.
There we go.
You're missing a parentheses before last season for yours.
I know you grew up in a generation before you niggas had like
You said
real
what?
lab
Bro,
days
that
and
nigga
fast
just.
What niggas
You're,
had?
you're missing a
Arkansas what?
parentheses
Bruh,
before
dog.
last
Hey,
season
man.
on your list.
Hey, man.
It's fine.
You
Where am I
wasn't
missing?
on Google Docs, brother.
Where am I missing
Before
parentheses
last on
at?
yours. Before last. Between your name and your
Thank you,
criteria.
thank you.
I don't think
All right.
all signs point to a better season, Kenny. Though, like I think they're gonna be around the same level.
Me too. Yeah, same
I
for
don't
me
think
too.
I don't think you
Y'all gonna
come
get
to
rid of this
He
Drake
got
London shit.
better.
Y'all gonna learn about this Drake London stuff eventually. Not even just Drake London. Y'all are gonna learn about the Falcons offense eventually. Y'all will catch
Fredo,
on and
I mean not
it'll
Fredo.
seep.
Wager, with all due
Already did
respect,
said that last year.
I
That's
don't think
funny as a
Terry had a
mom.
top 5 season last year. Did he have 13 touchdowns and 1,000
I'm
yards?
just
Yeah,
saying
but
if they want to be successful though, they'll run the ball. That's all I'm saying.
But are they going to be successful though? Like,
They
what?
run the
what
ball.
So who had it?
I don't know.
To that point, who had the top 10 season for you last year? Terry's not in
top
there.
5? He said
Oh, you
5.
said 5. Oh,
Yeah,
I
he
didn't see
said
5. I
I'm
thought you
gonna
said
laugh when
10.
Terry has another top 5 season. I don't
Wager,
think
No,
he
I
had
think
25
I
wager,
though.
think
wager,
Terry kind
wager,
of had
wager,
to be in the
wager,
top
wager,
5,
bro.
bro.
Listen, wager.
Nah,
We've been
you
watching,
think he
we've been
did?
watching niggas disrespect Terry for a long time, bro. Let him keep
Nigga,
disrespecting
Terry's
him
on
on
my
this shit.
list, bro. What are you talking
Fredo,
about?
you
Disrespect.
said he had a top
If
5
we
season
had
last year,
honorable
Fredo?
mentions, Terry would be
Terry
on my
McLaurin
list
is
of
mid.
teams. Yeah.
So he got all pro for nothing then.
Crying.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
Yo,
Miami,
you
I'm
still
all in.
can
You
get all
still
pro and not be.
oh
You
no,
want to
we
bet on
gonna
his
win.
yards and Stephon Diggs yards? Just what I thought.
D
Yeah,
Mac
they
and
gave
BJ,
Trevor.
y'all wanna close it out?
I was just about to type and say I'm good whenever. But I can go next unless BJ wants to go.
I'll go after D-Mac.
You should highlight that.
Um,
On my phone.
What's your
I was gonna say
criteria,
make the
brother?
font bigger.
yeah. So my criteria for
Lord,
me. Okay, this is gonna be a lot. I'll just do this. So it's a 3-year sample size. I look at tape, how you're being able to do it, how you'll be able to bend the defense, and where I think that you can continue to project forward as your career is concerned. So 3-year sample size, tape, and production. You can put as
You
my
about to have some
criteria.
old niggas up here talking about some free years.
Well, but it's a trend thing as far as that's concerned. I
No,
won't
you're
only have
good.
exclusively old niggas up here.
You're good. You're
So
good.
Jettis is number one. Chase was absolutely spectacular. I think I just prefer Justin Jefferson. I think that any tier you want to put those two in, no issues with me. Chase would be number two. I have AJ Brown 3. I prefer the bigger guy just a little bit over CD Lamb, though CD Lamb absolutely can get it done inside outside, elite number one option. I have Puka number 5. I think that he's really been able to show that he asserts himself as the dominant alpha as far as that system is concerned. Everything is built around what he can do. I have Nico Collins 6, a true XY receiver. I love watching him play, man. He was obviously hurt for a good portion of last year, but dog, he's just an absolute dog. Malik Laver 7 and Brian Thomas Jr. 8. Basically coin flip. Both of those guys have the talent necessary to be, true number one wide receivers. Obviously, Sosa's point about winning football is what it is. They were force-fed targets, no doubt about it. Still, the defenses were putting their attention on them on a consistent basis, and they made it not matter, and that does matter a lot for me, even if they were force-fed those targets. Number 9, Terry McLaurin. Awesome, awesome player. He's a guy that I love for a long time. He was continuing to produce without having the quarterback play, and you saw what he was able to do when he actually got quarterback play that was worth a damn. I love watching him play, dog. And he's not a guy that's overly physical, but there's nobody that can, straight up match up with him one on one and just completely take him out of a game. And then 10, I have to give deference to this guy, Tyreek Hill. It's difficult. I think that there will be a step back. I don't necessarily see him getting back to a 1,700-yard season. But I think he was battling through a lot last year as far as injuries were concerned. Still trying to go out there, not favorable conditions. Obviously, fell short of 1,000 yards. I still think that he's a guy that can turn in top 10 seasons moving forward. I don't think that he's necessarily back in that elite year anymore. Honorable mentions for me, two guys, Brandon Ayuk and Rasheed Rice. Obviously, both coming off of the ACL injuries. Brandon Ayuk, and I think what you saw from him with what he was able to do with Brock Purdy was showing true number one ability from that standpoint, the way they were able to play off of him. So hope that kid gets back healthy. Obviously, Rasheed Rice, he got off to a blazing start last year. Unfortunately, ended up getting hurt. I see in the progression of him getting to be a better player from his rookie year coming into his second year. He picks up where he left off. I think that he'll be eligible for this top 10 list next year. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him.
I like. I want to say one thing. It's 48 people, 45 people in here watching. This video has 22 thumbs up. If you weren't here, can you hit that thumbs up button on this video? That helps the algorithm out for anybody that's surfing on YouTube to come across facts and stats and eventually be wanting to be a part of the family and or community when it comes to talking on the stage or typing in the chat amongst you all. Hendrix, I thought you went already, if I'm not mistaken. But Jettis, Chase, Lamb, Nico, AJ, St. Brown, Puka, Neighbors, BTJ, Wilson. Criteria: player's age, skill set, and the ability to produce despite erratic quarterback play. Okay, I like that.
Kenny, I said that I'd take 3 years into account. It's not like you have to have 3 years. I didn't say that that was a requirement to make the list.
Miles,
Okay, I was gonna have that. That was
bro.
gonna be my question. My bad.
Chase, Jettis. Okay. Shout out to y'all for participating in the chat as well. Thank y'all. Miles is
Did you get
Chase.
the other guy's chat list of RF?
Who?
Kenny?
Yeah. Oh, Kenny. I think I missed Kenny. Let me scroll up. Kenny, I'm gonna find your list in a second. Miles, Chase, Jettas, AJ, CD, St. Brown 5, Nico 6, G5 7, G5 is Garrett Wilson, Puka 8, Tyreek Hill 9, Rasheed Rice 10. Shout out to Miles for coming in the chat.
That's a
Kenny,
stinky ass list.
I'm surprised he didn't throw Marvin Harrison in there, to be honest.
I have
He
Kenny's
wanted
list
he
if you want me to
wanted
read it to
to.
you, F.
Yeah, you can read Kenny's list. I can't find it.
Okay, his is Chase 1, Jettis 2, CD 3, AJ 4, Neighbors 5, Amara 6, Puka 7, Garrett 8, Tyreek Hill 9, Nico 10.
Okay. Kenny, thank you, my brother. Thank you for participating as well. I do need the chat to answer something for me. So please, if you want to stage, vote on this poll as well. Vote on this poll as well. Vote on this poll. Ted, I see you. Ted popped in with his list as well.
It's a fat KD. Ted's was ass.
All right, so if y'all in here, can y'all vote on this poll? I'm leaning to y'all for this one. I'm gonna shuffle the days for the rest of as we do all the positions. Offense, defense, offense, defense, offense, defense. So can y'all vote what y'all want tomorrow's list to be? Can y'all vote which on the poll which y'all want
You
tomorrow's
gotta
list
be
to
on
be?
YouTube to vote.
Oh, for real, y'all
Yeah,
can't vote.
we can't vote. We can't vote from up on the stage.
Ted's list had T. Higgins in it.
Yeah,
Ted, you can. Ted, if you trying to come up, you can't come up. So ain't say nothing in the brick. Damn, y'all gotta be on YouTube. If y'all on the stage, can y'all pop the YouTube real quick? If y'all
I
want
did. I
to,
just
I hope he don't. I hope he don't got T. Higgins in that top 10.
Miles, it's about understanding what's inevitable. It's been a wide receiver
no,
you at LSU, dude.
Tez didn't have T Higgins on there. Yeah, I understand Miles, but yeah, LSU is definitely wide receiver. There's
I
no
mean, look
question
at the
about that.
material, nigga.
There's no question about
Like
it,
the
bro.
Bro,
top
when the
two
fuck
guys.
is Ohio State ever even in top 10?
Heartline is awesome, and what he does with Ohio State is awesome. And I like the guys that have come out of Ohio State. Obviously, I got one of them
They
on my list,
solid.
but it's not close, bro.
Yeah, they produce top 15, top 20 niggas, not top 10 and top 5.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
Miles gonna keep y'all can believe the
Yeah,
facts and
My
not
I will
job,
me.
say,
my
well,
job,
hold on,
facts
Who's
don't
wait,
make
OSU
time
no
out,
recruiting
nigga.
that's better than
Bruh.
OSU niggas right now?
time out. The one thing that we have to say here, there is a guy that went to Ohio State and had a top 10 season last year, a top five season, legitimately. Jason was fucking amazing last year. Now again, I want to
Oh,
see it
Jason.
without DK.
You said 5.
I want to see it without
For me,
DK
that's
just
who's
so I
leading
can
the
see
way,
how they look.
though. He's leading the way for them.
But I mean, Terry also went to OSU as well. Obviously, I think
Oh,
highly of
true.
Luka.
Terry
Yeah,
did.
so there are other
Jason did not have
guys.
no top 5 season.
I,
Tell you mean top 5 season.
Jason had a
I was about
great
to say
season.
top
I don't
five,
He had
know.
a
not
good.
top
Yeah, I wouldn't.
10.
Top
It was
5 is
not.
a
It was
Top
stretch.
not
10.
top 10.
Yeah.
I don't know why you said
One
it
top
was not
10.
top 10.
We
Okay.
did the top 10. We
sorry,
looking at it. Well, we didn't do the top
sorry.
10, but
Shut
Not
up, Lo.
season. That's not season.
He had a top 10 season. My
Wait.
apologies.
That's not
Jason didn't have a
fair. That's
top
not
10 season.
fair.
He had a
I
top
That's
think
10
he
not
might be
season.
fair.
talking about.
He did
I
not
think
have
he
a
might be
top.
talking
Hold
about
on.
it from the statistics,
No,
right?
I know. Jamar
Nigga, he
Chase,
had a
Jettas,
he had a
BTJ, Drake London, St. Brown,
Are
Malik
you
101,130.
looking at
Neighbors,
it?
CeeDee
JSN had
Lamb,
Yeah, shit
12.
like that.
Lad McConkey was better than him. Terry McLaurin, that's 9. And
Larry
then you can
McConkey was not
AJ.
better than him.
Yes, he
Larry McConkey
was.
wasn't better than him. Larry
Who
McConkey
wasn't better
wasn't
than
better
him?
than him.
Lad.
Larry was
Bro,
not
Lad
better
No,
was
than
bro.
him.
not good.
No.
Lad
Larry
wasn't
was
better
Hey,
not
than
better
him
than him.
last
Miles,
year.
I'm
No,
gonna keep
bro.
it
No.
funky with you. Chris wasn't gonna make. Chris would have made maybe
Yeah,
the
Olave not
backhand
touching
of a
that.
10,
Yeah,
baby. That's
Olave
not,
not
and I
touching no top
love
10.
him down.
Injuries suck,
Olave
man.
not touching no top 10. But again, I think that I want to see what Jason does with DK not there before I necessarily talk about it there. But he did have a very good
These
season as
Ohio
far as
State
He
efficiency
took
people
goes.
are
he
so
took DK job, nigga.
salty.
He took
Ugh.
DK job.
BJ, what's your criteria,
Terry,
bro?
no, hold on,
These
Kenny. If
Ohio
Terry
State
doesn't
people
have
You
are
think
potential,
so
hold
DJ
on,
got one?
salty.
hold on. If Terry
Yeah.
doesn't have
DJ just
potential
gonna
at
say
29,
niggas he
Kenny, he
like.
is legitimately just a top 10 wide
Oh,
receiver.
you're not
That's
talking
what
about a
Terry
lit.
is.
Nigga,
Oh,
Terry
okay,
better
okay,
than
okay.
Garrett
I got
Wilson.
you, Miles.
Is
I
what?
got you, Miles. I got you, Miles.
Mhm.
Man,
All
first
right.
Miles was sitting here
B,
yelling about the Cardinals. Now he yelling about OSU. What you gonna be
Hey,
yelling about next?
I'm not even gonna lie to y'all.
Grizzlies.
I completely forgot Jerry Judy had 1,200 yards, bro.
even Jerry,
Oh
yes, I
yeah.
skipped
Oh
Jerry. Yeah,
shit,
my
he did
bad.
I
have
forgot about
1,200.
Like you
Jerry
could
Judy,
replace
bro.
Yeah. Where
Lad
he
with
went to
Jerry. No
school at?
funny.
I
That
got
buck that
Alabama.
season.
Never
Jackson
mind.
Smith and
Buck
Jr.
out
still
that
had a top
I
season.
10
know where he
season,
went.
but I forgot Jerry Judy had 1,200 yards, bro.
You
You
said
talking
who
about
still had
force
top 10
feeding
season?
targets on being
You
ass.
said who still had a top 10 season?
JSN.
No, he did not because you can
Bro, that's
replace
his
that.
opinion. Ed,
It's
come
You
on.
can
arguable.
It's
replace.
opinion.
It's arguable.
It's his
All right.
opinion. That's okay.
All right. Anyway, yeah, it's still close. Either way, he
Shout
had
out to
10.
Garrett Wilson, bro.
He's
Well,
10
Ed
or 11
he
regardless. He's
wanted
10
to
or 11
crash out
regardless.
so
So
bad.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
what it is. He's 10 or 11. I'll chalk it up.
He's around the top 10.
Yeah, I agree. I'll chalk it up to that. BJ, what's your criteria so we can get to the collective?
You gonna say niggas that didn't sell
A
his
nigga
dream.
that's not on the Falcons.
BJ.
Bro, yeah, sorry,
Uh-oh.
brother. What my eyes tell me.
Okay. I test.
Number one. Yeah. You should know. You should know who number one. Big dog in Cincinnati, number one. Then you got my boy over there, Minnie. And then then it's everybody else. So I'm gonna go with the everybody else part, right? You got Busy Brown coming at number 3.
He said she.
That nigga is gonna end make on this list. I promise you, bro.
Oh
He gonna
Hey,
man.
say he 10.
bud.
I swear on you. Swear on it, bro. Did he cut out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
BJ, what happened? You just stopped.
He's still over here?
I don't know.
I don't
BJ, you
know.
You
there?
supposed to
I
put
hear
Busy
you.
That nigga Brown, got a bro. phone call.
Busy Brown, bro.
This nigga said Busy Brown.
Bro said is the top 3 wide receivers, and I'm out. Everybody else is irrelevant.
That man just stopped. All right. Anyways, Ted, you want to show your criteria gang? And you gonna go to another page?
Make the title smaller.
Last year in projections.
And put that whole shit on another page.
Just
You
put the top shit on another page then. So it's 2 separate exercises. You could have just said it. You could have just did insert new page.
Insert, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bro, he grew up before
tab,
Google Docs.
Tab that over. All right. BJ. Oh, Tiz. What's your criteria gang?
Last year in projections.
I'm ready.
Uno Jettas. 1. Wait, let me go look
You
at
said
my
Jetta. You said Jetta at 1.
No, Uno Jettas. Bro, niggas miss me. You miss me, bro.
But that shit probably terrible having a good ass wide receiver like that. They just can't do nothing with it, gang. I ain't gonna lie, but go ahead,
Oh yeah,
Chase
you miss
Jettas.
me. Y'all niggas miss me, bro.
Hey,
We go CD3. We go AJ Foe. Wait, who the hell? I can't even see my shit. Who did I have? That's 4 or 5. St. Brown. Six. I'm gonna switch 6 and 7 though. I'm gonna go neighbors here. Neighbors here, then Nico. No, fuck no. Take Nico off. Go Puka, then Nico.
They so close as wide receivers to me.
Nah, facts.
They so close.
What is that?
You on 9?
G5. Come on now. OSU. Keep hating. And we're gonna close it out with Tyreek.
All right. Appreciate you, gang. BJ, you the last person, brother.
We're
You stopped at AJ at 3.
That nigga service ass.
Oh damn! Let me look at the corner
Phone's
the
going
poll.
on some shit,
All y'all to
bro.
vote on the poll. Thank you. So we be looking at corners tomorrow, y'all. Corners tomorrow. Thank y'all.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
PS2 and the rest. Okay.
My boy
shout out to
Trent
corners. My
McDuffie
boy
better
Laddie.
begin. Stay on
We
the
gonna
step.
respect
All I'm
Stingley,
saying.
bro. Come on now.
Man,
Big
Uno, Jet busy. St. Brown 4. My boy, give me my boy Terry at 5. 3 at 6.
Who at 6? He's a Tyreek.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo, who you talking to?
Yeah,
BJ.
it's tough.
BJ, bro.
This man connection is terrible, bro.
Yeah, that nigga on that Cricket Wireless, man. That shit crazy.
Somebody hit the Jeopardy music.
All right, so let me pivot off of BJ real quick. This is gonna be the collective list coming up. Collective list. So this is who we have as top 10 wide receivers going into next season as a collective. Let me put that down a little bit. No, let me put this at the top. Actually,
BJ put the rest of his list in the chat.
all right, bet perfect. I don't know what the hell he got going on. Let me jump down to the bottom. Tyreek Reed. He said Adam.
Wait, no CD?
Neighbors.
No lie.
Olave.
And I love Chris Olave, but this shit crazy, bro. What the fuck?
Hey, I'm loving this CD disrespect. I'm
Wait,
not gonna lie.
who put Olave on that shit? BJ?
BJ, you should have known.
OU fans crazy.
He's at 9. He didn't even get to 10.
No, Nico.
It's gonna be Shaheed, I promise you.
Yeah, that man didn't even get to 10.
Who your 10?
Oh, he said CD. He said CD. So where is CD going at after AJ, BJ? Was he going after AJ or what?
CD's at 10. Okay. No, he's
CD
6.
was 6.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
CD was 6. He said he was 6.
All right. So CD.
Oh, Terry over CD. Oh, okay.
Amaron over CD is a nasty list, bro. Fuck the Terry shit. Amaron over CD.
Hey, I'm with it.
You
CD slander. We with the Cowboy fans. You're never winning Super Bowl, yeah. So listen, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
Hey, before we do it as a collective, Wes, welcome to the stage. Do you want to give us your criteria and or a list for top 10 wide receivers going into next season?
I mean, I'll just do the collective.
Okay, bet.
If we go to PB, I'll have a list.
Yeah. All right, bet. All right. So as a collective going into next season, bro, we got a lot of Jamar Chases. I'm on Jamar Chase. Is there any pushbacks to Chase 1, Jettis 2?
Nah, just rock out.
People are gonna say that because of that triple crown.
Triple crown, bro. Let him have it, bro.
Yeah. No, start at 3, bro.
All right.
I still prefer Jettis, but I understand.
Some people have some arguments over 3. I don't, but I think some people may have some arguments over 3.
All right, so now
This
we
the
get to
combo I was
three.
waiting
We know
for.
the next two names. It's AJ or CD or
Hey,
CD
we
or
gotta put
AJ.
AJ over CD because somebody had CD at 6. You know what I mean? AJ is
No, we
always.
don't. No, we don't. You're trolling, bro. You're trolling. No, we don't.
I don't even think that was a
Really-
troll.
No, he literally is trolling about BJ having him at 6, bro. What's the point of bringing that up? It's a
I
troll.
think he was saying like if you add up where CD
Yeah,
was, a lot of people he was averaging it.
Yeah, I was averaging it.
That's terrible averages though, because everybody has them top 2 and 3 and 4 though. So that wouldn't even mathematically. That wouldn't even.
But AJ's also top 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
AJ's not the
but that's come
without
on, y'all.
being
Come on,
sick.
can we not put weight into that, please, y'all? BJ put him at 6. It's not.
He was just
It's
saying
not
based on
realistic.
averages.
He was doing
That's
it.
not real. That's not realistic, bro. We're gonna come down to 3 and 4 with CD and AJ, or AJ or CD at 3 and 4. So to the room. Again, I said I put CD at 3, but I'm more of a AJ fan because I was a fan of his first, from Tennessee on down. But damn, this is tough. I don't even know how to.
Oh yeah,
Titans.
Damn,
Yeah, I don't even know how to.
It's crazy. He's on.
Nah, it is
Shit
crazy.
forever
It is
ago.
crazy.
Bro, I don't know why. I don't know why I thought you were talking about Tennessee.
I thought so
Vols.
too. I was like, no, he went to Ole
nigga.
Yeah, he
Miss.
meant
I
Ole
was like,
Miss. He
yo,
meant Ole
Nigga, he
Miss.
went to Ole Miss,
no,
but I
he
got
meant
you.
It's
Tennessee
all
I
good.
Titans.
forgot. I
No,
forgot.
I
Bro.
was
I
saying the
forgot.
Titans, Spurs. I was
Yeah,
saying
you
the
were
Titans,
saying the
man.
Titans. You had it right.
Yeah, I forgot.
It seems so long ago. I completely
Nah, I
forgot he
do.
was on the Titans,
It do.
bro.
Hey,
It do.
just
Mhm.
with that exercise I sent you, one of the ones that I have in the shared note, make a note of which of like these pairings, like which wide receivers cause conversation. Like, oh, I think so and so should be here. No, I think so and so should be here. That you could use that as people for that who versus who thing that I sent you.
I hear you, but I don't understand what you're fully saying. So I'd rather you just put it in there, then I'll understand it from there. Like if I look at it
Yeah, but I'm not
versus
being
hearing it.
Okay,
no,
just example. Say there was really a debate between AJ and CD. Leave that, do whatever, but mark them down as people like a debate, because the exercise is you choosing who versus who. So
I
like,
got you.
I feel like I'll just put it in there.
No, I got what you're saying.
Okay.
All right. So anybody want to step up to the plate and list? Again, one is going to be 3, one is going to be 4. Go ahead.
Are we doing this based off of who we think are going to have, or who we think is going to have the best season, or just who we think is the better receiver?
Good luck.
Good question. Is it possible to be both? Like, is it possible to be both in that?
I mean, yeah, you could think Jettas is one and think Jetta is going to have the best season as well. So yeah, you could have both, but I'm pretty sure like people are going to be, because like for CD and AJ, I know a lot of people who think AJ is a better receiver, but may think CD is going to have a better season.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who think it's CD, bar none, hands down, boom. Like, so it's stuff like that. Like, just trying to get some clarity before we start.
No, that's a good question. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good question, gang. I don't know. Because if you,
I mean, we might as well do who gonna have the best, because we're going into a new year.
Yeah, I think we had a better season.
Yeah,
right?
So I think that'll be the easiest, because 2020, like, that last season is over with. So
yeah, I think that's the best way to proceed with the list. Who we think will have a better season? And so for me, I'm gonna say CD then, because I think CD's gonna have a better season than AJ.
Same. Especially with Pickens there now, man. My gosh.
Yeah, George about to eat too, low key. Anybody want to still with us proceeding with better season? Anybody want to say argue AJ at all?
Yeah,
I have CD on my list.
Like,
personally.
who's gonna have a better season?
Yeah.
This collective list is more like projections than anything, right?
I mean,
yeah, I mean, if we're projecting who's going to have a better year, I think it's going to be CD. I just think AJ Brown is better. So you take that for what it is. But if you're saying who's going to have a better year, it's probably CD.
I mean, how do we know Dak's not getting hurt again, though? How do we know that?
You don't.
Can we exclude that from this conversation? Or yeah, we don't know that. So I don't want to bring up, well, what if this person gets hurt or that person gets hurt? It's what's going into this season healthy. Who do we think will have the better year between those two wide receivers? First.
I mean, yeah, that's more of a debate for me. I'm still going to AJ, but it's like slightly. because I just think he's that much better than CD as a wide receiver. So
You said that
all I-
much?
That much better, yeah.
You say you think he's that much or not much?
That much better, like a tier above him. That's how much I rate AJ Brown. But it is what it is, bro. I seen it, but I seen as a Chiefs fan, AJ Brown torch my secondary 24/7. I haven't seen that with CD, so I'm biased in it. But that's all it is.
Anybody else? D-Mac say he thinks AJ's better, but he thinks CD will have the better year. Damn, that makes it so tough. I think we have to go with the better season though. Personally. So yeah, going into next season, who do we think will be the top 10 best wide receivers as far as level of play and performance? I think that's the best way to do it. So going into next season, who will perform the best? Yeah, that's the best way. So I think CD will be 3. As everybody, majority of people up here agreeing with that. Anybody else want to say AJ outside of Spurs?
I'm CD.
All right, so it look like CD's getting penciled at 3. Do anybody think any wide receiver outside of AJ, any wide receiver on the back end, like not thinking of AJ Brown, will outperform AJ this year?
No.
Not me, I'm AJ. Not me, I'm AJ.
Is it limited to just production?
Amon-Ra, 1000%. Amon-Ra.
Yeah, I think Amon-Ra definitely can have a better season. I don't think that's anything at all.
Yeah, I agree.
I think AJ's just better.
I was going to show a shout to Puka if we're taking health out of the account. For what he did last year with Cup in his year 2, with also missing significant games. I think it's very possible if we're making this a projection, basically being based on production, that he could have outproduce AJ.
Hold on, before we proceed, how should I fix this title real quick so I know how to word this later on?
What?
Top 10 wide receivers going to 25-26 season. What is the what's the like
projections?
Projections.
But don't
Because that's what the collective list
everybody
is.
was doing projections.
But then if you
production.
Yeah,
collective, if you're gonna put it in
What up,
you should put it by the collective.
Yeah.
What you're
Don't
typing
change
there,
the
you should put it because you see how everybody else has their own criteria for the first list we did, the individual list.
Isn't production same as projection, basically?
Yes and no.
I mean, you're projecting their production, so yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said.
So it's like, isn't it the
projecting
same
production?
It's basically the same thing.
Or you could just say next year production instead.
But that's still the same thing as next year projection. Let's just say projection. Am I tripping? Isn't it the same thing basically?
Yeah, you can say
that.
Yeah, bro. It all correlates in the same field, bro.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm specifying the production aspect of it is because you're saying we're not going off of who we think is better. We're talking about who's going to have a better season.
So projections.
That's why I asked West could it be both?
Just say projections, because if you say production, then that might make people question, oh, is it last year's production, this year production? Just say projections.
So say next year production.
All right. So AJ Brown last season played 13 games, had 1,000, pretty much 1,100 yards with 7 touchdowns. We are taking health into account for all these wide receivers, pretty much, and for the most part, all the good wide receivers were healthy last year. If you ask me,
you should assume health.
Yeah, they
the wide
all.
receiver and the quarterback.
Yeah, they all outside of Nico. Nico played 12 games and had 1,000 with 7 touchdowns. Damn, Nico. 1,007 with
fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
another guy that's right there.
Yeah, that's insane. Nuts, bro. Puka played 11 games and had 1,000 basically.
990.
So, for me, going into the season aspect of this conversation, I'm gonna go out and say, what did St. Brown do last year? 17, 12, 12. I'm gonna say Nico Collins for me personally. I'm gonna say Nico at 4. Far as projection, outperforming, even if it's by 100 or 200 yards, whatever the case may be. I think he outperform AJ Brown and anybody else on the backside.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we're doing the whole production, that shit thing, but like, are we also? Does that mean we're gonna just put Roberts? Because I don't. Though I think
I'm AJ Brown still. I'm AJ Brown still. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, does that mean we're still just like ignoring the fact that like, okay, they might have a more productive season per se, but like what T said, like I think Puka, Amon-Ra, Nico, in terms of like production, could possibly have a more productive season by AJ. 1, I don't think it's going to be by a ton of yards. And 2, I feel like when it comes down to that, then like, why are we putting receivers above people that we just think are like, that at the end of the day, regardless of production or whatever the fuck, that we think is going to be better? Like they were just better.
That's
Because
a
like
good question. I
personally,
think,
I don't feel comfortable putting Nico Collins above AJ Brown on any
Yeah,
list. I'm sorry.
and I would
I
agree
don't
with
either.
that as
Yeah,
well.
me too.
I
But
think
yeah.
I
that's
feel the
I'm an
same
fair,
way
AJ.
about
but I
Amon
think
Ra.
Yeah,
a
same,
part of like
same.
where I came into the convo was a conversation about JSN and Lad, and like in no world is Lad better than JSN, but you know our lovely host was arguing that Lad was better than JSN last year, and it was strictly from a production standpoint, which I even with the production, like I don't think Lad's film was better than JSN's film either. So I think it's kind of like where that's kind of where I came in with like, okay, how are we doing this? Because it seems a little inconsistent, and depending on the player and the case you want to make, you might have a nigga telling me Lad is better than JSN, and it's like no. So like that's where my question came from. I'm comfortable doing it the other way. I wasn't even arguing for production over who we think is better. I just wanted to know how we were doing it. So I'm 1000% in favor of just picking the guys who we think are the best receivers in the world and ranking it that way. But when we did that, like where I came in, I was hearing an argument for Lad over JSN, which is pretty insane to me. So that's kind of my 2 cents.
Fair. All right. Yeah, I want to switch mine. I don't know if y'all heard me or not, but I'm going to stay with AJ right here at 4. Personally. Um, Anybody else want to have a different wide receiver they feel like as far as a collective list? Projecting next season, who they think should be at 4?
Yeah, I think that we can maybe talk about the projecting the production aspect of it as a tiebreaker, but I think that having a debate about
Stole it
who's
right from
better.
me, D Mac, because I was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
the better wide receiver, because we do have to have some level of common sense because AJ Brown
You can
not
have
worse
that
than 4.
combo of like production with
Yeah,
CD and AJ
I
because
think
they're
if
both
it's
good.
my bad, my bad.
So I was
All
just
right,
saying you can have that combo between CD and AJ about like who's gonna be more productive because they're both freaking good. Like we think they're the same tier wide receiver. But I'm not having that production conversation with Amon Ra and AJ Brown. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it.
yeah, I think when it gets to that point, like as far as the production thing, if you having a thought in your head this person can outperform them, or it can be close, or it can be a tie, then just go. Who do you think is the better overall wide receiver? I think that's the best way to just finish it out. Like there's different aspects that we can dive into, or tap into, or hit to make us try to have an accurate list. Not every list is not going to be accurate. Every list is not going to look the same, but I think for this, at least top 4/top 5, whatever, are we going on down? Um, I think it's comfortable to say that AJ should probably be 4 then at that point, if that's how we're going to look at it.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think we're all
I'm
agree because
rocking.
that was the debate we had anyway with CD and AJ.
Is
All right,
anyone
then
in
obviously,
favor of AJ over CD outside
I
of Spurs?
was,
I
D
mean,
Mac.
but
yeah, I'll chill.
I was personally, but we kind of landed on we thought CD is in a better position to have a better or a more productive season, and that got him the edge.
And
Okay,
they're still within the same tier of each other. So
Right? Yeah, I
all right,
think they're in the same tier, so that's fine.
that's cool. All right, AJ at 4, and then what's
and Lorenzo, my bad. I did not mean to ignore your comment. No, I did not want to transition this to playback today. Uh, to be honest, because it's people like you, which I do not mind, but that just sit around and wait for the switch to playback. I want to continue to try to put YouTube at the forefront, and I feel like if people want to listen to the show, or even come into the show, or even type or join the stage, they would know to come and find us on playback. So I wanted to address that real quick.
You mean by
Lorenzo.
you people?
No, it's some people that literally, which I do not
No, I'm
mind. I
playing.
don't
I'm
mind.
playing
All
with
right,
you.
yeah,
I'm
that
look.
was
playing
a
with you. I'm playing
troll
with you. I'm playing with
gang.
you. I'm playing with you. I'm
All right,
playing
my
with you.
fault, my fault. Which I don't mind, by the way, Lorenzo, or anybody that do it. I do not mind at all. I appreciate the support across all platforms. But I am trying to continuously put YouTube at the forefront. So yeah, West was about to get us a 5. We have Chase, Jetta, CD, and AJ at the top 4 right now. When you look at my list, I put St. Brown at 5 on my individual list. But you can see different names. You see Malik, you see Nico, you see Tyreek on some. You see Puka. No, Puka is not a 5 on nobody's list. How are we
He's
feeling
sitting on
about
5 of mine right
5?
now.
How are we feeling
Oh,
about
Tyreek.
5? Yeah. Now, me personally, I really think Nico is a really good wide receiver. I think St. Brown is a really good wide receiver that you can throw all around the field. You obviously
Yeah.
think about go ahead.
No, I was gonna say to me, this is a pick your style type of fight because I think Amon Ra is awesome. I think Nico is a dying breed as far as a dominant true X wide receiver in this league.
I love Puka, what he can bring to the table, versatility inside and out, and how Sean McVay puts him into good situations too. So you can go any way with these guys. It's tough for
Man,
me.
Puka better not be on this list ahead of neighbors, bro. That would have
It's
For
that
me,
tear,
it's
lame ass
bro.
shit I'm
neighbors.
Here we
talking
go.
about.
That's
Here we
a
go.
tear, bro.
It's that
He
lame
was
shit I'm
right.
talking about.
And Mike, I see your list, gang. Um,
I am a sample size type of person that I do pay attention to, so that's why I would not have neighbors in this tier yet. But talent wise, yeah, he's there. I got no issues with that.
I'm a vote St. Brown though. I'll choose the side. I'm a St. Brown guy. Bias is in there, but I'm gonna go Brown.
on my list, I put ASB Nico. I truly feel like 3 and 4 is interchangeable. I feel like 5 and 6 truly is interchangeable for me. As far as a collective, I'm gonna go Nico because I think if they're both playing 17 games, I truly believe Nico will probably have the better season, statistically and probably even production wise. Sam Brown probably have more touchdowns because of how they run the offense in the red zone and how they make sure you prioritize and just how good they were, how they were. I'm sorry, I don't know what's gonna look the same with Ben Johnson not being there, but I would assume they will still run
As
this. Go ahead.
It's more
real
mouths
quick,
to feed in Detroit too. Take that into
Yeah, that
consideration.
too.
I,
Yeah, fact.
I'm interested from this standpoint. And again, I had Puka 5, and so I'm gonna ask this from perspective for me.
Okay.
What would you say is the separator for why you would say that Nico and Amon-Ra would be separate from Puka?
Damn. You know, let me say this. I think out of all three of those wide receivers, the one you can use the easiest and the best is St. Brown. Like for me, I think it's just so much easier to put him X, Y, Z, like as far as wherever on the field, and you
Right.
get the production and you get the whatever you want out of him, you'll get it. So let me start there. I think you'll get the easier production out of him. Now, when it comes to Nico and Puka, I love Puka hands. I love Nico after the catch ability. I love the way he breaks. I love the route running between both of those guys. Damn man, that's a tough question, bro. I think the easy way for me to answer that question is I like how I can utilize St. Brown over the other two. I think that's the easy way for me to answer that question. I don't know. I can't really like when it comes to Nico and Puka. Like, if you look at my list, yeah, like they're really all right by each other. Like when you look at when it comes to Nico and Puka, I can't really differentiate that right now. I'll probably just go with Nico, just for what he did last year and what he was on the verge of doing this season and only playing. But both of those guys got hurt, Nico and Puka. So it's really just tossing a coin, if you ask me. Flipping a coin. I'm sorry.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel you. And I was just curious as far as your thought process was
That's
concerned.
a
But
great
yeah,
question. Do you
I think all three of them are
can
gonna
I
be
flip
tough.
that back to you? Can I
Sure,
flip
go
that
ahead.
question back to you? Like how do you feel? What's the difference? What's the
Well,
difference
yeah.
between them three for you?
Yeah, so I have all three of them there. I think that you're talking about all three of these guys can go inside and out. I do believe that Nico has the ability to go inside. I think Amon Ron Puka, because people would be like, oh, those guys are more slack. Both of those guys have the ability to go outside on a consistent basis as well. I like Puka's versatility just a tad bit more. I think he deals with physicality a little bit better from the outside as far as some guys trying to push him to that boundary. I think he's a little bit better built to do that than Amon Ra, and that's just that slight edge for me. And the versatility that he shows. I love the fact that he's such a dog blocking. And Amon Ra and Nico both do bring blocking value, but Puka takes it like he's a fucking offensive lineman, and he really takes a lot of pride in that too. So it's tough for me. I just give Puka that slight edge over Amon Ra because I feel like a little bit more comfortability from him on the outside. Amon's awesome. I think Nico, again, like I said, I think is awesome as well. So it's splitting hairs, and I really do think it's a pick your style ultimately with all three of those guys.
Can I
Um,
pause real quick? As I'm looking at your list, D-Mac, you didn't even have St. Brown top 10. That's real? Did I mess that up or something? Or you just didn't have him top 10?
I believe I had him on in my top 10.
Am I tripping? I'm looking at it right. This is it right here.
Did
Like,
I not? Did I not say it?
Oh
nah.
shit.
I'm
shit.
Yeah,
looking
I
at this
had him
right like
on. I had him on
3,
Terry
my.
Hill.
6,
Yeah,
7,
you
Yeah,
didn't
8,
have
9,
him.
10.
We
Nah,
can
this shit.
replace Hill with
I
Amon Ra. That's fine. Yeah.
I had written him down. Maybe I didn't say him, but I would have him 7 personally in between Collins and
1,
Neighbors.
2, 3,
Yeah,
4.
maybe I didn't say him, but yeah,
Okay.
I had him on my list when I was writing it down. My bad.
I threw y'all off with
But
putting
then
Hill on there.
you also say you still want to pay respect to Tyreek. So then Tyreek is just coming off
Yeah,
now,
so
or
yeah, Tyreek was coming off because
okay,
he'd be more so an honorable mention there.
Hey,
okay,
as
yeah. What's up, my
so
bad?
with like you know how my list was more like dictated in the guys who've been here and established, if it is just the production list of the year coming up, I do think there's something to be said with like playing 11 games, 990, being able to win literally everywhere. He's top 4 in winning every spot, man coverage, zone coverage on every part of the field in Puka. And I think it's like a real combo between him and ASB. If you want to throw Nico, I think Nico is the odd man in there because of how crazy his production truly is. But to me, the most complete receiver out of this group is Puka Nacua. And I think the film takes that as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And also to add on to T's point, I think the difference in the offenses and the coaching is also matters too. Sean McVay knows how to get Puka the ball for sure in terms of projecting, in terms of receiving yards and stuff. With Nico and stuff, we have question marks about that OC. I mean, at least Texans fans, they don't like their coaching sometimes. So.
And then to build off that point, we were playing with all respect to the guy who, Triple Crown winner, Super Bowl MVP. He was a shell of himself at receiver 2, brother. And he was also in and out of the lineup consistently.
Exactly. And Puka was your number 1 guy, and he showed it. So
Shaggy.
And then you replace your 2 being Tutu Atwell and Cooper Kupp at times, a true 2 in Devontae Adams. I think that'll show you.
Shaggy's upset because I'm bringing up the outside thing. And I want to be very specific when I bring it up to say that I think that Monroe has all the ability to win outside, and he's a great outside wide receiver just as much as he is a great inside one. It's just for 2 things. One, to your Nico Collins point, the system that the Texans were running last year was awful, god awful, bottom 3 in the entire National Football League. But because of what Nico was, he made it not matter because he was able to have the defense bend to him on a consistent basis with the outside, playing boundary cornerbacks, using the sideline as a second to help defender, and still be dominant when he was out there because of how impressive he is as an outside wide receiver. And that's why it's really important, even though, again, we're living in a modern offensive world where guys like Amon-Ra, guys like CD, or Puka from that standpoint, if they're used effectively and get those advantages, Jettis and Chase too, when you put these guys in the slot and they have all those mismatches, and that just absolutely makes it incredibly difficult for defenses to give them the proper attention. But when you also still have that ability to be dominant from the outside, it kind of scheme proofs you from the standpoint of even defenses, the way that they can play you, or your offensive limitations don't necessarily matter as much because you can still get it done from that standpoint. And again, I want to reiterate, these guys all can do both. I'm not making it seem like any of these guys are strictly slot wide receivers because that's not the case. CD can go outside, Amon-Ra can go outside, Puka can go outside, etc. I just say that there is an importance upon that because it is when you're talking about watching these impact that these guys can have and what they do for their offenses. Mentioning that portion of it does get lost sometimes as far as that's concerned, especially when you talk about just strictly production wise and where you get it done.
I want to say this. And again, feel free to give your answer. And my safe answer, my safe pick, because we all been speaking on these 3 wide receivers. My safe answer, my safe pick at the moment is St. Brown. I would personally say St. Brown at 5. And anybody else can say who they will put at 5 as well. And as we tally it up, we'll see who ultimately wins the 5th spot.
My pick is Puka. I would say, how you kind of said a safe pick? I think if we're edging it out we think these guys are in the same tier, kind of how we did with CD and AJ, and it's a production standpoint, I would feel like the safe pick is more Nico than anything.
Well, that was just for me. That was just my safe pick. I mean, if your pick is Puka.
Puka.
Okay.
I think T. Adams being there is going to mean a lot.
Can I really quickly? Just to tell my vote is Amon-Ra for 2 reasons. I know T just said, "Oh, Devontae Adams being there," but I do remember a conversation that we had a few weeks ago about T and what he thought would happen with their duo of a wide receiver duo, and Tay and Puka, and him feeling like Puka is going to get a lot more attention, so that's going to allow Tay to have a better season than most people think. To me, I think Puka's still going to be great. I just think that does have an effect on his production. With Nico, yeah, I know we talked about their offense last year, but Bobby Slowick is still there. And I think Nico's still going to be productive, but he played 12 games last year, so let's not act like we didn't see what Nico would be in that offense.
They fired Slowick.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they fired Slowick.
When they fired Slowick?
In the offseason, as they should have.
When? Damn.
Yeah, he's the senior passing coordinator for the Dolphins now.
Oh damn. Who they OC then?
I will tell you in 2 seconds because I forgot who their OC is. It is Nick Caley.
Who?
Nick Caley. I think he came from the Rams. I'm pretty sure he came from the Rams.
Oh, from the Rams. From the
Oh,
Rams. From the Rams. From the
He's gonna
Rams.
be
Okay.
ass. Passing coordinators over here be ass.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
I was about to say
the
again.
Rams tight end.
Still,
Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
Rams
I'm
tight
not
end.
I'm not
there's
buying this
no.
Kaylee dude.
I'm
I'll
not.
be real.
Again. I'm not gonna jazz Tank Dell, but like, there's no Tank Dell. There's a Christian Kirk. There's no Tank. There's no Tank Dell. There's no. Some people are higher on Christian Kirk than I personally am, and that's okay. But they do have Jaden Higgins. They do have. I think there's a
My
lot more
guy
people to
Jalen
get the ball.
Noel, baby.
Jalen
Sorry.
Noel. I do think there's a lot more people to get the ball to him. However, that O line still does worry me, especially without Larry Tunsil. I don't give a fuck what they added. The O line still does worry me. A new offensive system is interesting. I have to see it. So I personally will be going with Amon Ra just because, though, yes, he lost Ben Johnson and everything. Dan Campbell, I know many people feel like he's a defensive guy. He's really not. He's just a guy. And I think regardless of who the offensive coordinator is, they're going to get Amon Ra. He's going to be a feature piece of their offense, like regardless. And so I feel like from a production standpoint, that's the one that I feel like I can count on more, like his production not dropping
I mean,
the way that I think others.
you're a Saints fan, right?
No.
No? Okay. But
Should just
my
not play
Yes,
that team anymore.
I am.
my comparison to St.
am.
Brown is like he's like the closest to Michael Thomas I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, no, you lost me. Sorry. Okay.
I lost
Hey,
you.
hey, Ari,
Yeah,
Okay.
you lost
Ari,
me. You lost
my
me.
only
Wow.
They're
retort
different
to
types of wide receivers.
my
in my
only
opinion.
retort to the combo we had about Puka and Devontae. I get
Yeah.
what you're saying in terms of it opening up, but that also to me extends drives where then Puka can also still get
Yeah.
more targets. So it's a double-edged sword, right? Like
Yes.
while I do think it benefits Tay probably the most at the two position, I do think it still benefits Puka to extend drives to even get to another first down, to get to get closer to the chains where then you can use Puka in different spots. So to me it still helps both in a sense.
And I think it will, T. It's just more of like the safe pick for production. Like you look at my list, I had Puka ahead of not Devontae, ASB. Because I think in terms of like just wide receivers, I think he is. But when we're talking about production, when production becomes a part of the conversation,
But
that's
even with the
what's winning.
production part of it, I just look at Puka's first year with the a little bit better cup that was still in out the lineup to an even better receiver. Like
I get you. I do. I get you. I
To be
just
fair, you guys' run
obviously.
game wasn't as good as it was last year. I think that also is a part of it too.
I don't think that's
All right.
fair.
We got 3 for ASB, I believe. Anybody else is with the St. Brown? Or you have somebody else? T or Puka? Anybody else?
Yeah, I got Puka as well.
And then Spurs. Who did you have? We
ASB. ASB. Yeah.
ASB. Wes, who are you shifting over to at 6? Well, I think your neighbors, I want to say.
Projection and just who I think is the best. That's a tough one, man. In my heart of hearts, but yeah, I'm not gonna do all the second guessing. I'm gonna go Neighbors. I think Neighbors is better, and I think he can have a better year. So I'll go Neighbors.
Okay. Unfortunately, you're gonna be by yourself on that one. Up here at least, unless Chiefs fan is with. D-Mac and T already on Puka. I'm shifting over to Puka. Then I really want to flip that personally, but I mean, I know, man, you still gotta respect Puka, personally for me. So I'm gonna go Puka, but Neighbors is my next one. Spurs, who you got at 6?
Yeah, Puka.
Okay, and then Ari, who would you have at 6? Ari? Okay, I'm gonna speed up a little bit, y'all, because I don't want to dry it out a little bit. But
Definitely.
So yeah, Puka's gonna win out, and then Labor's gonna be next. By looking at some of y'all lists, I believe. Like D-Mac, who you going at 7?
No, Nico.
Yeah, Nico would be.
Nico would be above Neighbors for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah, for me
Nico
as
would
well.
be next for me.
Sorry for me as well. Yeah, my bad. I apologize. T, the same for you.
Yeah, it's Nico as well.
And then
I have
everybody, are
neighbors.
y'all,
I have neighbors. I have neighbors over
yeah,
there.
neighbors are Ari. I mean Ari and West on y'all like neighbors. Is everybody else now shifting over to neighbors? Because I am as well.
Yeah, if we're just doing into this individual season, I'm comfortable putting neighbors
Yeah,
here.
I've got neighbors here. Yep.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And then we're at 9 now.
I would
Um,
start this with BTJ.
I have BTJ here as well.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna do neighbors, we should include the other rookie as well. Yeah.
I know I have Drake. Well, I have Drake London. I heard two BTJs. Wes, what you
Hell
got?
no.
No, I said
BTJ.
BTJ.
Are
I
you
said
kidding me?
BTJ. I said BTJ. I didn't say Drake London. I said BTJ.
No, not you, not you. I'm
He
talking about
said he
myself.
was. Yeah, Ed
Yeah.
said he was.
Give
Wes and
me
Spurs.
Tyreek Hill and BTJ.
And Ari, BTJ. I'm not putting no freaking Drake London
Why you
on
like Why
BTJ.
you like Tyreek though? Right there.
Nigga, Tyreek has been the one. I just Tyreek really should be higher, but because of the unknown and the
Yeah,
uncertainty of Tua,
yeah.
he's going to fall at. I mean, I would be outvoted. I low key forgot him for a little bit. I actually would have him over neighbors and
Malik.
Nico, but
Okay.
it is what it is, and Puka. That said, yeah, he has to make my list, and I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'll put him at 10. I'll go to Young Thoroughbred and BTJ, but like if Tua's healthy, Tyreek is gonna be better than everybody after Bob. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's
Which to be
still
fair,
Tyreek
West.
Hill.
Oh, I'm burnt. I was knocking. I was not. I'm burnt, bro. When I was doing my list, I put him at 10. Cause I said this earlier when I was making the list, right? I said
No,
everybody
indeed.
that's on this list. I said everybody on this list. Like I had him at 5 or 6 originally, similar to
It
what
was
you just said.
5.
I'm like, yeah,
It's
5.
5.
And I'm like, I think he would have a similar season to all these guys if the quarterback players there. But I forgot he didn't do what Kane. He did
No, you
9
said
something
I'll
last year
play.
because
You said I'll play.
I didn't say I'll play. I said
Yes,
okay.
you
If I
did.
said I'll play cool. If I said I'll play cool. I'll play or be on their same level. Let me put it like that. I'll play or be on their same level as far as from a production standpoint. If the quarterback player is there, but I forgot the season looked like that because of Tua concussion, bro. I genuinely
Yeah,
forgot.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
genuinely
He had
forgot that
Tyler Huntley,
contact.
bro. Tyler Huntley was his quarterback,
Bro,
bro.
that's big context. I might flip back. I genuinely forgot,
But
bro.
but
Bro,
That's
dude.
why that's why on my list, if you peep, I did put Tyreek before Puka, ASB, and Nico
Because
because
they not better than him. They not better than
they're
Tyreek.
not they're
Realistically, yeah, they're
not
They're
the
not.
not.
same
They're
at
not.
all.
They're not.
But because of this is why I was like, because of the uncertainty, I don't mind him falling. That
Yeah, that's the
said,
thing.
though,
Like
if
I'm
Tua
hoping
is
he
healthy
stays
and
safe,
it's
but
a tough.
like Tua's concussion thing, that shit scares me still. I don't
But
know
it-
that
but
happens
but what
again.
What's my only issue though is low key, and I'm kind of shifting back. Is like if we are going to project, and a lot of this, even with a nigga saying CD over AJ, is Dak being healthy as well, which he was not healthy last year, right?
You have to assume health.
We're assuming health.
I mean, it's easier to
I'm not
assume it
doing
for
the.
that.
I think he's in a different tier than AS Amaron, Puka, and Nico. If we're going to be honest,
Yeah, I'm
That's true.
100% with
No,
that.
he is.
100%.
What
If
my
we're
my
assuming
point?
Tua's healthy,
What
yeah.
you were saying, Wes?
I say he is. I just think it's easier to assume help for a guy like Dak than it is for Tua, in my
True.
opinion. I think Tua
Yeah.
is more brittle. I think he's more injury prone. And though they both have suffered a lot of injuries through their careers, I think Tua is just he's
Viatal.
slight. He's small. And again, the head trauma is a real thing. And
Yeah.
any semblance, like he can get it like not saying this in any disparaging way, but like one of his concussions last year, didn't he like barely get
It was
hit?
the drive. No, he didn't get hit at all. He dove and hit his
He
head.
dove.
He
Yeah, he
dove
Yeah,
did.
so like
forward.
yes, things like that when someone is that like just has that much wear and tear on their body from any like whether it's a head trauma thing or physically, yeah, I start to question it a little bit more. So that's my only thing with Hill, but yeah, I agree with T. Hill is all things equal, he would be at worst 5 on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's fourth. I think he is in a different tier than ASB Puka Nico. And if I think we have been assuming health with projections for most of our lists with football, even basketball, I think we just do assume health. And if I feel comfortable putting him after AJ, and if someone's like, "Oh, he'll this, that, and the third," it's like, well, yeah, look at the context behind it. It's assumption of health when you do have projections, and that's not to say that the Dolphins are going to be a good team, but I think they can be an ass team, and Tyreek looks like Tyreek.
Yeah, that's very possible. So the thing about it is for me, and the reason why he was where he was for me,
Mhm.
there were times in which we've seen Tua miss games over the past few years, and Tyreek has made it not matter based on whoever was playing quarterback because Tyreek is Tyreek. It did not feel the same to me in watching it, and the production wasn't the same even when Tua had missed games last year. I think that there were some aspects of Tyreek that he wasn't as good of a wide receiver, as a lead wide receiver as he was, simply from watching him individually. Because the surroundings were terrible, and Tua's actual ability to be on the field obviously has a piece of it. So that's why he dropped some for me.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it was
not
his
saying
his
I'm
attitude
not
was
That's
borderline.
fair. That's
Beauty is
fair.
in the eye
this
of the
can
beholder. Because I watched Tyler
Yeah, that's
Huntley miss
fair.
that nigga wide open game after
yeah.
game after game after game
But
after
you know,
game.
Skylar
So
Thompson was missing them wide open too, but he was still making it not matter. So it's like
no,
to,
I think it's different. You saying that making it not matter is definitely different when like watching Tyler Huntley and understanding that Tyler Huntley was completing 10 passes a game. Sometimes he
Mhm.
just he didn't have it. The hill was
And
open. If you can't hit me when I'm open, I can't be penalized for that. And the
yeah,
notion that, oh, well, you made it not matter with another guy. Well, if another guy could still complete 25 passes and Huntley is like barely ever completing over 20, hell, over 15. Like Huntley was really, 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 really bad.
I mean,
And
he had a higher completions percentage than Skylar Thompson did, and that's
it
not
doesn't
again
mean you're
Skylar Thompson
completing
missed
more
a whole. I
passes
know,
though.
but I'm saying Skylar Thompson missed a whole bunch of passes too. Tyreek Hill in those moments still looked like Tyreek Hill in talking about 2022 specifically. So that's why for me it was different. And now again, this is how I was
He
watching
did,
it, and
Lorenzo.
again, like you
No,
said,
no, yeah, I agree with Lorenzo there. Like he
again,
did
wait,
request
wait,
a
hold
trade.
on, Spurs, real
Sorry,
quick.
sorry.
Like you had said though, Wes, it's beauty of the eye of the beholder. I'm just giving the context for why he was where he was on my personal list.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I just, yeah, I feel like I watched a lot of games where he was open, he was being missed, and maybe he did get apathetic towards the situation. But yeah, once I
Understandably so.
see like it's one thing to have it one game, literally 3 different games where like Tyreek is leaking open and nobody can get him the ball. At that point, I don't give a fuck about the rest of the. Just me personally, I saw it in 3 separate games. Like I could truly go pinpoint where middle of the season he's literally getting open and they cannot get him the ball, and it's overthrow after overthrow, underthrow after underthrow, out of bounds, off target, just so many different things. And yeah, one game, cool. 2 games, I see it. 3, I'm cool. Tyreek is still Tyreek. It's you niggas who had a problem. It's not like the people on the stage, the quarterbacks he was playing with. So, but I understand your point for sure. So, no issues.
All right, so we're gonna circle it, reel it back in. I think we are at 9. I love the top 8 personally. And I understand the reason and the question marks around Tyreek.
This is tiny as hell. Can you zoom that in?
I understand the question marks around Tyreek.
Okay.
So who want to throw out a name for 9?
I still think Tyreek should be a 9. I'll be honest, despite all the question marks. I think
Brian
he's
Thomas.
due for redemption season. He's due for redemption season. I don't think he's gonna let last season shit stick with him. He wants revenge on that shit, and he's gonna.
My answer is still BTJ as well.
Oh yeah,
I,
Yeah,
BTJ, Tyreek.
I
Go
have
ahead.
BTJ, but the Tyreek
Oh,
Hill
BTJ, my bad, my
conversation.
bad. BTJ, and
The
then
Tyreek Hill conversation is reminding me of the Devonte Adams conversations that we had like about 2 or 3 years ago, where it was like he's clearly wasn't like the same Tay. He had moments where he could get there, but it was almost like I know if he needs to turn it on, he can, but it wasn't like the most consistent thing. And I think that's kind of where we are with Tyreek. It's like we know his talent, we know how good he can be, but it's just like on more times out of the 17 game season, how many times is he going to be that guy, and how many times is he going to be like maybe like a step behind where that guy was, and like then where does that put him in the larger conversation?
and maybe I'm crazy for this, sorry, but I think a step behind. I think when he's at his apex, he's a clear tier above all those. Like after AJ, like to me, he's a tier above. And then if you tell me, okay, When he's lollygagging out there, he's like not at full, like, like Tyreek, 200,
Mm-hmm.
catches. I still think he is in that tier of the ASB Puka Nikos, but at the further back end of that tier. That would be my only distinct thing with what you said to that. But I do think it goes Reek here, then BTJ. If we're not going to move Reek up, I do think Reek should be here.
I think both of them should just be 9 or 10 is just the order. But yeah.
Yeah, I do like that closeout for them too to be 9 and 10. All right. Y'all like that closeout? Tyreek Hill, BTJ. Not saying the order, but BTJ, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go BTJ Hill.
I mean, I shout out Terry, but this is consensus. So
we'll probably wrap it right there. I think that's a good wrap, and we'll further look at this, whether it's a moment or time in playback or anything like that. There's no rush for me on posting this. I want to post them all back. I want to probably have like 5 demo before I start to post some of them, so it can be back to back to back, back to back. I'm not slacking on any of the days I want to come. I don't want to post on one day and I miss it the next day. So thank you. Thank y'all to everybody that came through today. Many talks on Herro extension, many brief talk to the top of the show about Kevin Durant and the Suns lowering their asking price, and also talk about NFL teams expected to take a leap and fall to start the show off today. I'm going to be probably open conversation to start the show tomorrow. And then tomorrow we're also going to be ranking the top 10 cornerbacks going into next season as well. And everybody that participated, thank you. In fact, like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm definitely going to take some clips from the show today and try to get it distributed to TikTok and Instagram and Twitter as well. And I may start the playback room in a second. I'm not saying I'm going to do it right now, but I might start the playback room in a second, or I might go live game or something like that and share it to the playback room as well. WNBA is back today, more Commissioner Cup games. So make sure y'all pull up to the playback room tonight to watch that. And that's pretty much it for the show today, man. Everybody that came through, the good 3.5 hours, if you ask me. And I will see y'all tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time. If not, in playback a little later on today as well. RJ, thank you. Peace, blessings, and love to everybody. Thank y'all, everybody that joined the stage. Thank you, everybody that typed in the chat today. And I will see y'all shortly or later on today.